Mm, mm, mm.
What is that?
This is Croy, narrow
Oh,
gauge
it's Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
I
Yeah,
thought it
so
was
you're like,
champs.
oh, you're drinking Chardonnay, but like Chardonnay is actually like probably the best grape ever. Okay, for those of you that don't know,
All the Real Housewives drink it.
Chardonnay is kind of the bomb. The reason that Chardonnay is the bomb is because you can do so much with it. It can be like almost any type of white wine that you want it to be. You know, it could be like super full bodied, like creamy, buttery, awesomeness. I mean, if you're into that, or it could be like the complete opposite, and then kind of anything in between. So, anyways, this is a
Yeah.
Roy.
I
Can you
don't
see
know
it?
what's up.
Not LaCroix,
Yeah.
right? It's Croix.
Croy Chardonnay. This is made by.
It's not aged LaCroix.
I do like LaCroix.
LaCroix's
You do?
great. I mean, yeah, LaCroix is awesome.
LaCroix.
So also, if you're ever buying wine, a great way to know if it's good or not is if it's wrapped in this paper.
In wrapping paper.
Yeah, that's
That's a
the
sign of it being a good wine.
yes key indicator of good wine is being wrapped in this beautiful
They
paper.
took the time to wrap it in some
Exactly.
party paper.
I was gonna say they would like do that by hand, right?
You're gonna
Or they
pay
have,
an
like,
extra.
machines that just
You're gonna pay an extra like $2
That
a
seems
bottle
really
for the paper.
wasteful.
Yeah, I mean,
like on the receipt it says like extra tax for wrap paper.
with all the straws we're
You can
saving
reuse
in the
it for
restaurants,
Christmas.
though,
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly. So, Kristin, I'll give this to you then.
Or use it for Christmas.
So, ooh, man, that's
Thanks.
what a beautiful
Nice.
bottle. I gotta do this too. Oh my god. Let's get some of this, dude.
Oh yeah.
So hey, I'm Kyle.
Yes,
This is
guys.
my beautiful wife.
Sorry,
She's-
with that camera.
The
She's an
dynamic
artist.
duo.
Woohoo!
I currently buy wine professionally for a restaurant, and I sell it, and I try to teach people about it as much as I can. And
I
I've-
drink it.
yeah, she definitely drinks wine. She makes art and has art all over our
Art
apartment.
and wine
It's
go.
a great combo.
It really is. It becomes in handy when I need wine for openings. So
Have you ever tried making art with wine?
while I'm painting and drinking wine, yeah,
Like
but
putting wine
with
like on your
wine,
pieces and
Just like
everything?
pour it on a canvas.
You know,
You're
I think
that's
I-
modern art as fuck.
I know, right? I think I've used coffee before to dye paper, but
Nice.
not wine.
Do you want to use your
That's a good-
the glass that you brought, or what?
Oh, I have my sippy cup right here.
Try the wine. All right, hey, we're sitting in this podcast, and they asked me to talk about wine. So, I pour wine a lot for people in the restaurant, and a lot of them think that when I'm pouring the taste for them, the little 1 ounce taste, that they're checking to see if they like it. They're like, oh, I don't like this wine,
I
just
used to
send
think
it back. That's not really what you're doing. You're actually checking to see
That's delicious.
if it's flawed.
What does
which-
a flaw mean?
Yeah, totally. Right. That's yeah. What does a flaw mean? Totally. So the wine's flawed. There's something wrong with it. It could taste like vinegar. It could taste like. Some people will describe it as like a sweaty horse, which is very interesting.
Sweaty horse. I've never
That's-
heard that one.
Yeah, sweaty horse or
That's
Band-Aid.
gross.
It's
Or
this,
Band-Aid.
It's this, yeah, like used
Or a
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid.
Great flavor.
This tastes like a used Band-Aid.
But yeah, used Band-Aids or like this kind of like horsey or horse hoof smell. It's Brettanomyces, which is actually some people consider to be.
A little bit more than just.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, see, I'm being a bad sommelier.
Yeah. That's good.
There's a lot that can be wrong. It can have too much sulfur, smells like burnt matches, and then the most common one, well, not necessarily the most common, but what people refer to the most is it being corked, which is the fungus that actually gets in the cork and makes the wine taste like wet cardboard, literally.
Ew.
Ever get people that know what they're talking about and actually respond properly?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Especially like the restaurant we work at, Sophia's.
Should we cheers?
Yeah, hell yeah, we should.
This is nice.
Cheers, y'all.
I'll
That's a
try to
good
not
one.
ask too many questions because
No,
off mic
please.
it doesn't get picked up.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I kind of let Chase do like.
So the
most of it.
question that Jake just asked was, does anyone know what they're talking about in the restaurant? Hell yeah, they do. Especially the ones that
And those are
buy
the people
wine
that
that's
you
like
wanna
$500.
sell wine to, because then they'll continue to buy more.
Right, and they build a relationship with you because
Yeah.
right?
And just to clarify, the whole thing I was talking about with the paper wrapped around the bottle, I was like totally being sarcastic. So. Don't buy wine
I
based
believed
off.
you.
Of...
I believed every
I
word.
thought that was real. I
I'm
was
keeping
like,
the paper.
we gotta look for the paper.
Yeah, no, that's not definitely not an indicator. So Croix, this wine is made by the same guy who makes it's called Venge. It's spelled Venge, like Venge, and it's kind of becoming like a cult wine in California. But he kind of their winemaker broke off and started making his own thing.
Super young.
Good old California Chard.
Yes,
Nice.
it is very nice.
Would you say Chardonnay is probably the most popular among the white grapes?
I don't know. You know, it depends on who you're talking to. I would honestly, I don't sell that much white wine. It's mostly like red wine. That's, I mean, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I would say in America, yeah, Chardonnay still has a pretty like firm grasp on like what people want. Although I think a lot of people, you know, you had like all these big buttery oaky Chardonnays that people were drinking like in the 90s, early 2000s. Now they're drinking like something more like this. Like this definitely has like you get those like vanilla, like caramel flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And that like creamy texture, which comes from malolactic fermentation. That's a whole thing we can talk about later.
Creamy texture.
You know, if you want people to think that you know what you're talking about when you talk about wine, just say malolactic fermentation. Dude. This is really well mallowed wine. People are like, oh wow, you're cool.
The more science,
Right?
hear
Yes,
words that they're
science.
not 100% sure about, you're gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
That's cool.
But yeah, people are looking for like a more like crisp, like tart Chardonnay versus, you know, this I like this one because it's kind of in the middle. It's got it has those oak flavors. So I was talking about vanilla caramel earlier. That comes from oak, and then the creamy texture comes from that malolactic fermentation I was talking about, which is just like a secondary fermentation that happens that transfers malic acid into lactic acid. Malic acid is what you find in green apples, like really tart acid. Lactic is like creamy. You know, find it in milk and butter.
I'm not a big Chardonnay guy personally, but this is something I actually.
Yeah, I could drink this.
This is nice. It's very nice.
I would want to drink this like on a more hot day than today, but you know.
Yeah.
It's
Dude, today though, what the hell was going on with the weather? Yesterday it's
Yeah.
88. Today it's 44. Well,
Yeah.
Kyle, what kind of got you into wine and like wanting to buy and sell wine?
I got a job at a restaurant called Seersucker.
Where we met.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Nice.
I was a hostess.
She was a hostess. I was a busser. You should tell the story because you hated
Should I
it.
tell
Oh,
the
this is a
story?
great story.
Oh man. Okay.
This is a great
So
story.
I was a hostess, and there's this new guy, you know, lugging a bus tub in the lounge in the front of our restaurant, and I, you know, was trying to be polite and walked up and said, "Hi, I'm Kristin," and like reached out to shake his hand, and he's like holding a bus tub, and he's staring at me,
Yes, I'm holding a full bus
like
tub.
holding
You know?
a dirty bus tub, and I'm like, "Okay," you know, he's like, "I'm Kyle." Okay, cool. I immediately go to our friend Jordan. I'm like, that new guy is an asshole. He's so rude.
Yeah, so she
And-
essentially like turned the whole restaurant against me.
I did, and I think it's because I realized that we were going to get married one day.
Oh, that's what it was?
No,
Wow.
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 Long
Her
story
master
short,
plan worked from the beginning.
Yeah, here we are.
That's what that was, huh? Wow.
That's the
Wow.
short version, I guess.
Keeping everyone else away.
But yeah, what was
Yeah.
the question that you were going to answer?
Oh, how did I get into wine?
Yeah.
Right. So,
Not 'cause of
you
me.
know, I met her like my second day, and honestly, like I was like pissed off. I'm like, God, I was like 25 or something. Wait, I'm bussing tables. The restaurant was nice at least. I'm like,
You
all
could
right,
tell he was
cool.
pissed.
Got my foot in the door at this restaurant, and there were two somms on staff at the time, and they would be like, hey, you want to like try this wine? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I didn't know. I was like, we could do that. Like we can try wine and work. Like this is cool, right? So they would like be tasting this wine, be like, yeah, I get, you know, a lot of tree fruit, a lot of like vanilla, baking spice, you know, like dried sage. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? This is like I didn't know that Malbec and like Cabernet were like totally different grapes. I just thought that was like the name of a wine or something. But yeah, from there, like that was like super interesting to me. So I you know, started studying wine. Started waiting tables, started bartending, started buying the wine all of a sudden.
Just, like, up
And
the
this is all
ladder.
at Seersucker, so I just kind of climbed up. And seriously, they had a pretty good wine list, and so I was kind of afforded some opportunities from managers above me that knew I was interested in wine. They're kind of like, do you want to start helping us buy this wine? And I was like, yeah, definitely. So all of a sudden I got to try like all this crazy stuff that I could never afford, like bottles that are like $500 or $600 and things like that you're trying to sell to me actively, which is crazy. And that happened while I was studying for my certified sommelier exam. It's pronounced sommelier.
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 Yeah, sommelier. Are you like a
Sommelier.
sommelier or something?
I say sommelier. Is it sommelier?
Yes, I mean sure, yeah. Sommelier, yeah.
Whatever. Anyways.
So yeah, just kind of I and also like buying in an environment like that, buying wine, I met a lot of people that knew about wine and a lot of people that were studying it, and they invited me to taste with them. Like, so I started getting into blind tasting, which is a whole process. That's I kind of speaking on blind tasting. People talk a lot about like how do you it's so cool you're like talented, or like they think it's like this special talent, like, oh, I can't smell those things, but anyone can. You just have to like train yourself to do it. There's verbiage that you can teach yourself, and essentially when you're blind tasting something, there's a grid you go through. It's like you do the same process every time with every wine. So don't if you're interested in learning wine,
Check it out.
yeah,
Hit him up.
give it a shot.
Hit 'em up.
Just go on Facebook, man. You can find some good tasting groups on Facebook for sure. So that's kind of how
I go to a sample lady at HEB in the wine section, like I do.
Yeah, definitely not. Just start harassing the sample lady in HEB.
She's like, my husband's a som, but what do you know about this wine?
No, I don't. I still drink like $2 checks sometimes and like $5 bottles of wine, and
Best cheap.
best cheap
Is
in
this just an
wines.
opinion thing, or is there one that's like clear?
Kristen, what do you think?
There's this rosé that I love called Charles and Charles, which is made by Charles Smith, who I don't know. I just know that's some famous wine guy. I don't know much about him. Yeah. But it's a good rosé. It's like $8 to $10 a bottle at HB. That one's good. If you really want to go lower than that, there's like Barefoot Chardonnay that comes in like it's almost a gallon.
Yeah, they had those big bottles.
Yeah.
You're having some girls over and you just want to like watch TV.
Go to your local 7-Eleven.
Go to 7-Eleven on the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
do
too
the
heavy for
boxes
the top.
though. Like the box wine, that's my limit.
Well, actually, there's some
That's
pretty
like
good boxed
Kool-Aid,
wine
pretty
around
much.
these days.
What was that?
There's some pretty good boxed wine around these days.
Oh,
There's some decent stuff,
I guess technically you could put any wine in a box.
You
can.
could, yeah, technically you could.
Or a juice box,
Yeah,
and putting some $high wine in boxes, and
hell yeah,
people are like,
man.
oh, I don't drink box wine. It's like, dude, you
Well,
don't
but this,
know.
this
I know,
box,
right?
You don't know.
This box like $1,000.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's wrapped in like 24 karat gold
As long as
wrapping
it's
paper.
wrapped in that black paper.
Yeah,
And
if it's
like
wrapped in
extra
paper,
$20 on top.
sold.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cheap wine for me though. You can find really good wine for like $8 or $10 a bottle. Really, I say like the best way to find things that you like is to like figure out what kind of wine do you like. Do you like super full bodied red wine? And then if you like super full bodied red wine, what do you like about it? Do you like the fruit flavors in it? Do you like that it has a lot of oak, which oak is like vanilla, kind of like sandalwood type of flavors, baking spices like black peppercorn and things like that. All those come from oak. Do you like those flavors? Do you like earthy flavors like this kind of wet forest floor, like this kind of mushroom funkiness that you can get from some wines? And then figuring out which of those flavors you like, figuring out what kind of wines have those flavors, and then you can explore like okay, I like meaty, gamey, full-bodied red wine. You probably like Syrah. You'd like some Cornas from France, but you're going to spend a lot of money on Cornas. But you can get you can find some Syrahs that are like $10 or $12. Why not try them? You know what I'm saying?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So sometimes I buy wine because of the label.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
So
yeah.
as an artist,
Kyle actually did that with our cab.
I-
He's like, check out the juggernaut.
right?
It's like
Like
this massive
also
lion.
tastes good.
because of the way it looks, like what is the correlation? I've
Yeah.
actually personally never had a bad wine that has a cool label, but I've heard that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't buy it because you like the label
I mean,
aesthetically.
if you like the label and you really want to buy it for the label, then I say go for it.
Yeah, try it out. If you like it, you
Yeah.
like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a marketing thing involved. Yeah.
For
I
sure.
mean, they have a good label. I think makes the wine taste a little bit better.
It adds like an extra 2 points to the scale.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about champagne, for instance. Like champagne's crazy expensive.
Right.
Jay-Z used to be all about Cristal, right? And then the Cristal guy said something that people thought was racist. I don't think he meant it in a racist way, but a bunch of people thought it was racist. So Jay-Z was like, "Fuck you, Cristal." And yeah, so he kind of like got involved with Ace of Spades. And now like you'll find Ace of Spades. I mean, shit, we sell Ace of Spades for like $2,500.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's
So
insane.
that's what you call that's
That
what
bottle wouldn't look good. Is it nice?
yeah, it's like it's all like
It's like hand dipped in paint.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Like
it
gold
looks like
paint.
metal.
Comes with sparklers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually.
And girls waving the sparklers around.
Yeah,
course,
you gotta
yes.
have the bottle girls. You
That's
know.
like $5.
You're also paying for that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like,
pay for a
Right.
show.
That champagne is
Show.
Can I
not
get the bottle at a
worth.
show.
It's
Yeah.
not that good.
It's not worth $2,500. No way.
How much is it on Amazon?
Well, if
Hey, the
if
gas
you
station across the street from my place sells it for $300
They
a
do.
bottle.
Oh, the one when you
300?
drive through. That one.
No,
On
the
Congress?
the mobile right there.
is that the gold
Oh,
the
right,
gold
right.
bottle or the
They
silver
have
one?
both. They have the
gold and the
gold
silver?
and the gold and rosé.
Oh, really? They sell for $300?
$300,
Wow.
$299.99.
Wow, no
$299.99.
kidding.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
must-
they have like a little like locker box that has a lock
You
on
like
it.
ask permission.
So they only have like
open
one.
it.
They only have like one of each. So it's like
See, and we're selling it for like $2,000.
I think
you know?
what Searsucker is 1,000.
So-
and then we
Exactly, the
have
markup
half
is just
off wine
ridiculous.
bottle days, and so someone got it for 500.
Oh, that was a Magnum though.
It was. It was
A Magnum, by the way, is two bottles basically. It's just a super giant bottle. of
Is
wine.
that what the
Yeah.
Barefoot Chardonnay is? It's a Magnum, the big
that's just
gallon
that's
one.
just a liter.
Okay.
Liter.
They just sell them in liter
Good
bottles.
old liter of shard.
It's
They have a contract with Coca-Cola.
That's what it is. Oh man.
Like seriously though, like when it comes to like producing wine, expensive wine versus not expensive wine, what's the Chardonnay you talked about earlier?
Barefoot
All right,
Chardonnay.
Barefoot Chardonnay, right? Has kind of some of
Drink
those.
of all housewives.
Yeah, totally. And what it costs like $4 or $5 a bottle.
I think a big liter is like $12.
Wow, that's
I think so. So like a
Liter.
regular size would be like $5.
good old liter of
I
shard.
think I don't know. I'm just going off experience.
Yeah, so I mean, there's winemaking practices that Barefoot uses that like all right, Croix Chardonnay. They have their own vineyards. They are going through those vineyards and picking the grapes by hand, and they're probably doing a lot of preventive measures throughout the season. Like there's a green harvest where you can kind of cut off specific clusters of grapes to let the vines focus on the grapes that are growing.
That's so
They
specific.
probably prune a lot, and all of that's done by hand. It takes a lot of manpower. It takes a lot of time. But like, I mean, you guys have had Barefoot Chardonnay before, right? This
Oh, yeah.
this tastes a lot better. They're also using barrels. They're actually using barrels. Barefoot Chardonnay is going to actually use oak chips, which they're allowed to do. You can just soak the wine in oak chips,
Interesting.
right?
And then you just strain it. Interesting.
So these guys are probably aging this in a barrel for like at least like 8 to 12 months, if
Wow.
not more. And those barrels, it's probably French or American oak, and those are expensive as shit to make. And then I mean, like, feel how heavy this bottle is.
And they
so
reuse the same barrels over and over again, right?
Yeah, I think
it's a heavy ass bottle, right? So it's a nice piece of glass. Say it again.
Sorry, I was burping. They reuse the same barrels over and over again, right?
No, they're buying new barrels most of the time.
Every time they like empty it out and they just destroy
Hey.
the barrel.
Mm, yeah,
Okay.
they can sell it, or they can reuse it for part of their wine. But like
Mhm.
every vintage, they have some of the oak is
Do
going to
they
be new.
sell it to the Barefoot Chardonnay people to chop up in pieces and throw in their wine?
That's
Or the
a
angels and
possibility.
bee people
I know,
to
right?
like do like a port. whiskey.
Yeah, like,
yeah, or
here
like
you
a
go.
Chardonnay whiskey.
Yeah.
Not sure how good that'd be,
Get the
but you know.
furniture out of it.
But yeah, so all those things that they do in the vineyard to kind of make the wine better. You know, if you're really taking care of those grapes and watching them every single day and like making sure nothing bad happens to them. You're making sure they have what they need and in the right amounts too. Versus like Barefoot, who would they would just grow this in mass, you know, and just kind of spray it with pesticides and stuff because they don't have to like, like wineries like this they'll like buy owls to put in the vineyard to like
That's so cool.
chase off pests and things like that. That's kind of a natural
Nice.
solution to those things versus spraying it with pesticides and then just using a huge machine to go through and harvest everything, crush those grapes, ferment it, throw some oak chips in it for a couple days, boom, bottled, ready to go.
Barefoot
These guys,
Chardonnay.
yeah. So you're talking you're talking about like a week or two to make wine versus like a year and a half.
I didn't even know you could make wine in a week.
That's probably
Oh,
why
yeah,
they're able
totally.
to make so much in mass production of it too.
This is really
Yeah.
yummy.
Yeah.
That sounds like a much more financially viable process for sure.
Yeah, like what are you going for, quality or quantity?
Right.
These guys are going for quality. They're still making money, right? Because they charge, the price is kind of transferred over to the person, but you need people to sell it, right? You need to have,
It's literally an art form in a bottle, the way you're describing it. There's
Yeah.
like an artisan-ness to it. Manufactured or Barefoot. I mean, I don't know much about Barefoot. This is not like a disclaimer for Barefoot Chardonnay. That's just the label like pops up with like the footprint on it at the grocery
Yeah.
store.
The
But
footprint.
anyways,
It's like walk this way towards our wine.
Yeah, it's like, and there's different there's like rosé, Barefoot. Anyways, their
White
marketing's
Zinfandel.
great, but
That's what I'm familiar with Barefoot. The white
white
Zinfandel.
sin. Oh god.
uh,
I think the first time I ever got drunk was with like my mom had some Sutter Home Whites and
Some Sutter Home.
and I was like,
yeah,
"Ah."
some Sutter Home. That's when I
had
used
some
to work
friends
at,
over.
a certain paint and sip studio. I'm not gonna name names, but a lot of the patrons brought Sutter Home and Barefoot, and yeah,
Classy.
Moscato
Yeah.
specifically, which to me tastes like Sprite.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like,
Like,
can
give
I
me
get a
ice.
couple ice cubes for my Cabernet? I'm just like,
You
You
would not
know,
put ice in this.
That actually reminded me of if you do buy a cheap bottle of wine and it tastes like shit. There's this thing called Coca Vino, which you pour like it's like half Coke, half red wine. Tastes pretty good.
I've heard of that.
oh yeah.
They do that in like
they do
South
that in, like,
America, I
Oh,
believe.
I thought it was like Spain or something like
That'd
Yeah,
be
that.
cool
Spain
for, like,
probably.
camping or
Spain,
something.
and they do it
Yeah.
in China.
It's pretty delicious.
Or have you guys ever heard of like a New York sour?
No.
It's like a whiskey sour with a wine floater on top.
Mhm.
That sounds delicious.
never-
It's actually not bad either.
I would drink that. I like sours, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a whiskey person, but I would drink that. That's the thing, being an artist, I like know the labels in my brain, but like tasting them.
Yes, you're very visual, aren't you?
Yeah.
What
Very
kind
visual.
of artist do you know?
Oh.
What do you-
Is this where I
Yeah.
chime in?
This is where we transition to the art
Like,
side.
Well, I am an oil painter, so I paint on wood panels. I also used to do really, really, really big graphite drawings, but then I had a show and all of my paintings sold and none of my drawings sold, so I just do paintings now. And it's cool though. It's interesting to see like what people are drawn to and what they're not drawn to.
Mhm.
And yeah, a lot of my work is based off of my time living in LA, back to Austin, driving on the highways in between Austin and Los Angeles, because this guy lived in Austin when I was in grad school for art in Los Angeles, and Forerunner took us on some road trips. And
Yeah, good times.
what else could I say about my art? No, do you have any questions?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like seeing your art and like seeing
Yeah.
like all the scenes that you've done, that makes sense. Like everything that's
you.
like from Austin to LA basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like so much more to that too, because there's also, I mean, we went to the Grand Canyon, we went to Roswell, New Mexico, we went
Nice.
to Marfa. Like, I'm just interested in like looking at cities and landscapes, like contemporary landscapes from a distance, and like what characteristics pop out. So for me, I've done a few Whataburger paintings.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
actually one of my favorites. Funny enough, like I
Awesome.
just love that one.
I-
Like, they're all
thank
great,
you.
but that one I was just like, oh, that hits home.
People love it,
Yeah.
and then it's so great because the Californians that enjoy my work also love the In and Out paintings
Yeah.
that I've made. So I'm making, it's just the sign. It's like this simple, iconic image that people just like resonate with and really enjoy. And I mean, when I lived in LA, there's no kolaches, there's no queso. There's no
That just
Whataburger.
hurts my
That's
Right?
like two
There's no
major
kolaches in
fees.
LA?
There's no kolaches.
Oh.
I literally could not. Maybe there is somewhere, but in my
What's wrong with you,
experience,
LA?
too, living there, there's no
Get your
kolaches.
shit together,
Well,
California.
the thing is
Where's the
because,
kolaches?
Yeah.
Because Texas has an insane Czech and German population. That's where
So
my
true.
family's from. If
So
you
true.
drive up to West, where there's
Yep.
like big Czechs, the Czech stop kolaches from, and across the highway is the Slovak.
I should
The
do a
Slovaceks.
stop painting.
Slovacek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's basically my family running all that shit. Yeah, my grandma grew up making.
You got like a mob
It's
family out
so
there.
interesting.
That's so big for me.
Mob
I
family.
know. And then even queso, like, I mean, there was this amazing Mexican restaurant that we went to called Don Antonio's. So if you're ever in LA, go to Don Antonio's. It's
Okay.
delicious. It's on Barrington and Pico. It was actually on the hills. That's
Is it
how I
like
found
Baja
out about it.
Mexican or?
It is pretty close to Tex-Mex. The only thing that's different is they use a lot of lard. I can tell because it just tastes like when you go to Juan in a Million, you can like taste that the tortillas have been cooked on a grill that's like 40 years old and it's delicious. That's what Don Antonio's is like, but it's
man.
dinner stuff, not just breakfast, because Juan in a Million's just breakfast.
We still
Yeah.
have kolaches.
But yeah, that feeling of like missing something and like the signs and the signifiers that represent that's why I make art. Like the feeling that people get when they're like, oh my gosh, like I went to this place or I'm from this place. This makes me happy.
Awesome.
That's really where it comes from.
So it's kind of like a nostalgia thing, because
yes.
you like painting the changing landscape, you know,
Mhm.
and then being able to remember what it was like, right?
Right. So Austin's skyline has been, since I've lived here in 2009.
It's
is when I
changed
moved
so
here.
much.
It's just changed in my
It's like a remake.
paintings. I've been like struggling to accept the fact that like I've got to include this new skyscraper in here now. Like I can't just keep being the same.
Yeah.
Because I work from my iPhone images. I use my phone to take pictures, which the iPhone camera is a pretty good camera.
It's getting better.
Yeah, and then I edit in Photoshop and then make paintings from that. Yeah, skylines changing.
You know, I actually
daily.
saw like a new view of Austin skyline that I've never seen before at the Barton Creek Mall.
I
When
haven't
you're
been there
walking out, when
forever.
you're walking out of the back half of the mall,
Uh-huh.
you're like kind of like on a plateau, and it kind of like looks across, and you can like see like the crazy like sky. It's
Wow.
actually kind of cool. I totally didn't take a photo of it, but I should have.
The
Yeah.
west side of town.
Yeah, you can
It
get some
is.
crazy
The
sky.
hills,
Yeah,
you kinda
Mhm.
look down on.
I was like,
It's
damn,
totally
this is a new,
changing.
this is a new view.
It is. I mean, when I moved here, the Austonian was still being finished. Speaking of Austonian, they've had a problem with the glass railings breaking. Just I
I've
don't know if you guys knew that.
been seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why they're
like
doing all that
renovating all
work
the
of it?
glass
They're like putting like nets
balconies.
and stuff around the building to catch.
One of the
Yeah.
buildings,
Trash.
like 5 years ago, had an entire glass panel fall.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a problem. Like,
Especially considering how much people pay to live.
I know.
You hear that, Ted
It's a
Cruz?
liability.
You hear that, Beto?
What?
It's a problem, man. These glass windows. You
I
better get
told
on
him
that
like
shit.
we're not making this political. Because it's like art can get so political. I guess wine can get political, sort of. Historically, maybe, I don't know.
You know what? If the winemaker's gonna get political, I don't give a shit. If their wine's good, I'll drink it. You know, if it sucks, and I'll be like, this sucks. Actually, if wine sucks, I just don't say anything about it.
Why
that's-
not?
that's-
You should. That's a critique that you should give someone. Like if you're like if a winemaker is presenting wine to you, I would say, you know what, I
Oof.
don't like this because of this. Because
That
an
is
artist
that's a hard thing to like.
would
Hey, your art
critique another
sucks,
artist.
dude.
No, no, no,
They
no.
spent a year making this.
They would make
It sucks.
They would make it hopefully constructive.
Yeah, but like, well, that's a very
Hopefully.
subjective thing to say.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
yes.
I don't think it is.
Get that Chardonnay there, mate. Bring the Chardonnay.
Oh, baby.
We have this great regular at Sophia's who drinks Chardonnay and Pinot.
Chardonnay.
Bring the Pinot. Bring the Pinot, mate. Been a long week.
We actually had that wine at our wedding. The red
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Australian.
It's
yeah,
from
you nailed
Australia.
that.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
guy's
yeah?
It's
Italian,
hard
right?
to do. I mean,
You just gotta draw out your words and put them all together. Put them all together in one lot.
struggle with that. I can do like multiple English accents, but the
Yeah.
Australian is tough.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
just
do
saw
that
all the
one.
word, like one sentence is really one long word. Just don't really stop. You say like 18,
Oh my
17. There's no T's really. It's like, yeah.
God. Crikey.
Out there hanging with the roos and dingoes.
I don't know. We started talking
So,
about Australia.
wine. If wine sucks, I think that's subjective though. there are objective flavors in wines. Like this wine objectively has vanilla flavors. Objectively has caramel and it's kind of like toasted flavor. It has
What does
it
it
objectively.
like? I can't
Well,
put my
you can't
finger on
smell
it.
through your.
No, I'm smelling the hole right here. I'm sorry.
Smelling the hole.
Smelling.
The hole in
Someone
my
clip
sippy
that.
cup. Oh my god.
I
The whole,
guess a wine
y'all
could
are okay.
suck
I'm
if it
surrounded
was
by
bad.
boys right now. Like, it's-
Say it again.
Like a wine could suck if it was bad. Like if it was like on
Right. Well, yeah, but you know, if I'm
problem with it.
yeah, if I'm tasting with a winemaker though, they would know. You know, I'd be like, I could say something like, I wouldn't say this sucks. I'd be like, this wine, I think there might be something wrong with this one. And usually the smell, it's happened a couple times, you know, and they're like, oh shit, this one's bad. Usually if there's a winemaker that I'm tasting with, because mostly when I'm buying wine for a restaurant, I'm dealing with a distributor or a purveyor, like someone that I know who tastes with me like once a week or something like that. They just always bringing me stuff to taste. So I mean, they don't care if I think the wine's terrible. They're like, well,
they're not
you
gonna
know,
report that back.
I mean, they care in the sense that they're obviously not going to sell it to me, right?
Right.
But
But they're not like offended.
yeah,
It's
they're
not
not like,
they
oh, well,
are.
yeah.
Right.
But if there's a winemaker in front of me, like, dude,
You wouldn't be like, if he's
you
like,
should stop
try my
making wine.
Try my wine.
I know this is your life, but please stop.
Oh man. But someone should.
Someone
tell
else might
them.
like it.
Someone should tell them it's bad. Like I think.
Yeah, but someone else might like it. You know, that's the thing with wine. There's so many different
that's
tastes.
true. I guess someone might like art as well if it's
So
like.
if
bad
I don't
art.
like it, or if I don't think I would want to sell it, then I just don't say anything about
Yeah,
it.
we've all seen that modern art where it's like a fluorescent light bulb glued to a wall.
Yeah.
Like someone
It's
was
probably a Dan
so
Flavin.
into that.
Yeah.
They not only did it, but they got it in the museum.
Yeah, what would
Yeah.
you say to that artist if you were talking to them? Would
Well,
you
I
talk to
mean,
them?
The thing is, okay, so after let me like give you a little background story about me. I was always like the best in all my art classes. Never had to work hard because I work hard on my paintings, obviously, my drawings, but like when I was in school, it just came easily for me because I just loved it. I loved art. I've always loved it. And then I got to college and it was like, all right, Kristen's good at this. She's good at drawing. Like it was just easy. And then I got to graduate school and it was like I hit a wall and it was like no one was there to pat my back or guide me through it and make it a simple process. It was about like being with other artists, like performance artists, installation artists, like people that I never ever would like look at their art and call it art before I went to grad school. And then after like living in Los Angeles and just looking at other people's work and reading about it and hearing them talk about it, that to me makes it more arty, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for that, like, Dan Flavin is an artist that takes just neon light bulbs and makes, I guess you would say, installation art with it.
Nice.
Or call them sculptures, but they're, if you look at it as like a technology conversation, like what is the like fluorescent light bulb mean? Like you think of office spaces, you think of like industrialism, you think of technology, like those conversations that come up just from like light bulb, that's what makes it art, and that is where that comes
That's awesome.
from. Yeah, so that's my spiel.
Like
Nice.
Another Ai Weiwei.
Yes,
Super famous
he's
Chinese.
really interesting.
Oh, everything he does, I'm a big
The
fan.
government in China just like goes after
they
him
hate
and like
him.
shuts his studio down or like puts cameras around his. There's actually a documentary. I think it's
great documentary.
Is it Art 21 that made the documentary?
It might be. I saw it a few years back.
Yeah,
It's
it's really good. Ai Weiwei is the artist that we're talking about, and he is in China. And for a while, they took his passport away, and he couldn't leave China. There's actually an installation of his on right behind the Four Seasons downtown. There's like this bicycle installation that he did. It's huge.
It's amazing.
You can go up and you just like move the bicycle wheels, and it's his work. And he didn't actually fly here to install it. I think he sent the supplies and instructions. The Contemporary helped work that out. But yeah, he's an interesting artist, and part of his work is like rebelling against the government
And what people want.
Yeah.
Like he makes $1 million videos.
Oh,
and stuff,
absolutely.
so-
Wow.
And that's part of the
And like, okay, so Damien Hirst is another artist. So I learned about him in undergrad. He had this shark that was worth, I think it was $1 million or maybe it's $10 million. It's literally a shark that's been taxidermied and put in formaldehyde and preserved.
Wow.
And that's an installation. Like that's a piece
But
of art.
come on.
But
Anyone
like,
could do that.
It's a fucking shark.
Anyone
Like
can
it
do
is a
that, that's
great white
true.
shark that's just been like chopped in pieces and put in formaldehyde as a sculpture in a gallery. Like I'm not gonna do that. Are you gonna do that? He did it. That's the thing.
Give it $10 million.
Like they, I think at
Hey, if
auction,
you
it went
like,
for $10
you would
million.
would you not do that for $10 million?
I would do that. Yeah.
My thing is like, is that art? What about that
Would
is
you
so
not?
like artistic? Oh, you chopped a
What-
shark up and put it in
It's
formaldehyde.
what it's like the conversations that it brings up. It's the thought process. It's the task of getting a shark, which is probably not legal, and taking a shark like that, putting it in formaldehyde, preserving
you
it.
can kill sharks. Yes,
You
kill
can.
them.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
It's just what the people in Asia do, that
As long as
Yeah.
it's
Fuck
not
'em
an
up.
endangered shark. I think
Right, okay.
cutting fins off and throwing
Cool.
them back. That's
Cool.
fucked up.
So
But
like
yeah, you
that
can hunt
process of like getting someone to find a shark for you, and like getting like artist assistants to like source the materials and create the object that the shark's gonna float in, like those kinds of things make it art.
Well, at the end of the day, like what someone's willing to pay.
Absolutely.
If that
That's
doesn't sell at
value.
auction, yeah, then I guess
Right.
how much art is it?
That's something I've been thinking about over the last 2 years, like because I've started to sell my work and I've raised my prices a little bit since I've started to sell my work, because I know to raise my prices when I start losing like inventory and my paintings are selling faster than I can make them.
Right.
That's when I raise my prices. But then, if I raise my prices and another person's like, oh, actually, like, can I get this for a discount? That's when I'm like, well, someone else believes the value is this much. So it's
Right.
an interesting
Yeah.
limbo and all that goes on. So value is what someone will pay for it.
And like with what just happened at auction with Banksy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping
Hell
you guys
yeah.
would bring this up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when you were talking about,
It's
In
a
that
literal.
Yeah, we were talking about that at work too the other
It's
day.
a literal event in art history that they all witnessed, and it makes it even more important because that happened.
He's a
I would
fucking
say,
genius.
yeah.
His documentary is one of the best I've ever seen.
And how?
Exit through the
Yeah.
gift shop.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's great.
How long ago did he do that piece? Like
Made that piece that got shredded.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I don't know.
It was years.
yeah,
Yeah.
but how
And
long
the
ago
frame
was it like
so
framed
gaudy
though?
too.
Like, I mean, Exit Through the Gift Shop.
That's a
came
good
out maybe,
question.
Like how long has he been like waiting to shred that?
And was he there? Did he shred it?
He had to have been. There must have been like some sort of
Well, he has a
Yeah.
really close relationship with the manager. Who that's who people get in contact if they want to like deal with Banksy. So it's likely
What
that
if he's the manager?
it's possible.
Yeah, right.
You never know. I mean, the manager or him could have just been back of the room. He could have paid the guy 10.
Right.
And sold for how many millions after it got.
it was like 1.5 million pounds or something,
That
which
was
is like,
before it
Yeah.
got shredded.
And the lady that bought it,
they
was
sold it for
even-
more after it got shredded.
They negotiated.
That's like back
for,
at
like, a
Banksy
week.
because he was doing it to be like, "Fuck you, capitalists," and then they're
No,
like, "Yeah, more money."
I would argue that he was making a new work when he did that. Like he was taking.
Yeah,
the piece
but
and, like,
did he
pushing
intentionally
it
do that, though?
further? Absolutely. It's in an auction
I
house.
thought he was doing it to like stick it to the man.
The thing is, like, it's in an auction house, and so
Who's
like
your daddy?
most of the artists don't actually even get money from that, regardless. So like, what
Okay.
he's doing is he's just like playing the auction houses even more by like them paying more for it. I think that even makes the work more powerful, in my opinion. But
It
yeah,
makes
that's
him a little more
pretty
powerful
amazing.
too, right?
Pretty amazing thing. Like we literally witnessed history when that happened. So cool.
Yeah. It happened
Yeah.
right, like the same day as the fucking Conor McGregor fight, so a lot of it got overshadowed
Oh.
by that ridiculous brawl. Like a
Did
lot of
it?
people didn't even like
See,
see.
my
the clip.
social media is so
Khabib.
tailored to art that I'm like, it's all
Of
over my
course you're
social
gonna-
media.
yeah,
I like
exactly.
didn't know about the fight, and he's like telling me about the fight.
Mine
I'm
was
like,
the
what?
other way. Like my whole social media was all fight clips.
I know,
and
isn't
then
that
someone
funny?
was like, "Dude, Banksy," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like,
It's what a
What's
day.
happening in the world?
What a day.
Good day, but-
Meanwhile, Khabib's in the corner, like, "Why are we still talking about this?"
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
man.
They still haven't paid him.
Good, good.
Conor McGregor's the one that got attacked, right?
Yes and no. He threw a punch at
Okay.
Khabib's other technical
Mhm.
first. If you have to really examine the footage to even
Right.
realize that happened. Like when he was trying to jump the cage, another guy was trying to jump the cage, and he turned and like he missed. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But then yeah, he got kind of small. He took a couple shots.
Yeah, got punched in the head a few times.
Returned a couple.
Jeez.
Man,
Seems to be doing all right. Just throwing footballs at the Dallas guy.
Cowboys game. Yeah, that was
He
awesome.
it was like like
And
this
then
weird
every
toss.
Cowboys that scored in the game
They
did
did-
the strut afterwards.
McGregor walk.
It was great,
Yeah.
man. It was so good.
Awesome.
Dude, I want to make it look like I'm climbing these mountains.
Oh, is that what we're on right now?
Here we are in Oregon.
Yeah. I just threw up this video.
We were just in Oregon for our honeymoon a year ago. And we went to Bend, Oregon, which has the last Blockbuster in the United States. I don't know
Oh,
if you
really?
guys knew
Are they
that.
keeping it open, or is it just like struggling to survive?
I think they're keeping it open because they don't really have a lot of, I don't know, entertainment out there. I don't know. We went. It's a small city. There's internet, obviously.
Playing with sticks and
but, like,
stones.
I don't know. I love Blockbuster. I used to love it.
Hell yeah.
Oregon's also
Right?
probably the most like super hippie place you'll ever go.
Yeah.
Even though other places might have that label, Oregon like really like that's their life. And those people,
Yeah.
They all
might,
moved
like,
there and got trapped.
They might want to just keep it open for like a nostalgia sake.
I want to live there just because there's a Blockbuster, to be honest. Like,
Dude, the
Yeah, it's one of
Blockbuster
the
was
most
like the
beautiful
best
it
deals.
is. That too. That too.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Bend is really cool.
That's what we were talking about. The Blockbuster that they have there.
I thought it was in Portland.
It's in Bend. Should we Google it?
Oh no, we
Portland
did
is
this
its own
already.
Separate. I don't know if you've seen all the Antifa riots stuff. Like,
Yeah, they're like shutting down roads over there and all that, and like the police aren't really doing
I was gonna say
anything.
the mayor doesn't really seem to
Yeah,
care
the
about
mayor's like condoning it.
Yep.
Here we are getting political. We're like, we're not gonna get political.
People yelling about how shitty white
Not
people
saying
are.
anything.
Yeah,
Literally
and it's
that.
insane, right? It's like the Antifa's like they're angry that they're white. They wish that they had more like oppressive credibility, you know. If
I'm zoning out.
all right, sorry. so they're oppressing
I'm, like,
themselves.
staring before.
No, they don't have enough oppressive credibility, so they're oppressing themselves.
Let's talk
so that
about
they- so
what
they
the
have oppressive
wines we
credibility.
have here.
Uh,
Like,
Oh.
let's.
I mean, shouldn't we finish the Chardonnay first?
That's a big bottle. It's like still going.
No, there's like only a little bit. It just looks
Some
big.
thick
It's really
glass.
heavy. Like feel how heavy. I keep talking
You
about.
guys know
It's
about
fine.
thick glass.
How many
Chase was
glasses
one
are
first.
in an average bottle of wine? Like five?
You know, it depends on how you're pouring
Yeah, it
them.
depends on what you're pouring. Like
Wasn't there like a
Like full glasses, if
normal pour? I
Like
don't
standard
know,
pour?
standard
like
There
6
is.
ounces.
well, there's 25.36 ounces
Isn't it up to the curve?
in a 750 milliliter bottle. Up to the curve is about like 5.5, 6.
Would that be a glass?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, honestly, like, guys, listen.
What about in this sippy cup? What would a glass be?
I'm not like some sort of like I can't just
Up to the
measure
curve.
things with my
I
eyes.
know. This is
Yeah.
actually ventilated,
Yeah,
so it's
the
keeping
new
it
iPhone
cold.
iOS.
So
Oh yeah, dude, you can
I
like
think I'm
measure. You can like
winning.
measure things on the new iOS thing.
Well,
You
we
can,
have
like-
stems.
Mhm.
We have stems, which keeps our. No, I don't think that's keeping it cold.
it is. It's a vacuum.
No, it's not because the top's open. There's no.
No. Okay, so around like this is sealed though, like in like this outer glass. I'm sorry.
This is what we do
plastic.
at home, by the way. We just argue about everything.
This outer plastic and then the inner
I can see
plastic. There's
that.
a little like
Yeah.
protection there to where it's keeping it cool. Whatever. Just leave me alone.
Agree to disagree. But that's fine. Yeah, 25.36 ounces in a 750 milliliter. Listen, if you're in a restaurant, don't get by the glass wine. Like, come on,
I
man.
always get by the glass wine.
Get
all the time.
get a fucking bottle of wine.
That's
Ooh.
awesome.
Get a goddamn bottle.
I'm gonna listen to my husband.
Listen.
Get yourself a bottle.
Okay,
If
so
I'm by myself, I don't want.
the point of wine is like, guys, like, all right, all four, 1, 2, 3, 4. All four of us.
And that guy in there. Oh
2,
wait, just kidding.
3.
He's not
All
right.
4 of us are sitting here and we're like talking about this wine and we're all drinking this wine at the same time and enjoying it. That's like what wine is like really meant to be. You're supposed to like share it with people. So like if you're going to the restaurant and getting a glass of wine, that's fine. Like, yeah, you're drinking wine, cool. But really, I think the best way to experience like what wine is all about, which is
Right.
like family,
With, like,
you know,
people that you're
being
around
and
with,
sharing with
it,
people and
yeah.
coming together.
Come together.
Yeah.
Right
Well, if you all don't have
now.
the same
Over
glass, you
wine.
can't experience the art of it before. Like,
Yeah.
there's no conversation happening. Everyone
That's-
has their own flavor.
Right, I agree. I think like same as what he said about art, like having the conversation, relating, having a community. That's what.
So and so the way I got onto this is because you're saying like how many glasses are in a bottle. If you get a bottle, also, I usually shoo waiters away if they're pouring the wine for me because they pour too much. How much is this? This is how much is in.
Yeah.
This is how much is in my glass right now.
He always pours little baby glasses for a child, and I always want more.
Yeah, because you want to
Like-
be like, I can look
swirl it, look at the legs,
See, no.
examine.
look like it's jerk off. You know, DJ jerk off in the house.
Shout out.
Cheers. Yeah.
Shout out DJ Jerkoff. Woo woo.
But yeah, I think I will say though, as a woman, if I'm like traveling by myself or I'm like waiting on you to get off work, I just want like a glass. Like I don't want to whip out a bottle for myself. Like so would that be okay to get a
Yeah,
glass?
if you're at a restaurant alone, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't get a bottle.
Okay.
I'd probably drink the beer.
It'd be weird if you
Personally.
got a bottle. You're like, God damn, she's gonna go
It's like
hard.
I'll
right
take a
now."
bottle.
Whoa.
Oh, it's just me.
Yeah, I'll take the
Okay.
bottle. Leave the glass though.
It's like
Straight
Yeah.
from the bottle.
Just leave the glass.
like
Oh, yeah.
nah,
No need to
you're
bring the
good.
Save
glass.
yourself the time.
No need for me to
Yeah.
pour it out when I'm just gonna pour it straight to my mouth. Like, leave the glass.
Uh,
One bottle. If you're getting wine by the glass, there's like 4.5 to 5 glasses. Yeah. So 25.36 if you're pouring 5-ounce pours. Some restaurants pour 5-ounce, some pour 6.
I've
You
seen
know.
places that do 8. I'm just like, Jesus.
That's
That's so
That's
much.
That's like they'll like
that's
go up to,
offensive,
they'll be like up to there
That's
and
like, what Chili's would
offended.
do or something.
Right?
Like, I'm like,
but it'd be like $2.
I need to
Chad.
stop name dropping.
Why? Name
I
dropping?
don't want Chili's to think I
Chili's
hate
like
them.
name
No,
dropping?
honestly, Chili's was like the first thought I had in my head.
Thank you.
Chili's was the third. Yeah,
Hey, I
that-
love
that
their
was
cookie
actually.
skillet
I
and,
was like
like-
subtweeting about Chili's actually, but yeah, there we go.
Some
Yeah,
Southwest
Chili's.
egg rolls.
Oh yeah, Chili's is legit. Don't
Just
get me
dunk it
wrong.
in there.
But I'm not gonna go there for like an educated, tasteful wine.
For an accurate wine pour.
Yeah.
You
I'm
go
gonna
to
go
Chili's.
there
Can I
for
speak
some
with your
egg rolls.
som, please?
Yeah, right.
A blue margarita.
You guys don't have a som on staff? What
Your
the
som's on
fuck?
staff. What would go great with these Chipotle chicken crispers? Like, come on.
Oh my God.
Ooh,
We should go
ooh.
to Chili's.
Those
Actually-
are so good though. Hey, those are
actually-
my. I get those every time I go there.
They have
Those
good
are the
chicken
best.
fingers.
You know what would go
Yeah.
really good with that shit? Motherfucking champagne. Can I say fucking shit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, motherfucking champagne, dude. Listen, if you
Champs for the Real Housewives watchers out there.
here's
Champs?
some
Yeah.
here's some more notes for you. Champagne goes with everything.
And fried chicken.
Yeah, hell,
Oh,
especially
that
fried
sounds
chicken.
Especially fried chicken.
good.
It goes very well with fried
Yes.
chicken. Anything that's really spicy, you want something that has high acid, right?
Mhm.
Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, things like
What about
that.
buffalo wings? Would that go good with champagne?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Champagne goes with
Oh,
everything.
Ooh.
we should have a wing/champagne party.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is an amazing party. Wings and champagne.
We should do a
Jesus.
wing tasting with different flavored sauces and then champagne.
Just
Like a hot ones, but with champagne.
Yes.
Do hot ones, but hey, leave the glass of water, leave the milk. We're only doing champagne.
Shit,
Yeah.
dude. Ooh, yes. When you get that spicy, man. Oof.
Start your own
That would be
YouTube channel
amazing.
that's
You know-
like wings and champagne.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Champs.
Yeah, dude.
I
Yeah.
have some hot one sauces downstairs.
Oh,
Let's
really?
do
Like
it.
some of the really spicy
The
stuff?
Mad Dog 357.
Didn't
Dude,
you
Oh.
order
that
some?
shit's
I didn't get the
dangerous.
Mad Dog. I got
The
like
Mad Dog. It has like a contract
Can
on
I just
the bottle.
have like a little like?
Like when you buy the bottle,
Not
you
right
gotta
now,
sign
maybe.
the contract.
Maybe-
I also
maybe
love
later.
the Carolina Reaper sauce. It's really
Oh.
good. I actually eat that more
Man.
than
Really?
Mad Dog. Fucking.
Really?
Is it like a long wait and then it hits you, or is it just like
Oh,
instantly?
Mad Dog's like instant.
I gave some Mad Dog to Johnny one time, just a dot on his pinky, and he was like, "Dude, I gotta sit." And he didn't want to drive home.
Yeah, you start to like trip.
It was like 20 minutes where he was like, "Dude, that was too."
Oh my god.
Summit Raid.
What is that? What does that mean?
Oh.
Summit Raid.
We're getting
What the fuck is
we're getting
Summit
trolled right now.
Are these aliens?
Oh, I hope they're not trolling us, and because if Summit 1G actually rated us right now, then we would have like thousands of people watching.
Raid
Oh,
Summit,
sweet.
Raid
What's up,
Summit.
guys? We're just talking about how to.
I am an
You're an alien.
alien,
Oh, you're
yes.
an alien. Oh my gosh, welcome.
I'm gonna see how many people are
Is
watching.
that how you
Raid.
spell stupid though? I thought there was a U in between the T and the
Summitoniga.
P. This is
Yeah,
hilarious.
someone's just trolling us because it only has like 5 people watching.
What's up, 5 people? Hey, listen, champagne goes with everything,
Yeah,
bitches.
champagne goes with buffalo wings.
Drink fucking champagne. Don't be a
chicken
bitch.
fingers. What's your favorite kind of chicken finger?
Spicy. Spicy chicken finger.
Give me some spice, baby.
Some spice.
Spicy fried chicken finger. Your mom
Oh
is
my god,
gay.
this person must be really
Nice,
young.
dude.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. With
That's like-
Twitch is-
Yo, it's
That's
me,
so
Kobe.
cute. Oh
Your
my
mom is
god,
gay.
that's adorable.
It reminds me of playing Halo 2 back when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah,
Last
seriously.
week we had someone ask, they were like,
You
"Is this
suck.
18
You
and
suck.
up?"
I'm gonna
And I
teabag
was
you,
just-
me, Kobe.
And both of them were like, I don't know, is this 18 and up stream?
My mom is gay.
They just said
These
Summit
kids.
1G. That's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Summit
yeah.
1G.
Oh man.
That would be amazing if Summit actually rated us, because we might get a shit ton of followers
That's
and
so
views.
crazy.
He's one of the most famous streamers on.
Oh,
Should we keep
Summit's a
talking about
famous
aliens
dude.
and chicken wings?
Hell yeah! If it's gonna
Aliens
keep
What's
and
your
chicken
favorite kind of
wing.
alien?
Do y'all think aliens get drunk?
They
I don't
probably have
know.
something better than one, right? Or
Right?
something comparable.
Or their like
with-
consciousness is like beyond needing to like get drunk or smoke weed.
They're
or
probably on
whatever.
like the 15th version of the Jewel at this
Right.
point.
Like,
Is
they
that what
probably
that
have
is?
wine
Yeah.
in
It's on a
Jewel.
USB
Yo,
drive.
you got AIDS.
Smoking.
The Asian stations.
Oh
Yeah,
my
These
good
God.
comments
one.
are
This is
hilarious.
hilarious.
You guys have the worst, like, these are the worst insults.
Oh,
It's so
yeah.
bad.
I deal with that so much when I'm streaming video games. People say dumb shit to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets bad, and I'll just like ban people because I don't give a fuck. But
Right.
other times I think it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the Chase I told him about the dude last time that said he would glue his thumbs to his nipples.
Oh
and
my
it's
God.
T-Rex.
Yes.
I love dinosaurs.
I'm a dinosaur, but I have my thumbs glued to my nipples. It's like, what am I? I was like, well, looks like reminds me of a T-Rex.
Chicken wings.
we were talking
hot sauce.
about chicken wings and champagne. We're from Austin, Gus B.
So,
Welcome to the ATX, y'all.
champagne. What's your favorite champagne, Kyle?
My favorite champagne is Ely Aurier, which is
Never
spelled
heard of that.
EGLY. It's Ely, and then OURIET. Ely Aurier.
Where's that from?
It's from Champagne, actually.
Oh, okay.
You guys should play Fortnite. Thanks, man.
What is Fortnite?
We
I
do
think
play
I think
Fortnite.
they
No,
I
I play
don't, but they
Fortnite.
do.
I will kick your ass.
I don't.
Probably not. I'd be the first to die every time.
Now that Call of Duty's out,
Wet
there's
casks.
Is that out now?
Yeah.
Is that out? Oh shit.
What's out?
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Dropped a couple days ago.
Oh,
and it
shit.
Essentially, is like they have the adult version of Fortnite. Play battle royale without having to play a free game. 10-year-olds.
Tight.
Alright. Alrighty then.
Bottle of wine number 2.
So, will you tell them about where this is from?
Yeah, this is from motherfucking Italy.
Verona, which is where Romeo and Juliet was staged.
Yeah, so this
took
is the.
place.
Oh, hold on.
Obviously not a real
Yes,
story.
dude. This is a good wine. I like the. I like
So
this
the
wine.
label
here.
on this wine is actually the wall at the
This is,
Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Fucking, replica.
This is the actual wall. What do they call the wall?
Oh my god.
Yeah, get this Gus fucking guy out of here, man.
Jeez.
Guy
Jesus.
sucks.
I'll ban him.
It's like, you don't like my hair buns? I mean,
This
my
guy
goodness.
sucks. What was that logo? Is he a king? What is that? A crown?
He's an
I
idiot.
thought it was the favor bow from like.
Yeah, I thought the
Rap.
favorite was hitting us up too.
Roblox Princess Simulator. Thanks.
I just like am not gonna read these little chats right now.
Oh yeah, red wine, baby.
So
This is good. I don't know what the contest was, but I won that Magnum of this
At
bottle.
Sophia.
Oh yeah, did you
Yeah.
drink that thing or what?
Oh yeah, we definitely drank that. It was good.
of this bottle.
Pasimento.
Didn't y'all like have the original winemaker come into Sophia's
Yeah,
and like do a
and like
tasting?
show.
He was
Yeah,
like,
it was pretty cool.
Grazie. The Italians say.
Well, those wine tastings were tight.
3,000 love messages a day from every corner of the world,
It's-
any religion, any culture,
it's-
trapped forever on a single
But
frame.
it's pretty. I've been there. I've been there.
Romeo
It's
and Juliet's
amazing.
wall, a unique spot in our city.
It is, and so Verona is a really amazing city. Cool facts. Number one, the Colosseum in Verona is bigger than the Colosseum in Rome,
Interesting.
and it's more well maintained. Number
Yeah,
two,
how many Colosseums are in Italy?
well, actually, there's 3 cool facts. Number two, it's a pedestrian-friendly city, so no cars are allowed to drive around. You just walk
Nice.
everywhere. Number 3, the streets are made of pink marble, so there's pink marble.
Wow.
everywhere.
Damn,
Yeah.
that
Some
sold
shit.
me. I want to go there now.
That city is awesome. It's amazing. I am a spoiled brat and like did a tour of Europe when I was 18, and it was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my favorite city is probably Amsterdam, though. Everyone there speaks English. It's great. Whoa.
Yeah, like I remember when I went to South Africa, it took like a total of like 27.5 hours of travel, and I was just like, this is
Damn.
ridiculous.
South Africa?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's long.
We flew from Dallas to Washington D.C., from Washington D.C. to Senegal, which is like the westernmost tip of Africa. From there, we flew to Johannesburg. From Johannesburg, I flew to Durban, which is on the east coast, like on the Indian Ocean coast. And then from there, we had to get into like this bus and drive like 2.5 hours like through these like mountains and coastal lines and everything to get to like this like one village that we were staying at.
Is that by Cape Town where all the sharks are?
No, Cape Town. So you have like, I'm looking at this. So you look at the bottom of Africa, South Africa. You have like Johannesburg, kind of like up here.
Right.
Cape Town is going to be down here,
Right.
and Durban's going to be like on the other coast over here. Those are like the 3 major cities in South Africa.
Why did you go to the?
That actually, so I went there originally for like a mission trip, and that was just kind of like the church that like our church was like sponsored with, I guess.
That's cool. That's
But
awesome.
It was an incredible experience for sure.
Gosh.
I always wanted to go.
I got mugged by a bababoon. He stole my pizza.
A
Yeah,
baboon
dude.
stole your pizza?
Yeah, they do that. They steal shit from people.
We were at this like we were kind of like in the touristy area visiting like one of the local cities, and there was like a pizza shop, and we went to go get pizza, and so they're like kind of like it was kind of like the whole Mod Sun idea, or not Mod Sun, Mod Pizza, Mod Sun. Shout out Mod Sun, but Mod Pizza, where it's like you get like your personal like little pies and you kind of build your stuff, and so I got mine, and we're going outside to sit, and there's like warning signs like, hey, don't feed the baboons. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
Is this real? Like, I know I'm in Africa, but like I've never seen a sign that says
I
don't
would
feed the baboons.
Let's be honest.
So I'm like, all right, that's funny.
But if you don't feed them, they just steal your shit anyways.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I'm like out there.
Their teeth are like...
Yeah.
Oh, they're scary. They have those like weird like colorful asses going on.
I know,
dude.
right? Their butts are so colorful.
Like,
it's
why?
beautiful, actually.
Why do
They're
they have
like-
colorful asses?
It's like a painting, almost.
Jesus.
Why? Evolution, why? Like, what?
They were
Oh,
just
yeah.
showing off to the ladies.
I know, right? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Look at my ass, girl.
Is that where Kim Kardashian got her inspiration from? Was a baboon?
I just saw this baboon and I just couldn't stop myself.
Watch, it's gonna be like a new fashion trend: baboon asses.
Baboon pants.
Yes.
Like yoga pants with the red ass.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, makes me think of
Post.
the Lion King for some reason. Wasn't there a baboon in the Lion King?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that like holds them over the cliff.
Oh, and it's like
That's the thing
Rafiki.
on the guys.
yeah.
There you go.
Rafiki.
Rafiki, yeah.
Rafiki. There's a new
You know what's
Aladdin
funny?
coming out too.
I
Will
was
Smith.
actually talking to my brother-in-law the other day when I was in Dallas, and like he was like talking about DMT, and like the tree that's like symbolizes in Lion King is like
The tree.
that one tree that like where Rafiki lives in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
With the
Pacific
paint.
that Pacific tree apparently like holds like the highest amount of DMT of any plant on this planet or something.
Wow.
And so that's why
Wow.
they said that like Rafiki was like the way he was is because he was just tripping the entire time.
Oh, he was eating the fruit off the tree,
Oh,
right?
man.
All right.
Yeah, the fruit. Well, it comes from the bark. Is what like, you gotta
Ah.
extract it from the bark.
Wasn't he was making shit out of the bark though? That's how he made that.
Oh, Disney.
shit that he put-
Exactly.
He like cracks
Oh.
open
So I
the
was like,
coconut and
damn,
like paints.
These
his
fools
face.
got me
Yeah.
again.
See, I got in this huge argument.
Oh, man.
This
I
kind of
got
has to do with
tripping
wine
balls.
too. I got in this huge argument with my brother and one of our friends at his bachelor party. It was like we had eaten a bunch of mushrooms and it's like 6 a.m. and we're like chugging a bottle of champagne out of the bottle. And we got on the subject like I think that animals like are sentient, you know. They like can comprehend like kind of what's going on around them and they know they're alive. And they can have thoughts, like they can have spiritual experiences and shit like that. But like things like that, like and dolphins like eating certain types of like puffer fish to get all
Yeah.
fucked up and
Dolphins,
shit.
They're so smart.
They are, yeah. But like I don't know, my friend was so like, no, animals don't know, like they're like just there, and I'm like, no way,
What?
dude. Yeah,
What?
Jonathan. said-
Jonathan. Oh, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say last name.
So his whole thing is like, well, if dolphins are so smart, you know, why don't they have books? You know, why,
Oh
why
my
don't they have
God.
libraries and shit? I'm like, because dolphins
What?
have
He said that.
dolphins have fucking flippers, man. They can't write books. They have stories and shit they tell each other, you know.
Actually,
that's so
sharks are
true.
scared of dolphins. I did a report when I was 7 in first
Yeah,
grade.
'cause
on
dolphins will kill a shark.
Oh yeah, they fucking.
Yeah, they will they protect humans too.
Yo, we should come down on these dolphins, man. They're racist against sharks and shit.
Yeah.
They're speciesist.
Species.
We'll use
Mice are
Mice?
smart,
Mice
in
are
actually.
number one.
experiments all the time.
Really?
In the book,
It's good, thank
I mean,
you.
this is his made up Douglas Adams made up
Yeah.
idea, but the mice are actually running the planet, and that dolphins
That makes sense.
try really like when Earth is
Ratatouille's an OG.
destroyed, they try so hard. The dolphins try and tell the humans, but because we don't speak their language, we're like, oh, they're just doing tricks and shit.
Yeah, they're like,
They're,
you're
like,
gonna
trying to
die,
warn
man.
us.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
They're just like, hey.
It's so amazing though, because like the clicks and the sounds they make, they communicate underwater for miles.
Yeah,
like,
very well.
Yeah,
They
it's
do a
really-
pretty good job
Dolphins
of it.
are, yeah, that's actually one of my other bucket list things.
Also, their
besides
hunting
traveling to
techniques
Egypt.
are interesting because different
one of my
different
dolphins.
like different types of dolphins have different hunting techniques. They like hunt together and they like play games with their food and shit.
Mhm.
The ocean is so crazy.
Yeah. More people
Speak
have
up-
been into
speak of the
space than
devil.
more people have been like a mile into the ocean, like down into the water.
Oh my!
You know who
God.
has been a mile down? James
I
Cameron.
was gonna say, James is on another level.
He's one of the few. Yeah, he's one of the few.
James
Yeah.
Cameron, that South Park episode.
That is one
His
of the
name
best
is
episodes
James
ever.
Cameron, explorer of the sea. So I saw that South Park episode. I'm like, I don't get what this is about. They're just like making fun of James Cameron. But no, like he's got a fucking documentary. You know, right? He's got. Have you seen it?
He's
got- he's-
like
No.
went to the Titanic, like in.
Yeah,
the
he's got like a
ocean.
documentary on
Yeah.
Netflix where he's like developing that.
He holds,
He
like,
like
the
assembles a whole team
Yeah.
to like make a thing for him. And he's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna do it. And they're like, yeah, James, you know, go. Do it. And
Oh,
he's
man.
like, yeah, fuck you. You got to stay up here. You
Well, it's
built all
crazy
this
that
shit.
he
for
just
me."
chooses to spend his money on that.
Right,
He's
yeah.
so
I know.
interested. He's like, let's go break records.
Yeah, it is pretty
In
cool.
a crazy-
Hell
No,
yeah.
that is. I think that's admirable. I would say, like he does like research what he technically when he makes movies about Avatar. I don't know how much he did for that as fantasy, but
God, I'm still waiting for Avatar 2 to ever come out if it does.
that's such a beautiful movie.
It's one of my all-time favorites for sure.
It's on.
I
think
can watch
it's
that on
HBO right
repeat
now.
all the time.
Yeah, good movie.
Oh yeah.
Titanic, obviously, like OG is one of my favorite movies. Maybe that's why I don't like cruise ships.
Makes sense.
How old were you when you first saw Titanic?
7. My parents wouldn't let
Wow,
me see
scarred
it.
you,
It was
huh?
PG-13, and I was at a friend's house and we watched it. And Leonardo DiCaprio was like my first love. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
pretty sure Titanic was like the
still-
first set of boobs I ever saw.
Oh yeah.
What's her face?
I think it's first boobs for
Kate
most of our
Winslet.
generation.
Yeah, those were the first. Yeah,
You know,
I got
Like,
freaked out. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like only
Those
for
were
like
the
2
first boobs, yeah.
seconds.
my dad's like, "You're fine. Is this your first pair?" I'm like, "I don't know what to do right now.
I'm so young. I'm like, I don't know.
What's going on?"
Oh my god. God,
What are
1997
those?
Leonardo DiCaprio was like,
I was in 4th grade when
Well,
that
and
came
come
out.
on, we all know that there was come on that.
right?
Raft
Like,
or
where
whatever
does
the
she
fuck.
get off doing that? Like,
Yeah.
just letting him freeze to death in the
She
water.
also would have been warmer if she had let him up there. you
Right.
know,
Oh yeah.
Get together.
100%.
I mean, there's.
Fucking Kate Winslet.
Try harder, Kate.
Yeah,
that was the first
God.
time I cried during a movie too. Was
Yeah,
When
you
he
can't
fell.
let young Leo
he,
die,
like,
bro.
floated
Like,
down. I was like,
I
damn
love
it.
you.
And you know, Leonardo DiCaprio gets a bad rep nowadays because he's like, you know, parties a lot. He's got a dad bod, but whatever.
He
it's
parties a lot.
because he
Good
shot
for
Wolf
him,
of
shit.
Wall Street. He's like, "Oh, this
That
lifestyle
movie's-
is awesome."
That movie is amazing.
He's
That
like,
is
I should
such a
do
good
this much
movie.
cocaine.
Honestly, every
all the
movie he's
time.
in, it was like
Yeah.
it
Inception. if you
surprises me
watch
how
it-
long it took him to get an Academy Award. Like,
I know, right? The Revenant was really good, but I honestly think that,
is that what he got the Academy Award for?
Yeah.
Shutter Island is really good.
That's one of my
Inception's
favorites
really
by
good.
far. Blood Diamond's really
Blood
good.
Diamond.
What?
One of my professors would say that.
That's hilarious.
She's like, I met Johnny Depp in the 90s. Johnny Depp now, like, poor guy.
I know. I actually watched Public Enemy today, and
Yeah.
I was like, dude. he's a
My
gangster.
favorite Johnny Depp role, honestly, like Edward Scissorhands was so good. That one's really good.
Honestly, one of my favorite movies by him is like The Secret Window.
Yes,
that
that's what I was
Stephen
thinking
King
of.
movie.
That's a
That's
good
some
one.
good shit. Like
Yeah.
him being like the author and like
Is that
he's,
Stephen
like,
King?
it is Stephen King.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Good.
Shout out
Another-
Stephen King. He's an
another person
OG.
that just
Shout
springs
out
to
to The
mind.
Shining.
Yes,
One of the
dude.
best movies ever.
Stephen King doesn't like that movie though.
No. Stephen King. Does he not? Is it the original It that he doesn't like? The new It he likes.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't acknowledge.
He didn't like The
that.
Shining because he didn't like how Stanley
He doesn't like
Kubrick like did his own thing.
But Stanley
Yeah.
Kubrick wasn't making The Shining. He was making a Stanley Kubrick film.
And to be fair, if you've ever seen the like made-for-TV remake that they did years
of The
later,
Shining, I haven't seen it.
Phenomenal.
Oh, really?
I need to see it because I've heard it's
more book accurate.
You're the
He
biggest
likes
Shining fan ever.
the TV like Rose
How have
Red
you
is
not
one of my
seen it?
favorite Stephen King like film or like TV movie adaptions, but you cannot find it anywhere. So if
Really?
anyone knows where Rose Red is, if I can rent it or buy it,
You know where I bet they have it? The Blockbuster in Oregon.
right? Like, where
I
the
bet
F
you
is
it's
Rose
there.
Red? Like, come on.
They have
like,
all the limited copies.
Rose Red is so good. If you haven't seen it, like try to see it, but it's like it's not online. You can't find it.
Speaking of, they're remaking Pet Sematary.
Yeah, that looks
What?
good, man. It looks scary.
Yeah.
Looks
Stephen
freaky.
King- Stephen King's amazing. So,
Speaking of scary movies,
Halloween's
Hereditary.
coming up. No, I can't talk about that movie.
Yeah, you liked
I
it,
haven't seen it yet. I
bro.
want to watch it though.
But my roommate watches such fucked up films that
Yeah.
I'll catch with
Where you
him
kind of-
that things like that are like
That's
You're
like
like,
a
ah.
psychological
Like,
Really?
I was
twist
like, oh, that
film.
was pretty normal compared to what I've walked in on other times.
I know.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is okay.
This is good. This is an action film.
And I
right?
love horror movies. I really am a horror movie fanatic. And Hereditary just like was like watching a nightmare for me. Like it was just very psychological.
They just came out with that new horror series on Netflix. I want to see the house on the.
Oh,
or
it's so
the
good.
Haunting on the House Hill or
It's
something
so
like
scary, but it's so
that.
good.
Yeah, I
Like,
heard it's like really scary that people are like
That's-
passing out, like watching this.
yes, it's also like watching a fucking nightmare. No, it's it's like a
It's a series, but
yeah.
it's
not like the movie, but
it's not. Yeah, it has the same title GIF to it.
It's kind of like The Conjuring, but like if The Conjuring was like the kids left the house and got older, and one of the kids wrote a book about
The Conjuring
it.
was actually one of my favorite
Sounds pretty dope. Yeah.
scary
Such a good
movies.
movie.
That was a good movie.
It was a really good movie.
Yes, that whole The Nun I thought was really good. We just
I
saw
haven't
that.
seen that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude,
loved
I like.
it.
Okay, Hereditary.
Good.
Hereditary. I was just like, wow, this is like,
Just
this is
up.
fucked up.
Bro.
With the Nun, I was like, okay, like this.
I
I've had
loved it.
enough.
It
I've
was
had
so
enough.
good.
Like by
And I
the
feel
by
bad
like the
for
last
her.
20
I
minutes of the
do.
movie, I was like, oh my, like I don't want this to happen anymore. Like I just want to leave.
Stop.
I was like sweating. I'm like, oh
Like, I
god.
wanna watch it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it like if you like to be like scared, you're like it fucking scares you.
It's
You know.
so good. And Mother is one of my favorite horror movies too that came out recently. Have you seen Mother?
I've heard about that. That looks scary.
It's on I think it's on
anything
Hulu.
with like moms or like the females being possessed is scary. Honestly,
Mother is also like
because
watching
when
a
the females
nightmare.
possessed, that shit is scary.
Have you
'Cause-
seen The Witch?
Yes, so good.
I
He hates
loved
it.
that
It's so.
movie so
No, I don't hate it.
It's
I
too
never said I hate
scary.
it.
The Witch.
No, it's the thing is, it's not scary.
I mean,
Like, I didn't think it was scary. It's just like I felt like
dark as fuck.
Yeah, and I felt like I
It's
I
beautiful, I
saw
thought.
something I wasn't supposed to see. You know, that's how I felt. I
Yeah.
felt like dirty or something
That's
after
what
it.
art does. Like it
Yeah.
makes you feel shit.
Art,
that,
art
like,
and wine.
Black
art
Phillip.
and wine, like it makes you like that's why I love horror movies. Like The Shining's one of my favorite films of all time, and
I wish I liked horror stuff. I freak myself out.
oh, I love it. I love it. The
I
Conjuring,
scare myself.
Conjuring 2, Annabelle. He doesn't like Annabelle, but I love.
See, I don't do
Annabelle.
porcelain dolls in general, so like that shit right there, nah.
Yeah, like how you feel about giant ships is how I feel about those creepy ass dolls in those
Really?
movies. Yeah.
So he sends me pictures of cruise ships just to piss me off sometimes.
Yeah, it's great.
He's like, hey, look at this, and I'm like, oh god, because okay, fun story. I lived in Hamburg for studying abroad in college, and Hamburg has the largest shipping port, I think, in Europe, and those giant barges that you see on TV that literally like the size of an island. They're giant. We would go to the harbor and get drunk and like sit there watch these giant ships, and you know when you're there and the ship is like the size of a skyscraper in front of you and it's moving across the water, that's freaky. It's freaky.
Yeah.
So I must
Bless
part of this
Every
now.
now and again, one of them just goes down.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the like the what do you call the little
Ba-ba-ba.
boxes that are on the ships, the like they put them on trains.
Like the black box.
Shipping crates.
Shipping
Oh,
crates.
Shipping crates.
Okay.
So the shipping crates, like
Shipping
there's videos
crates?
of those
Some
ships
crepes?
just like toppling over, and the shipping crates just like falling into the ocean. Like they're not stable. even though they look
Like
huge.
that one was
crazy.
an Italian cruise. Like
Oh, that
we
hit a sandbar.
And
Yeah.
What?
It toppled.
The captain wasn't paying attention.
It capsized, didn't it?
Yeah, it sunk. People died.
It's like the Poseidon
What
movie.
the
Whoa.
fuck?
Yep.
Yeah,
Cruise ships
apparently.
are not safe.
You got tried. I mean, like if you're the captain of
He
the
was
ship,
drunk,
and that
wasn't he?
happens, yeah, he was drunk, I believe, and just literally just ran it aground and
People died. Like I think like 100 something people died.
Did he get like?
Drunk ship
Did
driver.
he get the electric chair for that
Perfect.
shit? Like what's
no,
up?
this is in 2014. I think.
yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah.
But
Do they even still do that? Electric chair?
I don't know where it is.
We're in the
I think some
South.
states do it.
I mean, in Texas
this
they
was
do.
like an Italian
Don't they?
cruise or
No.
something, so I don't know,
They do
probably
lethal
lined him up
injection.
and shot him or
That's
something,
true.
Oh wow.
I don't know how that.
That
works.
sounds honestly. That sounds better than the injections. You know, sometimes.
It's supposed to be.
Are we gonna go there? We're going there, aren't we? Are we going there right now?
It's
What?
Death
I don't want
penalties.
to talk about
Should we
death
start
penalty.
advocating? This is what happens. So this is like the wine podcast, right? You know, when you start drinking a bunch of wine, then you just start talking about
Death
crazy shit.
penalties.
Before you know it, you're like, which death penalty's better?
Yeah, let's take a
Lethal
poll right now,
injection.
y'all.
There's a movie with Sean Penn called Dead Man Walking.
Yes.
It's really good if you haven't seen it. It's
Sean
about the death
Penn,
penalty.
aka looks like Johnny
Susan
Laporte's dad.
Sarandon. Yeah.
Shout out.
He looks like Johnny Laporte's dad.
Shout out.
Oh no kidding.
Oh man, Sean Penn, doesn't he he interviewed someone in North Korea or something, right? For Time Magazine and got in trouble,
What?
didn't he?
My stepdad played pool time and said that he was extremely nice to my stepdad because they
Right.
were playing a game together, but every other person.
Huh.
Yeah. He interviewed someone.
How did
and
he
was
get to? How did he like end up playing with your stepdad?
He just happened to walk into the
He
pool hall
would.
that they were playing in, and my stepdad.
Sean Penn
was
must have been like,
the-
"Yo, that guy's cool."
Well, he was
I'm
like
playing
the
with him.
obvious. My stepdad was supposedly he was like the obvious good player, and so he wanted to play someone that was good. And he was like, "Oh, this
Oh,
guy's
what's
winning.
fucking
I'm gonna
Jaime
play
saying?
him."
What
You're,
did
like,
what did
looking at your
Jaime say?
phone.
Jaime's like texting the group. What is it?
Watching
They're
right now?
okay. They're having like a work conversation right now, and I'm not part of the group
Well,
chat. So
Tell Jaime to chat right here with.
yeah, tell him to go on.
So
Twitch
Jaime just sent
and
us a
say
meme
stuff.
saying, "When you're puro Mexicano, but you also grew up banging DJ Screw,
What is
What
that?
is it, like
He's
picture?
two-
from Houston.
2 foam cups with chili lime salt around both."
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
That's what-
I
That's
don't know
funny.
if you guys can see that, but
I love that chili lime salt stuff.
Mm.
yeah, it is
Y'all have
actually.
some on a margarita at Sophia's, don't you?
Yeah, Tom makes that
Yeah.
chili lime salt from
I
like
just want, like, a
scratch.
cup
It's
of that.
amazing.
You know,
Honestly, just like I actually I'm not like I took a shot of tequila last night with the chili lime salt.
mm.
Like I normally just take my tequila hot and naked. I don't like
Hot
I don't-
naked.
hot
That's
and
so
naked.
cute.
He's like, "Hey, how you like your tequila?" I'm like, "Just like I like my women, hot and naked." And I don't like salt in general, but like the chili lime salt was actually kind of good.
It's delicious. It's really good.
Yeah, I get those mangoes covered in it at the gas
Yes.
station.
Yeah.
Packed. I'm addicted
When I
to
lived in
those.
Los Angeles, there was always these like street vendors, like these little tiny street carts, and they would sell fresh fruit, and they'd sprinkle what is it called? It's like the chili lime salt
Yeah,
that comes in the
chili
plastic
salt.
container.
Something that starts with a T or something like that.
Yeah, it's like tapio. I don't know. I don't know what it's
Yeah,
called.
tapio.
Is that it has a green label? Like, I can
Yes.
see the label in my brain, but they just sell it. It's
Sprinkle it
like
on
the
some
best
street corn.
fresh fruit ever. It's like $5 for this giant to-go box of fresh fruit, and you just eat it, and it's like spicy,
Hell
salty,
yeah.
and sweet.
I love places.
Shout out to the street vendors in LA and Los Feliz.
Shout out Osmosis Jones.
I think I've seen-
What?
Is that an animated movie?
It's back and forth.
Okay.
I don't know. That's not. This
It's
is the
part
first one that came to my head.
animated, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's about like the human body. Like who was it?
That's
Chris
awesome.
Rock was the voice, I think, for Osmosis. I don't know. It's a good movie. We had to
It's
watch it in
like
hell.
Indiana Jones.
We watched it like
but
12
Osmosis
times.
Jones.
We watched it like
I know
12
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Bill Murray. He ate that like
I have
he ate the
seen
like the deviled egg or the boiled egg from the
right.
monkey,
And
got,
they're like
a
the
virus.
blue guys or whatever.
Yeah, the blue
Yeah.
guys
I
are like
think
the
I
white
remember
blood
that movie.
cells. They're like the
Yeah.
cops.
Oh right.
The cops.
Like the club, like
Yeah,
the
the-
pimple club is like they blow up the pimple club. Is like here's his pimple on his forehead.
No.
But like in the cartoon version, like the pimple's like a club for like all the like diseases to hang out at.
It's like in A Bug's Life when they like go to the club and it's like where all the gross bugs.
Yeah, the flies are getting drunk and everything,
Yeah.
hitting on the ladybugs.
Grand
Oh.
Budapest.
Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
That's a good
You watched
one.
that, didn't you?
Yeah, great movie. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
like Bill Murray though in is it Zombieland?
Oh, and Space Jam.
Oh my god.
That was
good.
maybe my
and,
favorite.
hey,
Zombie
and
and
Space Jam, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so
He
good.
played ball with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He was in
Oh,
Space
Space
Jam.
Jam.
Oh yeah, I was.
They're
in
making
Space
another
Jam.
one.
With
Jesus.
LeBron James.
Are they really?
Yes.
Out of here, man.
LeBron.
God, that sucks that they're doing
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're ruining Star Wars and making remakes of Space Jam and fucking
You
Aladdin.
know what? I like Star Wars. I do, but
No, you
the
don't.
Natalie Portman
Don't
ones
lie.
are the ones I like.
Those are the worst ones.
Yeah, they
I love
are.
Natalie Portman.
I think the general consensus is episode 1 is.
No, episode
Aw,
2 is the
I
worst.
Like that one.
Episode
I
2 is
both-
like a
episode
sappy
2 is,
love
like,
story.
way too much love story going
Well,
on.
I love it.
Which I
Harrison
mean, I
Ford was,
understand
like-
because like the whole Star Wars thing is supposed to be like a family
Right.
sci-fi soap opera, but
Well, Jar Jar Binks. Like,
no, that's the thing. I was actually having a conversation about Jar Jar Binks and like
He's the secret Dark
he-
Lord or whatever.
Yeah, apparently like when he originally came around was he was supposed to be a Sith Lord.
Mhm.
Like he was supposed to be like the drunk Sith Lord in a way, but
the
like
Drunken Master.
yeah, basically, and like but that kind of like fell through and like
You need to give it a chance.
but
Yeah.
oh, they're great.
Yeah.
We should
We should just like hang out one day when it's raining and
watch
just
Star Wars
like
when we get home.
May 4th.
watch
It's raining
Star
today.
Wars. May the 4th be with you.
It's raining
Um,
today.
But
Oh yeah.
I mean, the originals are even kind of campy.
well, I love Harrison Ford and George Lucas, and
They're so
I don't know
good.
why I don't watch them.
You know who?
What?
So Harrison
love
Ford.
Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford wasn't even supposed to be Han Solo. Like
Indiana Jones.
the only reason. Oh yeah, I think that's Indiana Jones' best, or that's and that's Harrison Ford's
And
best role.
Blade
is-
Runner. He's really in the
Oh my
original
God,
Blade Runner.
That's
Runner
good,
is
too.
so
Oh,
good.
my art!
Mm.
Like I look at Blade Runner, I'm like that reminds me of my paintings. Like
Oh my
I
God.
love
love
both Blade
Blade
Runners. The new
Runner.
one's good too.
I'm obsessed.
I like the
So
music in it. It's like.
good. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
You're
It's
like,
like
Oh.
again, like
Oh.
art. You feel things like when you watch Blade Runner, you like feel the like
I was just watching the second one
Dystopia.
last night.
the second one
Yeah,
with
Dawson
Ryan.
and Harrison Ford's in that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
Harrison
oh,
Ford's
and
been, like,
what's his face?
coming back.
Ooh, pretty boy.
Ryan
Jared
Gosling-
Leto.
Jared Leto
yeah.
is
Jared
it? Okay,
Leto.
so I'm a 30 Seconds to Mars fan.
Me too.
And
Shout
I've
out.
seen them
Shout out
twice.
36 Mars, aka Jared Leto and his
And
brother.
just saying, Jared Leto can freaking
He can
sing.
do anything.
He's a very
Yeah.
talented. He's like
He's
very
like
talented.
45
He's one of those
too.
dudes that's
Yeah, he still looks like he's 28.
He's
Yeah,
in shape,
does.
like, and he's talented, and like his brother's also in the band too, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's
like,
him and his brother, and like I think I want to say
they're-
cousin. I want to say it's a family band. I want to say
Yeah.
it's a cousin, but
and the
probably a
music they
friend or
put
something
out
like
is
that.
consistently well produced, really good. Like,
He's just so
Have you seen
talented.
the documentary on that though? That,
No.
Like they're like the classic example of a band that got fucked by the record label. Like obviously he
Really?
doesn't care about money because he's already a
he's
movie
an
star, but
Oscar-winning
like,
artist.
they've got ripped off like more than any band.
They're not that famous.
Like it's crazy. Well, they went
30
through
seconds.
Internationally, they
made,
are actually.
like,
Really?
huge
Yeah.
money, but the label
They do like
all
world,
their
like
money.
giant
Wow.
world tours and stuff.
Yeah, they go to like that. There's one video where they like take people from different different countries and put them in the video, but it's like not a lot of people from the U.S. They don't tour in the U.S. too much from what I've seen. I
They'll
saw
do like
them-
they'll do like a year world tour, and then like after that they'll do like a year like USA tour.
I saw them at the Austin Music Hall before I got to.
What was it, Jared Leto, when they were on this previous tour, he actually stopped by Austin and sang at the "I Love You So Much" wall.
Oh, that's
I don't know if you guys ever saw that
nice.
clip or
I
not.
didn't. I need to see.
We can
his
actually pull it
voice
up if
is
you want, I
So
don't know.
good. And
It's so good.
they
He got like the
actually-
entire crowd singing and everything. It was
I
like,
just
so
set
dope.
up the headphones today because I don't think
Oh,
videos.
well, I
one
mean,
of their music videos, "The Kill," is based off The Shining.
that
I
is
love that. music
that
video.
song will always be one of my faves.
So good. I wish we could watch the video right now. It's so
we
good.
can actually.
Should
Yeah,
we
we just
like?
have to say-
It's
We don't-
okay.
yeah.
I'll watch it when I get home. I love
We can just
Jared
like watch it
Leto.
in silence,
Yeah.
sing along with it.
I mean, my so-called life, like old 90s, like actually it was the 80s. That TV show is so good. You're just going at it.
It's such a
Sing
good
the whole
song.
He
song,
screams
please.
at himself in
Oh.
the video. It's so cool.
I want to scream like him.
He's just
Because you just,
we're
like,
all
feel the
geeking
emotion,
out
you know?
over
You're just like,
Jared Leto.
Yes.
Yes,
Jared
Jared.
Leto.
And, like, you know
Fight
what?
Club, like he's done it all.
He's the kind
He
of guy that would like
was.
respond to your
Oh, yeah, he was
tweets
the
and
blonde
respond
dude,
to
huh?
your
He was in
Instagram
Fight Club.
messages. Like
He's always had like those like little like cameo shots in
Mhm.
like good movies that you're like, Fuck, there's Jared Leto.
Well, the Joker in Suicide Squad, like he
did a good job
I
on
thought
that,
he was
actually.
the best part of that movie. Like the movie was not.
Yeah, actually, he
and
did make
Harley
that
Quinn,
movie.
I think, was really good too.
Yeah. Margot Robbie.
But the rest of that movie was just like.
It was a
eh.
terrible
Fucking
movie.
If they went
Queen.
in that movie, yeah, I mean, it was barely watchable.
Yeah, because Will Smith tried making it like about him, and it's like,
Wait,
dude,
is
Will Smith,
in
like,
that movie?
yeah, he's
Oh,
Deadshot.
Yeah.
So
And it still failed. Like,
you know,
You see every Will Smith movie, his name has to be the first one listed in all the credits.
I Am Legend.
That's like part of his contract.
Is the best Will Smith movie. Well, Tom Cruise. Okay, let's get on the Tom Cruise kick for a second.
Tom Cruise or Will Smith? Is this like the
So they
the
both
thing?
were Scientologists at one point, I think. What I've heard, the rumor is in
but
LA.
Tom is like the Scientologist.
But
Yeah, but he
Tom,
left.
Obviously,
He
like,
got a gold
He said he
medal.
quit.
Will
He
left.
quit.
Well,
No, Tom left. He's like, I'm leaving the church.
If you rewatch all the Mission Impossible movies, thinking that they're like propaganda for Scientology, it's actually really
It makes sense,
interesting.
yeah.
It makes sense because like Tom Cruise is like the spokesperson for Scientology. He can do anything. Like he is like in these films saving the world, like beating dynamics and just like shooting the shit and getting it done.
Steam
I feel
levels
like almost every
meantime are
movie
going
he's
up.
done, you could make some sort of parallel like comparison in that way. Like,
It's
I
all
remember there was
Scientology
one,
propaganda.
Like, futuristic sci-fi movie that he did.
Minority
that was, like,
Minority Report.
No, that's an amazing one, but
Mhm.
no, there was a more recent one where like I remember watching it and thinking like, this is literally like that's all that it was made for. It was for just to sell Scientology.
He produces the films too.
Makes sense.
And Eyes Wide Shut is actually a really great movie if you haven't seen
Mhm.
it. But that's
I mean,
like
that's a classic.
when Nicole
Was it?
Kidman was, I think they weren't even married yet because they met filming that film in 1993.
I feel like Scientology introduced him to all of his
Yeah.
female.
Right. Well, they say that they that Scientology like matches him with people. Just
The clip
Yeah.
of him being awarded the gold medal by Miskovich is like one of the most hilarious and
I
YouTube clips
haven't
of
seen
all
it.
time.
I like
It's
the Oprah clip.
because he's a tiny person.
Yes.
And like the
Were you
fact
freaking
that
out?
Miskovich
Yeah.
is smaller than him, and like
Aw.
does this dominant like handshake where he won't let go of Tom's hand, and then
Yeah.
like they salute RH. It's so the whole thing's hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's
Weird.
pure comedy.
Tom Cruise is fascinating. Like I used to just like be like, oh, I don't like Tom Cruise. I'm over it. But then we actually saw what was it, the 5th Mission Impossible in theaters? Whatever was in theaters recently.
I think it was number 6.
It was.
It is,
You know
yeah.
what?
It is good.
You know what? His Mummy movie
It was
might
good.
have beaten Brendan Fraser's Mummy
Okay,
movies.
Brendan Fraser has my heart, my 13-year-old heart.
So
like-
I was actually like,
I'm
it was actually
sorry.
good.
Love that
It was a
movie.
good one.
I'm like
I love the originals.
The originals were great, but
with
like,
Emotep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Lee
they're
Farrell.
so much fun.
God, poor Emotep. Like, come on.
Emotep. Who's
He's
Emotep?
just trying to do his thing.
He's the
just,
Pharaoh,
Like, black
and-
magic and
I know he's just trying to like take over the fucking world.
no
Like,
big deal.
poor guy, just trying.
That was his destiny, and then
I
Brendan
know.
Fraser had to get
Brendan
involved.
Fraser ruined. It's like a wannabe Indiana Jones, but like not as good.
Right.
And then Shia LaBeouf was in the new Indiana Jones. Like,
his son.
Kingdom of the
and now
Crystal
Shia LaBeouf
Skull.
is actually kind of an amazing performance artist.
Honestly,
Like, he's
everything
such a-
Shia LaBeouf has done has been brilliant. I would say, honestly.
Yeah, like-
I'm a big fan of his for sure.
I am too. Like,
Like, even when he's fucked up, it's been great.
like watching
Yeah.
all of his films.
Just do it. That or like getting
With, like,
arrested
the
on
rat
6th
tail.
Street, like
Oh, yeah, that's
he got
one of the
arrested on
greatest
6th Street for like
things.
being like too fucked up or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, he got arrested?
I don't know. I think-
Actually, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard
He was
about
just like way too fucked up in public, and he was just like, "Fuck
I'm
it,
Shia
I'm
LaBeouf."
LaBeouf. I don't give a
Aw.
fuck."
There's
I
a
was
rumor
like,
that Justin
yes.
Bieber got arrested on a pedicab. Something isn't
Oh, really?
true.
What do you?
Hmm.
Austin rumors, man.
I know that he came into South by's ago and
Mhm.
played a banger.
He's
An
talented.
unannounced bangers.
Bangers has some good
performance.
South by shows by far.
Really?
Yeah,
You
I
imagine
never
you're
got
just
Rainy
eating
Street.
sausage and you're like, is that?
that's the thing. You can never
Justin
get into Rainy Street
Bieber.
on South by, but if you can, get into Bangers because you're gonna have the best shows.
I want to go to Rainy Street. I haven't been there forever. Like it's been.
I don't like it at nighttime.
It's
It's
so
a different vibe at
slammy.
nighttime. I like it during the day. Like during the
Mhm.
daytime is a cool vibe. Nighttime, it's like it's different.
Unless you go on like a Wednesday night when
When you're
there's
on
not that
mushrooms?
many people there. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Did we? Yeah, we went to Blackheart. Yeah. that was
we
fun.
saw what's that band?
Mrs. Glass.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Glass,
Mrs.
dude.
Glass.
Yes.
Shout out to Miss Glass, like best
God,
local
shout out Miss
Austin
Glass.
band. Like,
I saw you on Mushrooms,
where are
and
they
I was
playing now?
loving
Has
you
Black
They
guys.
have a
Closed
well.
yet?
I don't know if they might not be a band anymore, which totally sucks. Cause
God, they're so good. Like bluesy.
Don't you hate that when a good
yeah,
isn't doing it anymore?
they had a sick drummer, man. His name was Ian Fry. The guy was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he used to play timpani in the symphony in Austin here.
shit.
Yeah, and then he would just go on with his Delta Blues band and like literally just beat the shit out of his drum set. Like he was playing that drum set so fucking hard, man.
I love it.
And I loved watching them on like psychedelics because it was just like this feeling of like just you're like destroying something, but like yeah, like if you go into a room, bunch of glass, and you just like break all of it in anger, and it feels so good. Like that's how I felt watching that guy play drums. And then, so when we went there that night, that was the last time I saw him play.
Yeah, I think that was like one of the
That
last
was like
times
because
they were
they
there.
closed, like Blackheart closed.
Blackheart is
recently.
closed now, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
And I think Miss Glass performs somewhere else. Because I get notifications on my email because I follow them on like Ticket Leap or something.
Austin changes
I
so
know.
quick. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't even realize the other day Floyd told me that Kingdom and Ethics got out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No longer functioning and like.
oh, but when they reopen up though, shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be
But
better.
For now, all their
Yeah.
shows are being funneled through like local pass. But it's just crazy that Kingdom's like such a staple. I don't go.
I love that grungy feel, dude. Like you go in there to hear some deep dub
Where is
heavy
Kingdom?
next to
like-
Handlebar
It's like in an alley
on
off
Brazos,
Congress.
or not by. It's like on Fifth.
It is okay.
Congress
Yeah.
and-
So like on the way to like some
Karma
handlebar.
Lounge.
Okay.
Which is not there anymore either. They
Good.
got-
That place sucked.
yeah, dude. The people that owned it, they came in and served them. Johnny served them, and they're like, yeah, they were like talking to Johnny
Oh,
about
yeah, I
like, when they
remember
open up another spot, if he ever wants another job.
Aw.
Oh, nice.
That's the thing. Like I feel like every day there's a new bar, a new restaurant like closing in Austin. Like Tacos and Tequila. Is
That place
closing.
sucked.
It's
He
closing.
used to get really annoyed
Yeah,
because his
that
friends
place was
would.
terrible.
My
They
brother
always
was a
wanted to go to
manager
brunch there.
What?
I had a buddy that was a manager there.
Oh yeah.
It's
It was
closed.
recommended to me a
He used to
bunch of
sell me
times.
hash
I-
brownies.
The brunch was legit.
The hash brownies. Remember the hash brownies I would give you?
You know? No.
It was like a year ago.
Yes.
It was like back when like Tom and Allie were in the kitchen.
Yes. Then I
That's the
do.
guy that used to get those brownies from. He used to be like the GM at Tacos and Tequila.
Oh wow.
I love their brunch buffet. I love a
Heard's
good
good.
buffet.
It's so weird though. Austin's all about like your spot cool. Like
It has to be
the most
trendy.
hole in the wall shithole fucking.
Is it
bar,
Instagram
but
worthy
it's
to take
cool.
photos of your product?
I mean, with Austin though, like I think the issue, like, cause I mean, in Los Angeles, there's so much sprawl, there's space, like there's thousands of restaurants, bars, like even shitty places survive, and like in Austin, it's so small, and the real estate prices right now are just like kicking everyone out, and it's also
Right.
a problem with art spaces as well.
Oh yeah.
Like the art space I used to work at is now having to find a new spot because they can't afford the rent anymore, and their building got purchased, and there's gonna be a high rise there 2 years from now. Like
Yeah,
what
that's been the
what does
case,
that
so-
say in Austin when there's like high rises being built and residences being built and like new construction? Like the history's gone. I
Yeah,
think.
well, it's really weird. The one that hit me the hardest was when in its original spot
Right?
downtown on
Next to
6th Street.
Barbarella,
Yeah,
like, and then it
it moved to Riverside.
right,
And it was just like
and Beauty
oh,
Bar
that-
too.
Just so much.
Yeah,
Because I've seen so many shows.
I
Mm.
know.
Mhm.
When I was in
Most
college, that's like
legendary
where
shows.
everyone went. I was a coat check girl at Barbarella for a little bit, so
Nice.
like I like that
Dude,
whole
I forget they have
area.
a coat check at Barb's.
I
That's so
think
gangster.
they're
Every time I see it, I'm like, that's so cool. You don't
I
see that
made
anywhere anymore.
so much money. It was amazing. But like, do people wear coats anymore?
Right, there's like 2 months in Austin. where
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's
Yeah.
like you go in the wintertime, you're
I
like
made
bundled
so
up,
much
and like, but
money,
when you get in a
like,
bar,
it
it's
was-
so hot in there. Like, I don't want to hold my coat because I want to
Right.
dance.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it
fuck
was
I'll pay someone to hold my coat.
2013. Like 2012 going into 2013. So like winter, like New Year's Eve, people were just like, "Take my coat, take my purse." I'm like, "All right, cool,
I'll
whatever."
also take your money.
I know, right? But then like back then, Beauty Bar was around the corner, and then Emos was on the other side
Beauty
of
Bar
True
is a
Blue.
classic example of a place that's changed what 4 or 5 times.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
Holy
it was High Mountain for a while or whatever
Yeah.
it was, and then now it's I don't know.
It's Scratch House now.
That's where we saw
Oh,
Brandon
shit.
Rex perform.
Yeah,
Right?
he's been there a bunch.
Shout out Brandon Rex.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he was episode 1 of the podcast.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
I
He
saw
was
that
our
one.
he was our first one.
Hell yeah. But yeah, Austin's
Wisconsin.
That was a good one.
Changing forever.
Changing forever and ever. Red River is like not the same. Okay, the FOMO Factory, have y'all been there?
No.
So the FOMO Factory is like this, it's almost like an Instagram experience.
Is that like the whole like
It's
fear
really
of missing
cool.
out? Is that where they got that reference from?
I think so. I'm
Fear
not
of
sure.
missing out, so come to our place so
But
you don't miss
the FOMO
out.
Factory is where, oh gosh, what was it called? It was like some bar that was on Bar Rescue.
Okay.
Do y'all remember that episode of
Yeah,
Bar
I remember that
Rescue?
episode. It was
I
metal.
know that show.
Metal and Lace.
It became Metal and Lace.
But then what was it
that,
before?
It was Headhunters. Because
Headhunters.
I've been to Headhunters.
Me
and
too,
I've
and it
seen
was
like metal bands
disgusting.
play there and
It
shit.
was
Yeah.
disgusting.
Oh yeah.
And it was gross. And now FOMO Factory's like completely gutted the place and like made it like
Super
a
nice.
beautiful
Yeah,
Instagrammable
gotta try it.
space. And
That's
it's like,
interesting. I didn't
I
know
mean,
that.
you can just walk by it and like look in the window and see it. You don't have to go in, but like just knowing that was Headhunters 4 years ago.
But what's funny though is like Headhunters is a classic example of what I was saying before.
Yeah.
And you could be absolute shithole and like metalheads and like fucking gutter punks would be like, this
That
is
and
my
Valhalla,
spot.
like,
I'm
that.
out here,
Like this is cool. Like there's like bugs everywhere. Like it's cool.
in that episode,
Bring all the bugs.
Yeah.
in that Bar Rescue episode, like that was the owner's whole like
Yeah.
vibe was like, no, you're trying to take this away. Like
Like this is why
this
people
is
come
what
here.
we do.
Like,
Yeah.
this is why.
And
why
the guy's
it's-
like, no, like we
Yeah.
don't need to do that anymore.
He's like, nah, this is not normal.
He's like, no, our bathroom was ranked #1 worst, and we're
Number
proud.
one.
We're proud of that.
Oh, what's up,
We
Chuck?
love
Hi,
bad
Chad.
bathrooms.
Do you go to
Hello.
P. Terry's?
Oh, I want pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
The day
I'm
wasn't
Kristin,
enough,
by the
so
way.
you-
Oh no, the day you do like a little snack, you don't actually eat.
Oh right.
Did you get a veggie burger? That was my favorite.
Yeah, I'm sure there's vegetables in there.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's so
Uh,
great.
P. Terry to get a veggie.
that's what she
That's
does.
what I do.
That's wrong.
I love Terry so much.
I'm not a vegetarian. I just like veggie burgers.
I got in a big argument in a Twitch chat one time with a guy that was also from Austin, and he was just like, fucking Whataburger, and I was like, I love Whataburger, but I'm just like, I also love P. Terry's, and he was like, this
There's
guy
definitely a
doesn't- He was like
difference.
calling me out to the rest of the chat, like, this guy doesn't have taste buds, he's a fucking idiot, and I was
What?
like, oh my
Whataburger-
People are
Whataburgers,
so
their
confident
burgers are
behind
just massive,
keyboards.
which is
Whataburger's
great. You know, when you're
great.
drunk. Like if you
Oh,
want
Am
like
I allowed to
enjoy
go
like
to the bathroom? Is that
Oh,
okay?
absolutely.
Okay.
No,
you can't
Okay.
pee.
you have to hold it.
Take a minute.
Don't do
You
it.
lost your privileges for the bathroom. They would
Um,
tell you that in school. And you're like, "Fuck you! That's so
I know,
wrong.
right? That's like illegal.
That's so wrong. You lost your bathroom
Yeah,
privileges."
right. God, can you
Fine.
believe?
You want me to shit
Can
on
you
the
believe
floor?
that?
right
No,
here?
you can't go to the
I'll
bathroom.
pee on your drywall.
What?
Like
I mean, I
Like,
can't go to the
see a
bathroom.
response, so, like,
what?
can you?
Yes, I can.
And I love
right
those like
here,
rebel
bitch.
kids. I would just like tell the teacher off and they just like walk out. It's like, damn, I wish I could do that.
I became that kid in high school for sure. Like, oh no questions asked.
Oh, I couldn't. I was like the teacher's pet. I was like, dude, I can't get on the teacher's bad side.
I was the guy that
Gotta
like
keep
walk
his
into
grade up.
class and they'd be like, "Your hair's not a natural hair color," and I'd be like, "Fuck you, I'm out."
Oh wow, this smells good, man.
This
Did
is
you
great.
open the last bottle?
Yeah. We still have
Yeah.
half this Passamento, but like I mean this is kind of a good example of like a wine that's like kind of not that expensive. This you probably find this at
Yeah, this
HEB
is
for like
good.
$12, and then this one would probably be like $40 at HEB or so. But I've had
Yeah,
this.
Here, show the label to the camera.
Oh yeah.
Get to the chopper.
What is that bird above your toilet?
My sister, that is an art grad and does a lot of what you do,
Cool.
she gave me that one day and was like, "Here you go. Like, I don't have a need for it," and I was like, "I'm gonna put it above the toilet."
That's what I like when I had a studio space like in art school. Oh my god, like the random shit that I would be given and find like in the hallways. It was very
does,
valuable.
She just does a lot of abstract stuff. There's
Yeah.
actually a couple of her paintings downstairs because I love it.
Cool.
But her like school stuff, she would look at as like, "This is the worst garbage on the planet." I'd be like, "Just give it to me, give it to me."
That's how all my undergrad work. I just want to like rip it to shreds.
Yeah, she hated even me. Like,
So I give it to
taking
my family for presents.
Right, exactly.
Well, like it's I guess as an artist, like you go through. I don't know. Maybe musicians might do this too. I'm not
It's
sure.
exactly the same.
Yeah, there's like
My
phases where I'm
newest
like,
work is
oh.
my best, and everything that
Right.
I have online, I am embarrassed by.
Right, and like I have
100%.
I mean, I have my website that I've created, but there's like still on Google. If you Google me, there's like drawings I did 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'm like,
Right.
can I just like delete those off of Google? Is that possible?
If I wouldn't lose SoundCloud plays, I would delete all my old work.
I know,
Honestly,
right?
like I need that number for like some sort of like clout reasons.
Yeah.
But
That's why Instagram's cool because you can archive photos,
There
so
you
like
go.
they're still there, but like you just-
Really?
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I
Oh,
learned
wow.
that from one of my friends in Los Angeles.
did
He's
not
like,
know
all
that.
my photos I hate, I just archive them.
So you like have them like not on your page, but still have them
You still
saved.
can keep them, yeah.
That's
I would
awesome.
Just keep them on a hard drive that no one would ever see.
I know.
Dude, just be
not
that guy
on the
that like
internet at all.
your only
That's
photo
interesting.
posted is like the one that is like the previous one, and all your other ones are just like hidden away.
Yeah, it's interesting, like your craft, whatever your craft is. I mean, it could be wine, it could be art, it could be music, it could be cooking. Like, watching yourself grow is such an amazing process, but like, sometimes looking back on where you started from, you're like, oh, that's
Like,
bad.
Yeah.
And, but then.
Like I deserved all the negative feedback.
Yeah, like I'm glad. Again, like I'm thankful for people being like. I literally had a professor in graduate school tell me I cannot paint people. He's like, you should stop painting.
Isn't that supposed to be
people.
like the hardest thing?
Well, it's hard, yeah, and like I ever since then I will not paint people or animals. I can't.
Yeah,
like
peoples and animals
Yeah.
are always the hardest.
it's too many. It's too much shading. It's too many curves. Like I can't do it, and the skin color is like the hardest to get because
I
like
can see
any
that.
skin color, whatever it is, like there's blues, there's greens, there's blacks, there's like
Right.
whites, there's whatever, there's like reds and pinks, there's like different shades and hues and like opacities, like these random levels to it that you can't even imagine until you start making a paint color. So I just paint buildings.
Like you said, even the shapes of things. Like
Yeah.
a good friend of mine, one of the paintings downstairs, or there's the one in here, does like anime stills.
Yeah.
And that's kind of his specialty. Kills it. He's so good at that.
Mhm.
But one day I was like, hey, like, you paint my dog, and I'll.
Yeah.
And he was like, of course, dude. I love you. I love your dog. Why wouldn't I do that?
Right.
And he penciled it out on the canvas, and then a week later he called me, dude, I can't do it.
He's like, here's your money back. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he was like, it's gonna be bad. And I was like, it's
But
because my
that's-
dog's fat, right? And he was like,
Aw.
no, he just sits weird. And I was like, yeah, it's the same thing.
He sits weird.
Same thing.
But that's why, like, I think as an artist, like, it's okay to say no. Like, if someone, like, I've had people approach me and say, hey, like, will you paint this abstract piece with, like, a quote over it? And I'm like, you know what? Here's my website. Like, if you see something on my website that you enjoy, I'm happy to, like, paint something similar for you. But, like, I don't do abstract. I don't do humans. I don't do animals. Like, I paint buildings and landscapes and skies and, like, plants and rocks and whatever that is. Like,
Absolutely.
earth and natural things and architecture. That's what I can do. And you get to a point where you can say no because it's going to jeopardize what their happiness is and what they want if I try to, like, bullshit them and paint something I can't paint.
Right.
And I think it's okay to say, like, I'm not good at this.
Also, it's a bit, I don't know what the
Mhm.
for is, but like, my example that I always use is you wouldn't go to Picasso
Right.
and say, paint me a butterfly.
Right?
You would just say, please put paint on this canvas. I'm going to be
Right.
happy with whatever the fuck you do
Right.
because you're Picasso.
Right.
Like, that's kind of how I am with tattoos now. I'm going to go to him.
Right.
And we might talk for an hour, and I'm not, like, showing up. I want a shark. Like, and it looks dope. I'm like, okay,
Right.
let's get that.
So what I'll respond to that with is this is why as an artist and whatever kind of artist you are, like a community is so important because if a client comes to me and they say, I need you to pay Teddy on, I'm gonna say, you know what? Like, unfortunately, I can't do that, but I have this and this and this artist as a friend, and like look at their websites. Like they
Right.
are talented. Like please give this business to them. Like thank you for wanting to give your business to me, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't do this. So
Yeah, Mark's the teddy
Yeah.
bear guy. Get
like,
out of here.
Yeah.
like email him. He's down. Like he does it, like kills it with teddy bears. Like I can't do it, but I have these friends that are just as talented, if not more talented than I am. Like please give them business. So
For sure.
that's why I think one thing I actually spoke at my college a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
Nice.
if you can take anything out of me coming up here for 10 minutes and talking to you, network and make connections. That's the most powerful thing you can do as a creative.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, in any industry, really.
Yeah, any industry, like in wine as well. Like, I mean, you have so many people that you study with, taste with, work with, all of that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Uncle Steve checked in to watch this earlier.
Who's
Uncle
Uncle
Steve? What's up,
Steve?
Uncle Steve?
Steven?
My buddy Travis is a good example.
Used to work
of
at
that.
Sophia's?
He does,
Yeah,
like-
Steven with the
Steven
long
Gilliard,
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Hi,
at
Sorry for
Steven.
Steve.
I saw
He's
him at
at,
Native Hostel.
he works at
last
Lynn now.
weekend.
He's a bartender at Lynn.
Yeah, I saw him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I actually went to.
Oh, there he is. Hey there.
up?
What up, Steve?
Steve said.
What's
I
up?
have to say what's up because I went to Lynn's Asian bar the other night and I never met Steve. What's
Steve.
up, Steve?
What's
you,
up?
You served me awesome food the other night.
What up?
I want to go to Lynn and try. There's like dumplings that are like dessert
Oh.
dumplings.
Oh, I was gonna say the soup dumplings. I literally
Well-
got a second order instead of dessert. I was like, no, fuck it, bring me 5 more. Like, they're
Well, our
so
friend
good.
Logan said that there's like these dumplings that are like brunch dumplings that have some kind of sweet stuff inside of them. I don't know.
Oh, really? We didn't even get
So
to.
Yeah,
Tripp's
dude.
girlfriend.
Logan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Said
yeah.
there's like
Logan's
these sweet
awesome.
dumplings that are good. But I don't
Mmm.
know.
Yummy.
Dumplings.
Wine is
Yeah,
good.
Chinese dumplings are fucking good.
Specifically Lynn. Like everything I had there was insane.
I still need to go there.
Like
Oh,
I don't
God.
know why I would ever go back to now that
Chinese-
I know
yeah.
Lynn exists.
Wu Chow soup dumplings are so good, so I'm amazed
but
to see
now they're
it.
at Lynn's.
We've never been there, so
Yeah.
I have to try it.
She left
Yeah, 'cause she
Wu
left
Chow.
Wu
Yeah,
Chow
she
to
Wu Chow
go.
to make
Took
her
Yeah.
own.
all her recipes.
Just makes
The
her own
dumpling
shit.
master left. The master
My
left.
The dim sum
No.
crew that did the Sunday night dim sum was run by Lynn. She was like, "Fuck this," and started her own restaurant. So now they don't even do that anymore.
Oh man.
Oh,
And
they
that
don't-
place, like, I know it's new and it's really good, but we were like, oh, like we'll just show up and walked around for like an hour, and then after like an hour of waiting, they were like, "We have a spot at the bar for you." That place is packed.
Mm.
all
Yeah,
day.
I
That's
hear it's not that big, but like
It's not very big.
it seats like maybe 40. Like it's like half
Like
the size
Old
of
Thousand's
Sophia's.
kind of small like
But
that.
they cram people in even more than
Yeah.
Sophia's does. Like that is a tight fit. Like everyone's sitting next to each other. But they also have a patio. But even then, we sat at the bar. That's how I met Steve, because he fucking.
Small world the service industry is in Austin. Like
Yeah,
that's
because I
Yeah.
never met him. And
That's
I
a
was
whole
like,
nother
I asked him
podcast.
about
Like-
Sophia's, and he's like, "Why would you bring up Sophia's? It's so random." And I was
Right.
like, "Oh, like I DJ there." And he's like, "I helped open that." I was like, "What the fuck? Like this is
Shout
so
out
Yeah,
to
Steve.
Steven.
Shout out Uncle Steve. His birthday, by the way,
Drink that.
What?
we saw him last night. I'm going to say, there he is. He works, so go to Lynn
Bring your-
Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and bring your buttholes because Uncle Steve will be there.
Thanks for giving us your work
Um,
schedule.
No, but Uncle Steve said his birthday's
Bring
coming
your
up November
buttholes.
8th,
I'm sorry. I got
and
some
we're
wine
gonna
on
go
your
out for his
couch.
birthday. That's like that's gonna be the one
You
night of the
do?
year that he drinks.
What?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
November 8th.
Oh, we're both Scorpios. I remember that. Yep. We're both
Maybe.
Scorpios.
Maybe.
Maybe
Maybe I'll drink.
decisions might be changed.
Well, regardless, you're still a Scorpio, so.
That's true. You can't fix
Uncle
that.
Steve, we'll hang out no matter
I
what.
take pride in. So Pablo Picasso and I have the same birthday. So I
That's
like.
badass.
When I was in
Nice.
second grade, my art teacher was like, "When's your birthday?" October 25th. She's like flipping through this textbook. She's like, "Oh yeah, Pablo." Back when the internet wasn't around, and she's
Where's
like,
my book at?
flipping through
Whole
a book.
library of
She's
shelves.
like, "Oh, Pablo Picasso is the same birthday as you." And I
Yeah, we
was
gotta look it up in the
like,
Dewey
"Oh."
Decimal System.
Yeah, so maybe that's why I'm an artist. I don't know.
Actually,
Yeah.
Peter Max is probably my
Joking.
favorite artist of all time.
Peter
though.
Max.
Yeah.
I need
I'm
to
a
see
big fan of
visuals.
that dude up there, Mr.
Peter Max is
That was
he's the
our
one
name
that
for
did
it.
like the Woodstock scenes. Like him Peter Max and Pablo Picasso are the only artists in history to be on the cover of Time magazine.
Wow. Wow.
Time Magazine used
Y'all
to
know who
suck
Peter
your
Max
shit
is?
up.
Oh my god, I'm about to blow your
Will you show me a
mind.
picture
Yes.
so I can see?
He's
My
still alive.
phone's
He's
all
still
the way
alive
over
today.
there.
He's been around. He's painted like he's been famous like brought into the White House, done paintings for the president. Like he
Damn, my favorite artists that are living today. Actually, there's okay. It's hard to narrow it down, but like people that I follow like religiously and
Yo, actually, you know what? Jake, are you able to like look up Peter Max on the thing so
On
other
the
people,
thing.
so everyone else can
Yeah.
see who I'm talking
So
about?
Ed Ruscha is one of my favorites. If you haven't looked at his work, so he's been around since the 60s, 70s. Like,
Yeah, that's when
he-
Peter Max has been around. He's
Yeah.
been around since like the 50s all the way up.
and let me think of my
It's
other
Peter
recommendations.
Max is 2 X's.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
What did it say?
He likes your work.
I know you are.
Yo, Steve, I actually want
love
to talk to
your work
you.
as well.
Yeah,
Like,
Steve, I want to talk to you about maybe bringing
Kyle's
you
pretty
on the
cool
show
too.
for some photography
yeah,
lessons.
you should be on here,
Steve, yeah, you're in the talks of being on the show, FYI, so get ready.
Get ready, Steve.
Yes, he is a
It's been real.
killer photographer. So I would
For real though. So yeah, so here's Peter Max work right here.
Oh, it's
I don't
like psychedelic.
Yeah,
colorful.
he's the
I don't
only
really
artist.
know about
He's
him.
the
I
only
love his
artist who's
mustache.
he's covered an entire 747. Like he did a mural on a 747. Like this guy's
Oh
done it
my
all. He's
God.
done
Did
ads
you
for
like
all
a
the.
Beatles
he did-
album cover.
Yeah,
Like,
he used to be really good friends with the Beatles and all that. He lives in New York now, but he also is like he did all the Woodstock stages. He did all that.
That's legit.
Yeah. I
Thank
don't
you
know,
for
there's
introducing
so
me
much-
to a new artist. Like,
Peter Max is my favorite
should've
artist.
known
I actually,
this.
so me and my dad, when we were on the cruise back in April, we went to the art auctions a lot,
Uh-huh.
and that's kind of like where I learned about Peter Max. And I was like, dude, this guy is
You know what?
fucking cool.
Now that I'm looking at it, I've seen work in person.
It's
because I went to,
it's really famous
I went
stuff.
to a local museum that they do like the touring shows, and it was
Yeah.
all the Woodstock and Beatles stuff.
Was it at?
That's
here in
all Peter
Austin?
Max.
No, it was. I was in Amarillo at the time. It was like it just
Amarillo.
stopped at their local museum, and it was cool.
You lived there
seeing
for a bit,
all-
didn't you?
Yeah, for like a year I lived there, and I was like remodeling stuff.
I drove through there on the way to LA.
Was it they have that 72-ounce steak if you eat it all, and
Yes.
no matter of town you get it for free?
I have a picture of that on my
That is a thing
Instagram.
there, and the Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah, Cadillac
Ranch is
and the
sick.
Palo
I drove
Canyon.
through there on
Those
the way
are,
to
like, the
Albuquerque.
three famous
Cadillac
things.
Ranch is dope.
It's got
Yeah.
the second biggest canyon. next to
Oh,
the
we
Grand
should talk about like
Canyon.
favorite road trip stops, like places
Okay,
to stop
we
on
can do
road
that.
trips.
That's a good topic.
I know.
Amarillo is actually kind of dope. If you're like traveling to like New Mexico or like Colorado, I
Amarillo
recommend
by
stopping by
Boulder.
Amarillo. It's an
Mhm.
interesting city for sure.
Well, when we were leaving the Grand Canyon, driving to Roswell, right outside of Flagstaff, there's this thing
wanna go to
called
Roswell. That place
what is it
sounds
called? The
sick.
crater that we
Yeah.
went to.
Yeah, I've
I
been
was just
there.
thinking of that
It's
crater.
fucking
What is it
amazing.
called?
Yeah.
It's just
It's
like
so
where
cool.
There's a
meteor hit.
giant
Yeah.
It's
crater.
so big. It's
Yeah.
so fucking
You
big.
just go there and sit on the side of
insanely
like
huge.
right on
Like
the
an
edge of
asteroid or
the
like a
inside of this
meteor
crater.
Yeah,
It's
a
Meteor
me-
Crater. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's
Meteor Crater.
Crater.
That's
and
like the
it's
name.
So big. I'll pull a picture of it.
It's off of
crazy.
40, Highway 40, I think.
So crazy.
And it's like an hour outside of Flagstaff, and Kyle's like, "We're gonna go," and I'm like, "No, we don't have time."
It's just like a difference in our personality. She's like very straight. Like I have to schedule everything out, and I'm like, oh look at that, let's go there. You know.
And I'm like, "No."
We're behind schedule, damn
We're in
it.
But
my
I was
car,
driving.
like-
I was driving, so I'm like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
going. And we went.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
there it
that's it.
is.
This
Yeah.
is why I love him so much, because he like pushes my boundaries, because I need to have my boundaries.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember we were.
That's
That's like
the rodent
similar
The
to a
thing
picture I
is, like,
took of it.
imagine like the size. That's the thing. Like that crater's that big, but the meteor was probably
And
like
Kyle and I
maybe
stood right
like
there,
the
like-
size of us.
It's so
And like right
fucking
in the
cool.
middle, like where the mouse.
Yeah, there's like a hole in there. Yeah.
There's like some space station.
Oh, they're
shit.
measuring shit.
Yeah, it's like they like put it
Some
there.
alien
for, like,
shit
a
going on.
Visual perspective, so you can
Some
look down
Avatar
and
plants
see,
growing
like,
over
what,
there.
like on the moon, and
Yeah.
there's like.
Oh, so it's not like they're testing.
Well, I mean, you guys
like,
know.
A permanent thing, yeah.
Okay.
You guys know about like the secret alien society. Shut the fuck up, Steve.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The meteor was actually the size of my butt.
I mean, you guys know about the secret alien society that really controls all of our politics and,
Damn,
and
that's
everything,
nuts.
right? I mean,
Are you talking about the lizard people?
yeah. So that's the lizard. Was the lizard people coming to Earth, and that they dug out and they were covering it up by making it look like we're digging for shit to like discover the metals in the meteor. That's what that is.
That's hilarious.
You heard it here first,
There's
guys.
some legit conspiracy.
Lizard people.
Yeah.
Google tall
I'm being-
grays
I'm
as
being
well.
so
tall
serious.
Grays
Yeah,
are
tall
the
grays, yeah.
smartest, most peaceful aliens. Tall grays.
That's supposed to be
What
just
about
us
the
from
insect
future,
people?
right?
No, insects are disgusting.
It
What'd you
could
say?
be right.
Yeah, the Greys are just
The tall Greys
supposedly
are
us
humans from the future.
Yeah, so
coming
tall
back.
greys actually provided
Crab
rice
people,
to
yes,
humans, and
yes.
so there's this podcast I listened to called Raw Talk with
Crab
Sheena, and she
people,
talks about tall greys a lot,
crab
and they actually, if
people.
you what
What?
what are you saying?
I'm listening to you now.
There's like you can like meditate and like talk to tall greys. That's like what they say.
Mm.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you can just like meditate and talk to them. How do you know you're actually talking
I
to
don't
them?
know
and
the
it's not
facts.
you
That's
just
why
like.
I'm recommending listen to this podcast if you're interested in aliens.
What's
and
the
tall
podcast
greys.
again?
Raw Talk with Sheena.
Oh God.
Yeah, Sheena Menina. She's
That's how you
amazing.
know you're schizophrenic. When, like the Greys are talking back.
Right.
It is what it is. If that's what you're into, go for it. I mean,
Right,
whatever.
Sheena. Right.
Absolutely.
Shout
I
out
love that
Sheena
stuff,
Menina.
like,
She's amazing. I love her so much.
Specifically in Australian ancient Aborigine,
Right.
I believe, like the lizard people came up from the ground.
All right,
and-
so I'm gonna respond to
died.
that with Akhenaten from the ancient Egyptian times.
Okay.
So literally, my art history teacher in undergrad, like we researched Akhenaten. Google him. He looks like an alien. He shifted the
I think I do
entire
too.
ancient Egyptian culture and said, okay, like we're all gonna worship this one being in the sky, and that's who we're gonna worship. Like no more multiple gods. Like he tried to change. It's crazy. He tried to change everything, and like you look at his depictions on like artifacts and whatever else they have like online that you can see pictures of, and he looks like an alien.
Egypt is so crazy.
Yeah, it's like how do they build the pyramids? Like really? Like what? I don't know.
I
Spaceship.
Do we want to talk about aliens?
We're already talking about it.
The
They're-
Fifth Element is one of the best movies. ever.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
The whole intro to
Yeah.
so, like,
I mean, it is what it is. Do more if you're interested. Do more research. Steven says crab people.
crab people.
Oh
Yeah, South Park.
Look like crab.
man.
Tastes like people.
Yeah. Or it's taste like
It's
crab.
It's
Talk
something-
like people.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh god.
We are the crab people. That's such a good episode, man.
South Park reference in that.
But yeah, so the aliens are totally controlling the whole social justice warrior thing with all the Antifas. Antifas are
Oh.
just brainwashed by aliens, is what it is.
I watched a YouTube interview. This old guy, he was probably crazy as fuck, and I never was able to find this again. It bummed me out. It was such a crazy interview. But he claimed at the beginning, like this normal military dude. He like listed off all his credentials, made it
Yeah.
seem really legit, and then he went on to tell like a 20-minute story about walking down the hall,
Mhm.
and I can't remember what president, maybe Carter or something at the
Mhm.
time. He said it just happened to be one of those moments where you like pass the president in the hallway because
Right.
you know he's this way, you're going that way, and he said that a 6-foot reptilian dude, like walking next to the president. They were in depth in conversation, and he's like, "All I can do is just like keep walking and like not react, sort of thing."
Come
and this
on,
is
man.
like a 75-year-old dude that's just like, "I had to tell someone before I die," type shit. And I was just
Who's
like,
the guy
"Oh
that
my
was on the
God."
moon that talks about
Like, how much
aliens?
LSD did you take that
All
day?
right, all right.
The guy that was
Not
on the moon
enough.
that talks about aliens that's on the space shows all the time. What's his name? He like landed on the moon.
Oh, Armstrong or fucking
Buzz Aldrin. Or
Buzz
Neil-
Aldrin.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong,
Yeah.
one
Doesn't
of
he
them.
always talk about
Is-
aliens?
One of them, like,
Yeah, there's a new documentary coming out about them laying on the moon.
Well, there's actually recordings though of them saying, "Yeah, we're being watched again." Like,
yeah.
and they're like, "Oh shit."
One,
Are
was
we
it
being
Buzz?
watched right now?
Buzz punched a guy that brought it up to him in
Yeah.
public when like all these cameras were on him. It's
Yeah.
a really famous moment where the guy's like, "What about the aliens?" And Buzz just fucking like talks it.
Wow.
Wow.
Don't talk about the aliens.
Yeah.
I mean,
PTSD.
who knows?
I mean, how would you
No,
feel if you were
whatever,
like
we don't
one of the
know.
first people on the moon? You're like, "Shit, dude, there's like a thing up here watching us." Scary, dude.
No, I'm
It's scary.
scared.
Everyone got quiet.
The
We're like,
moon in itself is its own. Like, till Tesla goes back and proves that it's doable. I mean, we've never been back. It only happened during the
You're
Reagan era.
right.
Well, then we were talking about The Shining earlier, you know, and how
Well, Stanley
Stephen King
Kubrick-
didn't like The Shining. Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley
There's all that,
Kubrick.
you know. Have you seen what is it? Room
Yeah.
213 or whatever.
And then the
Yeah.
kid, what is it? What's its name?
He's
The
wearing
kid.
the fucking NASA
Danny
thing.
is wearing a NASA
And there's like posters
sweatshirt.
in the background.
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff. It goes
So
deep.
that documentary Room 237, they say that like that's
He's the one that
Yeah.
baked it. Where if
He's
you're gonna
still
pick
seeing
I think he
someone
was just
baked
fucking
it.
around to make people like have these conversations that we're having right
But
now.
that's
That's
like,
really
like
what I think.
Stanley Kubrick is such a fucking genius that he would do that. Like he would
Like to fuck around with
yes,
people. Yeah.
Oh, for
absolutely.
sure. Directors in general.
Yeah.
Guys, we went to the
Yeah,
fucking
they-
moon. Come on, we fucking went to the moon.
Genius.
It's just expensive to go to the moon. Let's think about that.
Yeah.
There's more important shit
Well,
happening.
right now there's like satellites, like they actually mentioned a wall at the end of our universe where like it kind of caves like an egg and then it goes back around itself. Like there's like satellites that are trying to get to this like wall at the end of our. You can Google it. Like
The
that.
universe
I
or
fucking
the
love
solar
science
system?
on
I'm talking about the
Facebook.
solar system. I think.
I'm sorry, the solar system that we're in. I don't know. I'm an art major. Like, cut me some slack.
Yeah, the universe is. Yeah.
So, like, if you follow I fucking love science on Facebook, do y'all know what I'm talking about?
No, but I'm gonna check it out.
Oh my God.
Shout out! I fucking love science.
So I fucking love science is literally what the Facebook page is called. They post just like scientific academic articles every day, if not multiple times a day. And so apparently there's like these satellites going to the end of our solar system.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
the Voyager,
And so
Voyager.
there's, like, a
Sorry.
curve that happens with, like-
72 or
Yeah, yeah, and
So
it
pretty much
is
there's, like,
it's
a
getting to those
bubble
outer
around our
skirts. Yeah, it's
solar
yeah,
system.
kind of a
That's
bubble.
what they're saying, kind of.
Yeah,
And then like
that's
after that,
crazy.
there's like a whole nother.
But isn't
beyond.
it? It's a bubble of like small meteorites or something that surrounds.
It's like energy or something that we like. It's like a black hole has like a nothingness. It's like the opposite of that.
a cork.
Yeah.
so it's
It's a cork in space.
You know, our Earth is
Corks.
in like a trash bubble because of what humans have thrown into space now. That
I've
it's
heard
now
that.
dangerous to leave past a certain point in the atmosphere because little bits of metal are traveling like 1,000 miles
Like
an hour.
Just,
shoot through
pierce
you or something,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Like there's an image.
Bye
I can
bye.
pull it up and put it on the screen.
Makes me think
but
of
it's
Matthew
like-
McConaughey.
It's so crazy the image of all the trash. Like there's a website that just comes up with the amount of like debris.
The
that's
Pacific
floating
Ocean
around.
Trash Island too.
Oh,
It's
that
like
in itself is
what?
that's a big thing.
That's a whole thing.
That's in the Pacific.
Yeah, it's called
That
Trash
sucks.
Island. It's literally trash. Just easy pull
Oh,
it
here we
up.
go.
Yeah.
Does this pop up on the green screen as you do this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell
Trash
yeah.
Island. Stop littering.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, I've never seen this before. That's
You've never seen
insane.
this?
No, because I've always been afraid to look at it.
Collects the plastic.
It like whips around to where it all collects in a fucking island the size of
Wow.
Jeez.
Why don't they just go there and start scooping that? Oh, it looks like they're scooping it up. Or they're trying to.
Texas. They're trying to.
in little
But
kayaks?
where do you take it? Like no matter can be created or destroyed.
I don't know,
so, like,
melt
where do you
the
take
plant.
it?
They made a device to scoop. All right, cool. They made a device to scoop it up. Hell yeah. There we go, humans. Let's fuck shit up, but kind of try to fix it. What?
So
That's
fun
for real?
fact, everyone. Mealworms
Nice,
eat
crazy
styrofoam.
shit that some genius could develop. That's
So if
what's
you have
up.
some styrofoam and you want to like recycle it in your backyard, get some fucking mealworms. They'll eat it.
Really?
That's the
Yeah.
space.
Dang.
That's current.
That's
So is
crazy.
this
It goes
from
far out too.
astronauts throwing shit into space, or is this from people that are rich, like launching rockets with trash? Like,
Just people that are rich are like shooting their trash into space. No.
It's literally.
It's
Is
made
that
of
what it
Legos.
is?
That's what it is.
Steve says it's made of Legos. It's all Legos.
It's all
When the
Legos.
space shuttle goes up, like when we went to the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like multiple parts, and like at some point they just like let go of a section, and that shit just stays.
Doesn't this prove that the Earth's not flat, though?
Try telling that to, hey, try telling that to B.O.B.
Who's the NBA? There's a couple NBA players that think the Earth is
There's
flat.
also a
Dude, like God, what
B.O.B. too, that rapper. He's like, flat.
there's no
flat Earth.
curvature, man.
Flat
If
Earther.
you go to the top of the Empire State Building, you can't see any
There's no
curvature.
curvature.
Whoa.
You are truly dumb, sir. Oh man,
What?
flat
You
earthers.
can literally look at pictures of people on top of Everest. The visual curve of
Yeah.
the Earth without
This is
even having
good.
to go.
Yeah,
to
this
space.
one's really
You're in
good.
an airplane.
Or like
Yeah.
you remember that guy who went up in the hot air balloon a couple years back?
Oh yeah.
And he
in
went like
space.
the highest.
The Red Bull dude.
the Red Bull
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. I mean, when
Shout
he
out
was
Red
up there, you
Bull.
could
Doing
clearly
amazing shit.
see it was curved. But the flat Earth society, there's such a small amount of people that actually believe that shit. It's probably a couple thousand people.
And a bunch of those people are trolls from 4chan that just think it's funny to
Dude.
perpetuate.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
A bunch of them can like prove to themselves that they can travel around the world, but they just don't want to. You know, like
There's
I think it's
many-
like for example, I think Dwayne Wade is actually one of the basketball players. That,
No,
like,
he's not.
I'm pretty
Come
sure,
on,
and I'm like
Dwayne
Dwayne Wade,
Wade.
like
um,
why don't you
on.
just take your private
Stick
jet
to-
that you have and just fly it
Just
across?
go.
And I guarantee you, if you go a straight line, you'll be right where you're back again.
Rapper,
Yeah, B.O.B. too. He's like flat Earth.
Huge into flat Earth. He tweets about it like every couple weeks.
Damn.
He just like thinks it's funny, probably. Like there's
How much Xanax does he
can't,
take?
like-
Yeah, but how long can that go with it? Like, where it becomes like it's
I mean,
not
like
funny anymore.
it's like okay,
dude,
Nostradamus
now you're just,
was
like,
an
Never
he,
gonna
like,
get
or
there.
no
It's gonna
Galileo.
die out, man.
Galileo was the like Renaissance scientist that figured out that the sun, that the Earth rotates around the sun rather
Yeah.
than the opposite, right? So like, I don't know geometry, I don't know science, but there's got to be some way, just like looking at the stars, looking at the planets, where you can determine that like there's a rotation
Oh,
happening.
they absolutely can. I mean, if you
Like,
listen
just
to
from your own backyard,
there's plenty
right?
of podcasts where Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about this. He's
Okay.
like, it's disrespectful to people like Galileo that
Right.
he would even entertain this idea
Mhm.
because
Like he went
before
against
they
the
could-
church.
Yeah, before they could travel at all,
Yeah.
he figured out mathematically that this was.
Yes.
Didn't he use he used like shadows, right?
I've seen his
Yeah.
finger in real life. I went to the museum in Florence. They have his finger in
They
a
have
jar.
his-
Why do they have his
Finger?
finger in a jar?
Who knows if it's his finger, honestly? Like, it could be some little...
Here we have Galileo's finger.
It's like disgusting and mummified, and it's like
Ooh.
Some really smart guy was like, "Dude, I'm just gonna clip
He needs
your
a
finger.
manicure
It won't
right
be that
now."
bad, but
I
We're
know.
gonna make a lot of money."
oh my god, there's an entire
Oh,
museum in
you
Florence where
doggos.
like you see Galileo's finger.
The puppies are
Get
here.
out of here, pup!
Doc,
Get out of here!
Doc, Cheyenne.
Some
Get out of
pretty
here!
pretty
It's hard
dogs.
to edit you out of the videos. Get out.
Come on, guys.
They're like, we want to be in this film.
So yeah, it's disrespectful to Galileo to say that there's a flat Earth. Honestly,
How
poor
did we
guy.
get here? How did we get here in this?
That's how it works, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
love
this
it.
works.
I love it.
I mean, like Galileo literally had to go up against the Catholic Church and like say the Earth does not, or the sun doesn't rotate around the Earth. It's
Oh, he like got ousted just like Kanye with Donald Trump.
Kanye West, I know the passcode of your phone. You better
People are-
change it.
I actually saw something online yesterday, like Kim
It's all
Kardashian
zeros.
filed for divorce today. Like, really? No.
She's a hobbit, anyways.
Oh,
it's
here we
fine.
go. Damn,
Maybe
this is
she's a
4
tall
grapes in
gray.
here.
There's 4 grapes. Yeah,
Cabernet, Merlot, Cab Franc, and Petite.
Oh yeah,
Verdot?
it's super Tuscan.
Is it
not
Verdot?
Chianti. Petit Verdot.
Petite
Yes.
Verdot.
Cabernet.
like jam.
So yeah, it's super Tuscan. Basically like
Yeah,
super
I don't
Tuscan.
know if anyone understands the meaning of a super Tuscan. if you
Yeah,
ever
super
explain it.
Tuscan like obviously comes from Tuscany, but back in I believe it was in the 40s. Italian wine law was pretty like tight on like what you were allowed to make.
Is that because of the war?
No, that's just how they did wine law back then. So like if you had anything from like Chianti, it had to be like these 4 specific grapes, and it had to be at least this much, like 70% Sangiovese to be Chianti, and 80% to be Chianti Classico, and then like you had to have this much time in oak. You had to use these giant barrels to age it in, and if you deviated from that at all, then it was just called table wine, which then would be sold for like a couple bucks. And no one would pay attention to your shit. So this guy Piero Antinori made a 100% Cabernet Sauvignon in Tuscany, and he was just kind of like, you know what, fuck your fucking wine laws, and I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna make like a really great wine that doesn't follow your rules, and it became like one of the best wines in the world, and it had to be called table wine instead of it's kind of like a higher class. But it started selling for crazy prices. So there was in 1992 they passed this law, Goria's law, that kind of established the Indicazione Geografica
Shout out to
Tipica.
1992.
Yeah, 92.
Year I was born.
They created a specific category for wines that don't really fit
That's a Chili's
into
wine glass, by the
the
way.
other categories.
So it all went to the rim.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's all the
So-
way up.
8 ounces, please.
Mine's a sippy cup, legit.
So yeah, if you see on a label, if it says Toscana and then Indicazione Geografica Tipica or Toscana IGT, that's a super Tuscan. That's somebody making something like kind of experimental, with grape varietals that don't typically come from that region, or they're using different types of oak. But you get kind of different quality of super Tuscans these days, where you can, since you can do pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
And that's really what super Tuscan is. It's something that's out of the ordinary, or out of the parameters of what you're allowed to do, quote unquote allowed to do.
That's where I saw Galileo's finger was in Tuscany.
Oh wow,
There we go.
Galileo,
We're
the
drinking
super
to you,
Tuscan
Galileo.
finger.
Drinking to you.
Hashtag Galileo.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
You want some more of this, Jake?
What's up?
You want some more of this wine? Which one did y'all like better out of the reds? First or second?
Pasqua.
You like the Pasqua more?
I like
Yeah,
it.
just
This
it's
super Tuscan. I've had the
nostalgic.
Pasqua before, but this super Tuscan is dank. And honestly, I was
Is that what
really,
you're
I was
drinking
honestly
now?
really impressed with the
Yes, it's
Chardonnay
super
though.
In my vacuum sealed sippy
I'm
cup.
definitely gonna try. Oh, Russian River Valley. That's why.
Colazzi. It's run by the Marquis family, who
Oh, yeah, the Colazzi.
liberated the city of.
One of the first founding families of 7.
And then on their
in
label,
Florence?
you can see the house they live in, which is designed by Michelangelo in like the fucking 1500s, 1530, I
Man,
think.
shout out to Michelangelo.
Which one, the Ninja Turtle or the artist?
Well, Ninja Turtle because I like pizza,
Both.
but the
Zah.
artist because of the Sistine Chapel.
Beautiful, yeah.
Like literally laid on his back for 4 years and made magic happen.
Let all that paint drip in his eyes. Yeah,
Definitely had some interns.
Yeah.
dripping paint into his eyes. He's like, I love it, man. It trips me out.
He's like, even when I'm done painting,
So-
I just go
Keep
home.
dripping.
The Sistine Chapel is like, do we want to go there? Do you want to
Yeah.
go? Like, okay.
We're
do
going
it.
there.
Like, do we have time? Are we like on? Like, what's the
No.
time? Like,
No,
It's
the
almost
time
11,
go-
you know?
The
As
time,
long as
yeah.
it
Yeah.
goes as it
Yeah.
goes. Okay.
I mean, I don't
So
care
the
how long
Sistine
it's-
Chapel, like, so the Medici family was like a huge patron of the arts. So the Medici family, at the time the Sistine Chapel was made, from what I remember from art history, I might be wrong, but I remember specifically there's like icons of the Medici family on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. So there's a whole like conversation to be had about like commodity and royalty and like power and aligning your, like the Mayans do this too, like you align yourself with the gods by like funding these artists to reiterate your beliefs and your power and status through art, through painting, through frescoes, whatever it is. So Sistine Chapel was like an iconic representation of that. Like Michelangelo was paid to over 4 years, I believe it's 4 years, to paint this, you know, representation like aligning the Medici popes and like the cardinal families, whatever they were, like with the gods and with history.
Such a special guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't just art. Here.
Yeah.
Some inventor.
Yeah, the Renaissance was a powerful time. It really
Dude,
was.
it's the
It
first
was a dope
helicopter.
time.
Yeah.
That's that time and like I'm stuck between either like Western or like medieval times. But
That
Renaissance
time,
Renaissance
like-
time was dope
Like
though for
06,
sure.
06 Kanye.
06, hey, 06 Kanye.
Well, Britney Spears
yes.
was 06 too, and she shaved her head and like knocked a window open with an umbrella. So, I don't know
So
if
you're
that's,
proving
like-
my point. No.
Yeah, I'm like, was
06
06
was
a
a good
good
year.
time, or was it? Like, I was 16, so I don't know.
No, I just saw a funny hat. It was like the MAGA hat, but it said "Make Kanye 2000." I was like, oh, I like that. That's funny. Pretty funny.
I want that hat.
It's
Yes.
creative.
I hope Adidas can make that
But
hat.
then
I'll
I
buy
saw
it.
another one recently that was said "Wire Kanye's mouth shut again." I was like, damn, that's fucking hardcore.
Man, people are giving him
Mm.
such a hard time. He had some good ideas, honestly, when he was talking to Trump, dude.
Oh nope,
No.
we're not making this political. Mm-mm.
We've already talked about political shit randomly, like, but like his hydrogen powder airplane. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because
Well,
that shit could
he just
explode
found
pretty quick.
another, like, graduate
More wine.
He found some grad students' thesis on like the airplane thing. He like produced that guy's thing, and then that guy tweeted later that day, and he was like, "I don't know how the fuck Kanye found my shit. Like, this is insane."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And even he was like, "This probably won't work." I was just fucking.
Did Kanye? Was that a real thing that he bought? Like it was like the G note or the D note or whatever, and like this was like about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. He like bought a note, and like every time someone uses that note, they have to like he gets paid for it or something. I don't know. I don't know if that was like
That's
rumored or
literally
whatever.
impossible.
But I was like, that's definitely a Kanye.
like
That's a
me
Kanye
buying-
West move right there.
buying the copyright to the sun and be like, anytime someone takes a photo.
Yeah, but that's like the idea
Sun,
Kanye West move.
There-
Shout out to my buddy Chooch, hey Choochie, brother
Shout out-
Dan,
Shout out.
brother Dan.
Dan.
He's on the drum line for
Shout
Odessa.
out.
Yo, Yeah, we talked about
Ah.
that
Were they in
last episode.
ACL? Because
Yeah.
like I saw them
He
last
played
weekend.
Friday. He played both Fridays, and then they also did a show at Stubbs this past Saturday night. And then, but they also did like a show, and they've been doing like they did like maybe 6 shows in Texas in the matter of 2
Were they
weeks.
just here the whole time? Like they just like chilled?
No,
in
they were
Texas?
They were in Austin Friday. They were in Dallas the next Saturday. Then they
Mm.
went to Houston Sunday. Then they came back to Austin Friday, and then did Austin Friday and Saturday.
Odessa's
So-
amazing. I've seen them twice
Oh, they're
now. And like
incredible.
their
I-
visuals are.
I saw them with
amazing.
Jake for the first time at the Fun Fest, which I think
Yeah.
is way better than ACL. I've never
I
been
saw
to
them at
ACL,
South
but
by for free.
Fun Fest was the shit.
Yeah, like Odessa is just so good.
That was an incredible show, Jake. That was unreal.
That was a really.
We were like, do we want to go see Odessa or was it Laura Hill?
Lauren Hill.
Yeah. We're like, dude, I'm
OG.
sorry, we gotta go see Odessa though, because
They were.
it was like their
so
In Return
good.
album, and like that's an incredible album.
They're just like the perfect road trip music. Like, yeah. Just I also listen to them when I paint. So like, when I paint, I listen to Odessa. I listen to Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
I listen to.
Oh, Lana, God, she's so good.
Okay, I'll say 2 things about her. Number one, I've heard the shittiest things about her performances at SNL. Her performances at ACL,
I've also heard her live shows are actually
like horrible.
the fans ruin it.
But
I heard her performance is good, but the fans ruin it. The experience. Is
I
what I've
saw
heard.
her
Yeah, how
at
do you feel about
the
that?
Frank Irwin Center.
Talk about the fans too.
So,
Ooh.
well, I will say I saw her at the Frank Irwin Center.
Fun.
We're talking about Lady Gaga before.
Yeah.
She ripped off a very famous Japanese pop star. Spent the last like,
Really?
10 minutes looking at
You'll find it. You'll find it.
Kari Pamu Pamu.
She ripped off a song.
No, like her whole vibe, how she'd like show up to award shows in like meat dresses and like the big bows in her hair. All that was this
Oh
like
my
Japanese
God.
girl's vibe. And
You
she's
know-
like the biggest thing.
Hey, here we
Kiari
No,
Kiari
so
Pamu.
Yeah. Pamu. Yeah,
This
this
chick's
guy.
like, yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
Shout
Like,
out.
responding. She knows
X-Euro
here.
2, you already know your shit.
Yeah, she's amazing. Her music is.
She's amazing. That's what he's saying. I don't know if you can hear her.
Dude, Jake, you know who me and Johnny have been jamming to a lot lately? Angel Olsen, dude.
I love it. I got
Have
you
y'all
that
heard of-
vinyl, right?
Mary-
Yeah, we've been
Ashley?
listening. No. The third Olsen twin. No.
I saw
Angel
her play-
Olsen is
she
definitely something
played
you wanna check
ACL
out.
last year, and I watched it. And I was like,
I'll have to
You
check
know,
it
we've been
out.
jamming that vinyl that you got me for my birthday a couple years back.
That's the
It's
best
so
album,
good.
too, that she
Yeah,
did.
that album is so
it's
good.
one of those like 10 out of 10s for me. Like every song. You don't want to.
We put it on the other night when me and Johnny were like tripping really hard, and we were like watching Planet Earth at the same time. Then like she had these 2 songs. I think it's like track 3 and 4. But like those 2 songs, like we were watching the part where like the iguana and the snakes,
Oh my god! I
And
love that episode.
I don't
her,
remember.
like-
I haven't seen it.
where the iguanas like they hatch, they come out of the sand, and they gotta make it to the beach before the snakes eat them.
Yeah, because the snakes all know that it's happening, and so there's like 1,000 snakes lined up waiting for these iguanas to hatch.
Oh,
And
right.
It's
then
like
they
the
just-
sea
But-
turtles.
and then they just
Yeah,
run.
but those
Like, as soon as they hatch, they
I
just,
think
like-
it's track
Oh,
3 and
it's the
4.
craziest shit,
Wow.
dude.
Track 3 and 4, like the lyrics and like the way like the music goes, like is like that's the music video for those 2 songs. Is the scene from Planet Earth where it's like the snakes and the iguana.
Oh,
Here we
yeah.
go. Let's
Pulling it
pull it
up.
up.
The
Oh,
video?
it's a classic scene.
I love this video. If that's what you're pulling up, I hope it is.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
No!
We know. Yes.
Oh, look at
And
him.
it's like it's worth watching because the one gets away and like you're just like yes.
Yeah.
This is
Oh, so a bunch of
nature.
them don't make it. So that's a baby iguana.
Oh,
I thought that was like a full grown.
Alright, I gotta
Because
go
you know
back.
what's the Australian guy who like
Darwin.
Steve Irwin?
no
Oh.
Shout out Steve Irwin.
Sorry,
there.
I was
R.I.P.
thinking Galactica.
Aussie reviews.
Oh, Aussie reviews.
Because
is
that's
amazing.
where I first saw this. Where he's like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah. that's
He's just like commentating on this.
He's one of the best commentators ever. Yeah, this is one of the best.
Yes.
Well, not only is this scene like visually stunning because of what you're witnessing, but the fact that the cameraman caught it,
Yeah.
like multiple angles.
Dude, it takes
caught
years
this-
for them to film these shows.
Well,
like
but
it's
this
crazy.
is just like one moment that happened all together. And the fact that they like didn't miss a beat and caught this lizard like escaping from the tanks. It doesn't even make sense that you could be
God,
that
I think
good
it was
at
just
your job.
born. Look how fast it is.
I know, right?
Just born. Holy shit. He's so fast.
Dude, look at it, like how it runs with its legs all kicking up and shit.
Holy shit. Oh no. He got caught. That one got caught.
But the next one gets away, I'm pretty
Damn, he got fucked.
Oh man.
because there's a moment where it
Oh no,
gets
he's
him.
still going. Oh no,
Yeah, and it
he might.
gets away.
Oh, he got out.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Look at him, dude. Look at him go. Oh, climb
Run,
those
young
rocks.
gun. Young L.
Look, and it almost gets him again.
Oh shit.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, there's a camera crew chilling on a mountain for like 8 months to get 15, 30 seconds of footage of some mountain lion.
Damn, that
for
thing
Planet
just
Earth,
jumps
yeah.
like that. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit, bro.
He's like,
Oh,
meets up
is
with
that?
his homie, and he's
oh.
like, dude, we did
What's
it.
up, bro? Literal bro.
Imagine starting life that way. Like your first
You-
moments of life.
for-
Are like,
yeah.
oh
Sea
my
turtles too. They
Well, you
do
have like a
too.
passage you have to get through, you know?
God. Right?
You
Yeah,
made it through
it's
the
like some
passage.
ceremonial shit.
Yeah. It's only like 20% of us made it. That's crazy.
That's
Hashtag nature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to nature.
Nature is a motherfucker. I follow an Instagram
Nature makes wine.
channel called Nature is Metal, and it's constantly stuff like clips like that. Like today, it was like a snake inside of a frog's mouth, but literally like snake had been swallowed whole, and the snake was like looking out, and it was like its last.
That's
moment.
crazy.
And the frog was just like, "And you're gone."
Wow.
Like, it's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest Instagram pages because what's interesting too is how much Instagram. You know, when you have to like click to say you want to watch it because like
Right,
inappropriate.
yeah.
Every video
Really?
is
I
like
don't-
that. Even though it's just
Is that a
animals
thing?
like killing each other,
Right.
they're like,
Yeah.
this is inappropriate for people to
Yeah,
watch.
and you're like, really? It's not that inappropriate.
every
Like,
video
I've seen
they
worse
put.
that didn't have that like warning on it, you know?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd-
also, it's like it's nature, like you said. It's like
Right.
nature.
I found
it's
some
natural.
video on YouTube. It was like this snake that eats a fucking deer. It eats an entire deer.
Aw.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It was some huge snake, and
That's
it
sad.
takes like hours to eat this deer, but it ate the whole fucking thing. And it doesn't have to eat after that for like a year.
I actually have a cool story. So I was listening to oh gosh, there's like this podcast called Deer Sugars that's really good. It's like a therapy podcast, but they were talking about like these deer, or like maybe it was like an antelope in Africa. And so the antelope is like with the pack, and then like this, what is a jaguar maybe that like runs
A
really
jackal?
fast.
Oh, cheetah.
Some kind of
Cheetah.
cat, so like a cheetah or a jaguar runs up,
Cheetah.
grabs the deer or the antelope,
Chester cheater.
and like jerks it around, and it's like, okay, like I've killed this, like all the other antelopes ran away, and so it's just the jaguar and the antelope, or the cheetah and the antelope. The cheetah, just for our purposes. So it's a cheetah and antelope, and then just for our purposes, and it's all official and everything. And so the antelope
Trademarked.
like gets limped. Cheetah's like, okay, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna run and go get my like pride of other cheetahs. We're gonna come and like feast on this fucking antelope. So the antelope is like playing dead,
It played dead.
and like once the cheetah is like away, the antelope like starts like running as it's laying down, and all of a sudden it like hops up and starts like running the fuck away and gets
Nice.
away from the
Nice.
cheetahs because it plays dead. It just like knows,
Smart.
just like limp out and like let the cheetah be like, okay, cool, this is my prey, I'm gonna leave it here for a second, I'm gonna run off. Because a cheetah wouldn't just like eat it by itself. It would
Right.
like get its cubs.
No,
get its
it's hunting
pride,
for a
like-
reason. Like
Yeah.
it most likely has like a pride or something. with
Right.
it.
So they're not just gonna like
It's definitely
selfishly.
a cheetah that you're talking about. Jaguars,
Yeah.
they'll split up into a
Okay, so
Mm.
it was a cheetah then. So
Yeah.
the cheetah will like just go get their family and their friends and go like, okay, buffet time. But this antelope like is
We're going to Luby's.
has evolved to like play fucking dead, and then all of a sudden it like conserves that energy from like the attempt of an escape, and like
Right.
starts running while it's laying down, and then starts like jolting off because it's like so traumatized. It's like able to adapt because of its trauma.
But humans are during bear.
Yeah.
Play dead.
They say.
You're not supposed to be like, raw.
Because bears don't
always work
bears
with
don't
the
want to
grizzlies,
eat
though.
like they won't eat dead
DiCaprio.
things.
Unless it's a polar bear.
Oh, they're savages.
Yeah, then you're
dude.
just fucked.
Then you're just dead.
Are
Yeah.
polar bears not nice?
No.
No.
They are very
They're
not
the
nice.
grizzlies the most aggressive, but polar bears are right after that.
Damn.
Oh,
'cause,
grizzlies
like,
are most aggressive.
Yeah.
The Revenant that Leonardo
Well,
DiCaprio
it
scene.
depends on the time of year, but grizzlies are this is super fucked up animal fact, but
They'll eat their own cubs.
yeah, grizzlies not only do they eat their own cubs, but they intentionally impregnate the female before hibernation. Out of hibernation, have guaranteed.
Wow.
That's
That's
actually
a-
kind of smart.
It's a great way to further the,
I mean,
you know,
Right?
to like promote the future of your species. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make kids so I can eat them later.
Yeah, bears are
Perfect.
nuts, man. They're like legit.
I saw this Instagram post of a really fat bear today.
A
If you guys want to see it, it's like,
fat
I
bear.
know, like, is it eating like
Here,
junk
let me
food
show
from
you.
like the trash and shit? Because I feel
no,
like
it
I've
was like
seen
in a
that.
nature preserve.
I'm
Was the bear Yogi? Hey, boo boo.
Instagram.
I'm
Hey,
has
boo,
it
boo,
to-
bear.
myself.
We were talking about the snake that ate the deer earlier. There's jaguars are like one of my favorite things.
They're very
They eat
cool
DMT,
cats.
But
Here's
they
the
also
fat bear.
they eat anacondas. Those
Jeez.
snakes that are eating deer, the jaguars.
If y'all could see this fat bear just posted on the riverside, sitting on the dock of the bay right there,
Oh,
dude.
I don't even know what
Oh my
Instagram I saw.
god, that's a fat bear. That is not the picture I saw.
It won. Okay, so like this, it's like a yoga Instagram that I follow, but it won the 2018 Katmia Katmia National Parks Fat Bear Competition. It's National Park Ranger. There it is.
Look at this bear.
Oh my god.
He's struggling, dude.
Oh my god. That bear definitely just ate all their babies.
That's so. Oh my god. The fact that that's a
Shout out to Raven.lg Instagram page for bringing that up because that's where I found that today.
Those are some fat bears,
It's a
dude.
yoga
God.
Oh my god.
That's like
Oh
pre-hibernation.
my god.
Dude.
Poor bear. I guess it's almost winter time, so they're like about to go in.
Oh,
I
he's
guess,
ready.
I guess at that time of the year, if you run into one, he'll just be like,
He's ready to
nah,
sleep.
like, I'm good.
you are too far away.
I'm full.
Oh my
That's
god.
true.
I am fucking full, man.
But any other time, you're fucked. Man.
Yeah.
Grizzlies are not.
When they're hungry, they'll just eat you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We went
There's also
to-
stories like bears that just kill people just to kill them.
Yeah.
I've been reading this book called Deaths in Yellowstone, and it's just like all these accounts of like different people and how they've died, and the chapters are split up by like types of death. And the longest chapter is bears, but just the amount of bears attacks happen. And there's been like certain specific bears that have just like serial killer bears that just like kill people and then like rip their guts out
That's
and like
insane.
not eat them at all and just leave them there and then like, you know, go fuck with some other people.
Much bigger than any dog.
Yeah, so there's a whole chapter on the geysers in Yellowstone. I think actually the geysers is the first chapter, and yeah, there's a bunch of like just gruesome people, like either like, you know, they're getting in like
The geezers?
a lot of it is also
The
like
geezers?
No,
I was
he's
trying
a-
to
Geysers,
remember
geysers.
Don't people
geezers?
die often from the geezers? Like, what are
the old
geezers?
people in Yellowstone. Yeah, they're dangerous,
Old
man.
people. Watch out,
With
dude.
fanny packs.
They're
and
fucking
candles.
dangerous.
And they just fucking-
If they don't get their
Those
country
river
kitchen
rats
buffet,
out
you know,
there,
they're
dude.
pissed off, dude.
Oh, I wanted
But no,
country kitchen buffet.
Wait,
That
do
sounds
people
good.
fall in? Like, how
Yeah,
do you
so
practice
a lot of
it?
the stories are actually people that like work at the parks like over the summer, like Yellowstone Park. And like, you know, they'll like, you know, have a night off and be like, all right, we're gonna go to this like hot spring.
They just die of
A
old
full
age.
chapter
A full
of people
chapter of people
Oh my god, I
dying
love you.
peacefully in their sleep.
Yeah.
XURL2, you're funny.
Uh,
That's awesome.
No, it's like people getting in like the wrong hot spring and just being eaten alive, or like
Oh my
there's
God,
stories of
dude.
just people like
Yeah, you
straight
gotta
up
be careful
being
with hot springs.
stupid.
Like, dip their
Hepatitis is a
toe
big deal
in
with
and
hot
it's like,
springs.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a couple stories of people like at like the
There's a couple hot springs in New Mexico I like was supposed to go to, but like we were like, no, you can't go in these hot springs. There's hepatitis. It's like, oh
oh my god.
shit, what porn star's been hanging out in here, dude? Like shit.
Well, there's also like in Yellowstone, there's those like pools that are filled with like just different acids.
Yeah,
And you can just
that's
find those
what I was
pools
thinking.
with like the
Yeah.
yellow and
Shout
the
out
crazy.
to nature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again.
we've been shouting out
Getting rid
nature.
of dumb people left
I
and
know.
right.
But yeah, no, like yeah. So there's people like they have those like wooden walkways, and there's people like, oh, I wonder what happens if I dip my finger and they fall in, and obviously they die like within minutes,
Oh my
and it's like other
God.
people can't go in and get them.
Right.
You know, there's also a story of like some like 6-year-old kid who just runs into a hot spring and just like
What?
just dies.
That's like the Lake Placid movie with the grandma. Have you ever seen
Oh,
that
I've never
movie?
seen that. Is that a James
Is that with the
Cameron
giant alligator?
film?
No, not. I'm sorry, not Lake Placid. It's the volcano movie.
Oh,
I don't know.
not
is
Is
it
it
called
volcano
Volcano?
movie?
Dante's Peak, but the other one.
Dante's
There was like,
Inferno
Isn't it called
volcano?
Volcano?
But the volcano turns the lake acidic, and like, the grandma gets
Yeah.
the bow and like has to
Like
push
melts her
them
skin
across
off or
and,
something,
Like,
yeah.
melts her like as it's happening.
Similar to that.
Lake Placid is about the giant alligator. That was
Yeah. That movie
What
scared
was
me as
the
a
movie
kid.
we just watched about the alien that landed in the lake? And it was like Man versus. Was it Man versus? I think it's called Man versus. It's on Netflix, and this guy's like, it's like
I
Man
remember.
versus Wild, but it's a horror movie. And so he's like in the wild recording, and like this alien ship like lands in this lake next to him, and freaking
That
hot
movie
it.
was dumb.
I thought it was good.
I was like, I don't know. The alien was dumb. Like, you know.
Anyways, so we went to the redwood forest on our honeymoon.
That's
Oh,
dope.
it was so cool.
And
Definitely want to go there for sure.
it's really cool
What a
because
beautiful
anytime
place.
one of those trees are
Speaking of, where the hell's your
hundreds,
wedding ring?
almost-
What is this shit?
I went to yoga before this, so I forgot to wear my jewelry.
We were at home for
Sorry.
like 2 hours.
I know, but before I go
Wow.
to yoga, I take my jewelry off, and then I put my hair in little buns, and then I go to yoga, and then I come home and I eat pizza, and then I go.
So redwoods on our honeymoon.
Okay, so we were the redwoods. Like these trees are like as wide as this room, and they're hundreds and hundreds of years old. When they die, they fall over, and they decompose and actually regenerate more forest
Mhm.
as they decompose. It's really fascinating. But then also some of them, like, I mean, if they're like in a different stage of decomposition, you can actually walk through the
Didn't we see a
trunks.
tree that was like 3,000 years old or something?
No, it was,
was
like
still there?
1,000 years old.
It was like at least 2,000.
And it was like
It was huge.
There's
Like
one you can drive through.
it fell.
no, yeah,
It fell.
That one
yeah.
fell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
It fell. But we saw it, like that the redwood.
Doesn't like the
forest,
road like sometimes go like through the tree, like they like carve
That's what I was
tunnels through the
It
trees?
fell.
Oh, there's only
Yeah,
one?
that carved tunnel tree.
I thought there was
fell
like
down.
multiple ones.
Yeah,
There's only
it's-
one.
It fell.
That was a classic.
But the
like,
thing is, like
little-
when they
what
fall,
was
they
that?
just, like,
Cruising
give back to
USA, the
forest.
game back in the day.
Yeah.
That's
California is a
scary.
beautiful
That's
state.
Northern California.
Northern
baby.
California.
Southern California.
It's just fucking expensive.
Northern.
No,
yeah,
no,
I think
shout
I would.
out to my LA friends.
Well,
I
like,
think I would honestly. I would personally choose to live in Northern California than.
right. I
Southern
would
California.
live in Northern California, but like I have a special place like and for
This-
LA in my heart. So.
SoCal definitely has like Josh would
Yeah, that's true.
like
yeah.
Coachella Valley.
Yeah, so the desert
Coachella.
is really cool. Like, the
Shout out to all the
desert.
Californians that left this weekend. Thank you for leaving.
No. Did you go to Coachella? No, Coachella's in April, isn't it?
No, he's saying the people that came here for ACL, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that
they're
like
gone.
went
ACL
back.
is full of California people. that
Except for
come to
Warren
Texas.
Christensen. Shout out Warren Christensen.
I used to when I lived in LA, I describe ACL as like the Coachella of Austin. That's how I
Oh,
describe it to
definitely
people.
is.
And they're like, "What's ACL?" I'm like, "It's the Coachella of Austin." Just the city of Austin, though, like not everywhere else. I don't know.
It's like an extra 100,000 people.
It was a lot. Like my one of my best friends from high school, her family always gets wristbands, and they like gave me an extra wristband this year, which was amazing. I got to go for free, and it was just like more crowded, more like insane. Like it was just.
I heard
not-
the VIP area like up their game though. They
I
had like
haven't-
like
Yeah.
terraces that you could like stand on.
That's the.
I haven't been in VIP. I've always been just like GA, like 3-day pass. That's all I've ever had.
Shit, dude. When I went to Fun, I had VIP, and it was fucking dope.
Yeah,
Is that just like, does that mean free
I
alcohol?
bought-
Is that what that means?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, some
Sometimes,
places.
and you get like bathrooms that are only accessible to
Yeah, and you get, like-
The bathrooms at ACL are
And you can get like right in front of the
disgusting.
stage. Yeah, porta
Like,
potties.
disgusting.
Shout out to the.
You go to festivals
Shout out
and
to
everyone
the
in porta
porta
potties,
potties
dude,
at
like they're like
ACL.
and they're boofering their drugs, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just like
Boofering.
I've always been more of a
boofing
South
their
by
drugs, boofering, whatever you want to
South
call
by's
it.
nicer because it's like in actual spaces. It's
Right.
not.
That's my argument. Is like
That's
that
more. Of, I feel like that's
stage.
more of a festival, personally. South by
Yeah.
because like
so legit. Some people are like, oh fuck South
I
by,
would
but
way
I love
prefer
it.
South by Southwest than
Yeah,
ACL. Like
it's
it
so
feels
much
like
better.
it's hot. There's no trees. There's no shade. It's like there's the food's overpriced. Like at South by Southwest, like food prices stay the same because you're literally going to functioning restaurants.
you can go to restaurants
that
where you
are
would
still
normally
open.
go.
Yeah, and then like the venues, like
Well, you're seeing bands at venues like that alone.
Actual
it's like, It's
venues.
not like
Yeah.
a festival show is always different. Like a band at Mohawk, like
Right.
100%, no
Right.
questions asked. You want to see a band with 400 people in the crowd. You don't want to see a band
Bro,
where
with-
like
South by you would like walk to Colorado and 6 and you look up in the sky and on that roof the Killers are doing like a rooftop show and you're like,
Yeah. What?
this is fucking
and
dope.
then, like,
Yeah.
Jack White's on the corner playing his guitar.
Yeah.
What the fuck
South
is
by
that?
Southwest
Yes,
is where it's
that's
at.
that
Like,
shit is real
as
right there.
service industry people, as much as I hate South by Southwest because like this past South by Southwest was really really hard for me working as a hostess and like St. Patrick's Day fell on the same day.
Yeah,
Last day
St.
It
Patrick's
always
Day was
does.
on a Saturday.
And then
Always
like
does.
Saturday, it
Jesus
was like
Christ.
last day South by Southwest. It was just like a triple whammy of like let's fucking rage and like act like animals. That was hard.
That's Austin literally 8 months out of the year.
Right.
If you
But
think about it, there's
South by
always
is
something
like,
going on.
You're gonna make
We just got done with
rain
ACL.
weekend.
Don't forget, we have Formula
F1's
One.
this
F1's
weekend.
this next week.
Yeah, shit.
When does it stop?
I know, like when
It
does
doesn't
it
really.
fucking stop?
It doesn't.
Like it doesn't. Like F1, and then it's like, well, I guess in the
The
art world,
holidays and shit coming up.
shout
you
out
know?
to East Austin Studio Tour in November. If you're in
Oh, yeah.
Austin, like definitely go
Yeah,
check
hey,
that out.
name,
It's
we'll get some
free.
dates at the end about like your shows and
Yes.
whatnot coming up.
Yeah, it's free. Like free drinks, free apps, like whatever. It's
What
oh
day you
God.
say this was?
East Austin is amazing.
Let me pull up my calendar.
Did you
Like,
say
right now.
November 11th?
I think all my favorite bars are.
So East
East
Austin
Side's
Studio
dope.
Tour is November 10th and 11th and
Ooh.
17th and 18th. 2 weekends. I will be stop number
What time is this like go through?
498 or 489. I don't know. I'm a little dyslexic. I can't remember what it is. But I will be at the Studio ATX on Cesar Chavez next to Blue Owl Brewery.
Oh,
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
a badass spot.
That's the
Right
plug
by
segment.
One in a Million.
Doing plugs.
Yeah, Junes and plugs. KristinMooreArt.com.
Plug
To
away.
say your Instagram.
Instagram is at K as in kite draws the line. KDRAWTHE
K draws the line underscore.
LINE underscore.
I'll put it on the screen for the version.
Thanks.
Make it easy.
Like, I
Hell
can't
yeah.
spell. Again, I was an art major.
Link in bio.
Yeah.
Link in bio. Yes.
Yeah. So that's that. And
I don't have a wine website, but
What's
you know.
your
Pocket
me?
Som.
Yeah, Pocket Som.
You tagged him
Yeah.
on yours.
Yeah. It's just a
Yeah,
bunch of.
Pocket
It's
Som.
really just a bunch of pictures of fucking wine, like
That's
you know.
usually how we end every episode. Is I'm like, shout out your social media, and then I throw
Social
it up on
media.
the screen.
I mean, it's like
Cool.
11:30. You know, we gotta.
Is it 11:30?
Yeah.
These podcasts like surprisingly like run like 3.5 hours long. You're like,
But they
holy
fly
shit,
by
it's been
too.
3.5
Yeah, it
hours
does.
already. Like,
I know.
damn, they're a lot of
It's so
fun.
cool.
We have a lot of fun on these
We
things.
crushed
for
2.5
having
bottles
us.
of
Of
wine.
course.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
3
It's
bottles of
nice to
wine.
mix
Like,
it up. We've done like only musicians up to this point, so like it was nice because I want to do all facets of. I don't want to just do.
I
music.
love that. Like even like theater. or
what's our bio for the
cooking
Twitch say
or-
again? It's like
Oh, it's I took the idea of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I'm extended it. So it's like memes, life, death, sex, drugs, rock and roll.
I love
something
it.
like that.
Memes, life, death.
yeah.
That's like it's the Alamo Draft House is like birth movies, death or something.
Oh,
Whatever it is.
perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Funny.
That's
That's
like
tight.
their
I
when
love
you go to an
Alamo,
Alamo
too.
movie. Like I love Alamo, so shout out to Alamo Draft House. Like
Yeah.
if I could like work or invest in your company,
Those are the theaters I
would.
like to go to when I go see a movie
Like
here.
you're amazing, and they do like it's birth, movies, death. That's what it is.
Birth,
Oh,
yep.
So when you go to a film, like the first 30 minutes, and they have like the curated clips that they do, that's the birth, movies, death element
It's
of their
always
company.
so great. Like the fact that you can just show up and they're like, "Oh, this month we're playing Princess Mononoke," and shit
Yeah.
like that. And you're like,
Yes.
"What?" Like,
I've seen The Shining there for $5 like 3 times now, and it's like
oh yeah.
amazing to see that in like theater. Like they
Get
get
it
it.
all.
Like Alamo Draft House gets
Every
it. Like
last
when you're a
drop.
movie lover, like
Bloop,
they.
bloop, bloop.
get
Oh
it.
man, I
Like,
dripped it on the table.
They have like
It's-
a
Oh, we're
clueless
good.
quote along.
Did you?
Like, I have to go to that.
Oh, I love all that shit.
I know.
The Big Lebowski quote along or whatever it is. And you're like,
Yes.
okay.
Should we end with a whiskey shot?
Yeah.
We can.
I'm good on the whiskey. Y'all go for
There's
it.
only 3
Dude,
glasses.
like, I
so.
still to this day like want to go to like a Rocky Horror Picture Show midnight premiere.
I'd love to. We should go.
That's where my parents met.
Oh, that's so
way.
nice.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good story.
Exactly, dude. Like I was.
Like
I
if I
was
could
made
work
because
for
of
Alamo
that.
Draft House and not have to be a food runner or someone that sells movie tickets, I would.
Honestly, I'd just be right there, just like. I would sell. Honestly, if I worked at a movie theater, I would be the guy selling the tickets.
You'd be like, "This is you have to fucking see this movie. You have to see this movie."
Like
You
people
know?
come up like, I want to see this. I'm like, put
No.
the tickets, pay them out, and like
Here's your
they're like,
tickets.
hey, what movie do I want to see? I'm like, let me tell you, because I've seen
It's-
all of these.
They just like I don't know. It's interesting. It's like having an artist that you love or a musician that you love. Like that is a company that I love.
Yeah, like I've never been disappointed in Alamo. And I
Oh.
know going in, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna spend like $50.
Oh, dude!
on
When
food,
my
too,
dad
and
came to
it's
Austin,
also-
we went to
it's
Alamo
worth it.
Theater, and like now, all like there's a couple in Dallas now.
Yeah.
He'll only go to Alamos in Dallas. Like he's like, dude,
My
These are the-
sister and her
these are
husband live in
great.
Irving, and I'm like, you need to go to Alamo Draft House. They're like, oh well, maybe they have a new baby,
Isn't it
but I'm
just like the movie
I'm like,
Tavern?
it's
And you're like,
not.
no. it's
Alamo Draft
not.
House. It's like another level, and it's like a local. Like, it's a Texas company. Like, go for it. When I lived in Los Angeles, they actually announced they're like, we're opening up a space in LA. It's gonna be opening in August of 2014. I moved there in like July of 2014. So I was like, oh my god, fuck yes, like
Perfect.
Alamo Draft House.
Yeah.
And then what is it? 2018 now. It's October and it's still not open because
Oh, damn.
the city planning in Los Angeles and like getting permits and like finding a space is so
I could see.
fucking hard.
chicken wings and champagne. That's
Next
the party.
episode, chicken wings and champagne.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Bah, bah,
We're
bah.
gonna start a whole separate channel for
I
you.
know.
Yeah, that's a
Just
whole.
have a
No-
lineup. We got
that's a new
2
series.
chicken wings and 10 chicken wings.
Yes,
Like,
and they
that's
just
it.
keep getting
Oh, that
hotter.
sounds delicious.
Let me get some of that
Damn.
Mad Dog before we leave.
Oh yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
my god, it's already 11:40. How does this
I got
happen?
the Reaper sauce. I have a couple
well, hey,
different
thank y'all
sauces.
so much
Thanks for
for
having
joining
us. This is
Chocolate
so
cake and
fun.
limoncellos. What's up, dude?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Thanks to everyone that tuned in.
Woo! Now we're just gonna awkwardly sit here in Oregon.
Yeah, that's beautiful, though.
That
Yeah,
is
look at that.
Why do I live in Texas again?
I think I've actually been to that. I've been there
What?
on a family vacation. Yeah,
What?
yeah, I believe. Yeah, because the tide goes out from that area, and you can like go and walk
There you
around.
go, Kyle.
Oh shit!
These
Which
are
which one's
these are my
spicier?
favorite. Honestly, the Mad Dog kicks my ass more than the Reaper. Surprisingly,
Damn, dude, look
because
how
the Reaper
thick
is
that
hotter
is.
hotter
Look at
pepper.
That's
that.
from Chicago, right? The Mad Dog.
I don't know where
This
that
has
was.
this
like
has Reaper in
podcast
it,
where they,
right?
like, eat
maybe.
Sauce,
Yeah.
like wings.
All I
and
know
10
stuff.
is-
wings, 10 hot sauces.
357,000 Scoville.
I'll say either
All right.
one, just a drop will like light you up.
This
Let's
it
get
Why do you
says
have, like, do you eat
it
this?
says
Do you, like-
warning: this sauce is very hot. Use it at your own risk. This sauce is very hot.
So when I went, I don't know if you've ever been to Tears of Joy, 6th
Mm-mm.
Street, but it's our
I've
like,
seen it.
local hot sauce.
Wait. Where on 6th Street is this?
shop.
By Barbarella, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of on Dirty.
It's a
I'm
hot
gonna try
sauce
both,
shop?
dude. I'm gonna
Just
try
a hot
both.
sauce.
Shut the fuck
And
up.
they have everything. And when I went to buy the Mad Dog there, they they have vials of this stuff that's like $500 a bottle.
Oh my god!
And
look at that.
they were like, "Oh, this stuff's 1,000,000 Scoville," and they offered to give me a taste test, and I was like, "No, I'm good. Like, fuck you guys."
I can like breathe that in from here.
Yeah, you feel it?
I can smell that.
Oh yeah. Like when I make a dish for myself, I
Just
put
opened up my
one drop
sinuses.
and then mix it all in.
All right,
It's
here we
not
go.
something I put like on. But the Reaper sauce is very tolerable.
I can feel it in my throat
But
just like
every
breathing
person
it in.
reacts to peppers differently.
I'm like,
Like some peppers, like a scorpion pepper, will kick your ass, and like.
Are you okay?
Jeez.
It's pretty hot. But I think the Mad Dog.
All right.
is
That I see what you're saying about tolerable though. It like hits you really fast. Zuri
is
put some
dangerous.
last
Mad
dab in
Dog
the
is
chili he made
dangerous.
today. Hell yeah, dude. That
Zuri
shit.
knows. He's got multiple last steps.
I love that shit. I love the Tenacious D episode that
dude,
just came out.
everyone's eating chili today.
You gonna do this with me?
Jordan made some
I'll
chili
do this
today.
one.
Jordan,
Do this
that chili
one.
looked fucking dank. By
That
the
one?
way.
Yeah, do it. You're gonna hate me.
Yeah, do the Mad Dog, and then you can
Damn.
tell Johnny how
I missed out.
You can compare reactions because he tried it at my house like 2.
He almost died.
Holy shit! Look at
You
that. That
haven't
looks
even
like
touched
death.
this.
It looks like death.
Oh yeah, I don't use the Mad Dog very much.
It's dangerous.
It's more for this type.
I just
Hey,
tripped
shout
some.
out Polio's
I just
Pizza
rolled my
in
pants.
Dallas.
I'm gonna be spicy
They put
forever.
I
Mad
can't
Dog in their
take my
spicy
contacts
Maria's
Is that enough?
pizza.
Is
They
that
put
enough?
like
Oh,
3
that's more
dabs.
than enough.
That's way a
Give
lot.
this to me.
Way a lot.
It's a lot.
I'm scared.
The Mad Dog.
It tastes like Fruit Loops.
What?
Oh,
I've
just
never
wait.
Is
had
that enough?
Yeah, just
Yes,
wait.
Plenty. It's gonna light you up.
Oh shit.
Once it settles in, you're like, woo, bitch, it's hot.
Oh god, it's like just starts spreading.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Mad Dog's a fucking experience.
Oh.
If you actually like consumed like a good
I'm
quantity.
salivating a lot.
Yeah, it would fuck you up.
Wait, I'm gonna do a little bit more because there's some right here.
Well, and the fact
Oh,
that
there
there's,
we go.
like,
That's what I'm talking about.
There are levels above that. Like that's.
This is almost like a tactile experience rather than.
Fuck.
I mean, you're definitely not taking Mad Dog for. Like the Reaper has a
No.
little flavor.
See, that's the thing. Like, I want flavor with the heat.
That's
You
My
know?
tongue is like spitting
Like
out
if it's
saliva.
if it's too
Oh,
hot,
God.
and there's no flavor. I'm pissed. If it's
Oh,
hot
need
but
some
has
chapstick.
flavor, I'm stoked.
That's the thing. For me,
Ugh.
it's all about finding the midpoint between so hot I can bear
God.
it and also having a flavor profile. But Mad Dog kind of crosses the line.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's like it just keeps getting hotter. Oh shit.
So there's one above that called Megadeth, and I bought my dad that for Christmas last year.
Oh god.
He was
I'm a
like,
woman. I can handle this.
He puts a drop in a vat of chili, and that's what
Yeah.
when I was offered the Million Scoville stuff at Tears of Joy, that's what they told me. They were like, "This is meant for like making chili for like a party of 50. You put 1 drop."
Oh. Oh god. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's spicy.
That's spicy as fuck.
Ooh.
Right? Now when you watch a Hot Ones episode,
Now
you can
I
actually
get an idea.
appreciate what.
I get an idea of like what the fourth to the last
Yeah,
thing is
exactly. Because like there was a while where I'd watch that and I was like, man, these celebrities are fucking pussies. And then
Yeah,
I got
no,
that
it's-
stuff and I was like, oh no, I have way more respect for
like.
them.
Oh no, it's spicy, man.
It's a
You want some water?
I don't know if that's gonna help. I think it's gonna make it
Ugh.
worse.
Oh, God.
You might need some water.
I'm gonna just like meditate for a second.
I need to not lick my lips because it goes out. It like this one's thick,
Part
man.
your
Like
mouth.
it just stays there, and it's
Yeah.
like
The Mad Dog is serious business. That is one of the.
It doesn't even go down your throat. It just like I keep salivating.
I feel like you're tripping or
It's
what?
like it fucks with you.
I don't feel like I'm tripping. I just feel like my mouth is like. All right, breathe in. Hold it.
You know,
Throw out some
breathing-
Cardi B
breathing
boats,
will
like,
fix most things in the world. I've
Breathe
noticed
in.
that.
What does?
Breathing, because like whatever you're into, like
It's the
whatever's
key to life.
With you, it's like you're focused on it, and if you breathe,
Focus on your like yoga. I've learned that from yoga. Like
Yeah, me
focus
too.
on your breath.
focus on your breath. No matter what it is, I'm struggling with running.
I've
That
passed the
changed
peak.
my
I think
life.
it's coming. It's coming back down now.
Like whenever I started seriously breathing on my run, I was like,
I've
oh,
totally been there.
I
I've
get
been there. I've been
Hey,
on
you've
that
been doing
cliff.
some marathon. Oh, this clip.
Well, no,
over
that
here?
was on like a
that's
family
a
vacation.
famous spot in Oregon.
Isn't that like Falcon Cove or Eagle Pass or something? It's called.
Something like that. I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
the
I've been
name,
there.
but
I've been there.
Yeah, it's definitely a famous spot in Oregon.
Oh god.
4K relaxation channel. They know what's up, dude. They cover all the goodness. and then I don't have to go every 30 minutes and like change the. I just got 5 hours.
This is beautiful. It actually feels kind of nice, like now that it's like settling in. I'm like, all right.
Oh god.
Well, it's gonna release endorphins and all that.
Yeah, now I feel
Like
good
if I had
now.
a headache right now, this would like totally rid of my
Oh, if
headache.
you got some.
I was gonna say like
Oh,
taking some hot
like-
sauce is like taking some drugs, man.
Yeah.
Like,
It really is.
I'm surprised the Carolina Reaper one like wasn't,
Right? I'm telling you.
because that's the hottest pepper in the world.
yeah.
It was.
That's why the
Now
mango
there's
is
hotter?
so full.
What's hotter now?
There's a guy. I'm slipping on his name right. American guy. He's a pepper breeder, and he released Carolina Reaper on the world, and it was kind of like his. Like he was like testing the rest of pepper growers if they could like come back with something powerful. And then a guy in Europe dropped a pepper called Dragon's Breath, and then literally a week literally a week later, he goes, "Fuck you! I actually made this thing Pepper X." So what Zuri was talking about in the last dab, they used Pepper X.
Oh really?
Yeah. But what's funny is the guy that made Pepper X. He said when he released Pepper X to like reclaim the world record, he was
Ed Curry.
He said,
Yeah.
there you go. He said, was quoted as saying, "This isn't anything compared to what I have in my." Like he's like, I've made things considerably hotter than this, but I just won't
Same guy that
release
made the
it."
rebrand.
Like
So he was like, "This is
he's just
more
playing
insane than
games
anything
with
ever."
people. He was like, "Let's see what else is out there."
Yeah.
To see if it compares, and then he was like, "Oh, just kidding. I've got this." And this is shit.
Wow. Fuck.
My nose is running.
Woo.
Yeah, it'll clear up your
That shit is
sinuses.
legit, dude. I want a bottle of that or something, man.
I recommend Tears of Joy. It's a great shop. It has everything.
As Zuri says, he just waits for people to try and beat him and just releases something new.
Yeah, exactly.
That is like, if that's not like even like I can't put that on food.
Yeah, I could.
Yo, they
I would put
have-
that on a
so there's-
sandwich or something. Can
There's
I?
Polio's Pizza
I
in,
feel like
in the
that
Metroplex.
mixed with the spice will like be awesome.
Oh, probably.
Try it.
Try it, Chase. Try the Reaper.
No,
Also,
Mad Dog.
if I use this and give it back to you,
Don't do it, dude.
I've had the
Do
Mad
the
Dog.
Mad-
I've never tried the Reaper though.
Well, the Reaper.
that one just tastes good.
The Reaper's.
I like flavor. I want to
It's
try the
actually
flavor.
one of my favorite hot sauces.
Here we go.
I want to try that after you.
Because it's nothing compared with the. But then again, like I said, every person reacts different to certain peppers. Like for some people, a habanero will like whirl, and for other people, like a scorpion pepper is mild. Like,
What?
So it's all about like how that pepper sits in how you.
This is like
Ooh.
this little dot I took is like still burning my mouth.
What's crazy is that literally.
That tastes good.
Yeah.
what you're
Put those
doing
on some
is,
wings,
like,
baby.
It's
Wing
acid.
it out.
Those peppers are bred to burn you with acid.
Is that what that is?
Literally what the
Mm.
experience is. It's an acid that's burning your
That
tongue.
tastes great. This is I'm scared of this bitch right here.
Ooh, this is good.
This sauce will blow you away.
Get ready. I'm still burning from
The
that.
fucking
Reaper
spicy,
sauce is
man.
good.
This is nothing compared to
Reaper,
that.
yeah,
Mad
Reaper's
Dog
good.
Is like,
It's
I
over
need
there.
to sit down and take a breath. Like,
I mean, I do kind of feel like I'm tripping a little
I might
bit.
need to take my hat
To
off
be
for
honest
this. I'm
with
already
you.
feeling a little heated.
I
Here
have
we
a
go.
uterus, so I'm fine.
you just-
How big is your dab that you're doing?
like,
I'm a
fuck
woman, so I
fuck
can
a
handle
hot
it.
sauce.
Yeah.
This is nothing compared to what I experienced. I'm good.
Híjole.
Chase is going deep.
You just snort it, just.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You might die.
dude, I can pull up a
Yo,
video.
Don't
hey,
snort it.
Yes, do
are
it.
there people that
I got a
hey,
video.
time out? Are there people that boof hot sauce?
What
Oh
does
my
that
God.
mean?
It's
I
like
have
you
something-
stick it up your
I
butt.
have something way better for you.
Why would you do that?
Because the drugs hit you harder, apparently. But I wonder about the
That
hot
dude,
sauce.
that would hurt. Can you imagine? You couldn't
You're
shit right
shitting
for like
fire
a
for
week.
days. You're shitting fire for days, dude. I'm scared to take this. Here we go.
We're all doing it. Join the club.
Don't get it on your lips, man.
I have
You gotta
chapstick
miss
if
the
you need
lips.
some. Need some chapstick? Chase.
Yeah, dude, this is totally. Definitely.
Is it though? Like I don't know. It was,
That's
was
hot.
it this color though?
It's usually
Oh.
this guy. Yeah, I've seen this
Never
guy.
seen this video. This dude ground up Carolina
He smokes
Reaper,
it, right?
And he made it into a vape juice and he vapes Carolina Reaper sauce.
I wish we had sound.
Yeah, like bust out the headphones.
Dude, look at that.
It's okay. I'm a visual person. I'm good.
It's one of the more, but he tops it off by vaping it, and then he rails a line of it, and then he puts some in his eye. Like that's how the video ends. I promise.
How long is this shit?
It's only a couple minutes.
All right, perfect.
Who is this? Why?
I'm sweating so hard right now.
Yeah, the beginning is him
Breathe.
just
Look
explaining.
at this. It's like a
Inhale
oil.
1, 2. Exhale 1, 2.
It's not even a juice. It's like a
Yeah,
viscous.
The beginning of the video is him explaining how he let it sit for like 3 weeks.
A lot more cut milk stains. Yeah, this one has a wine stain on it now. We've been drinking a shitload of wine. I want more Mad Dog, dude. I'm gonna do it again.
Christ, dude.
I'm
Don't
doing
do
more
it,
Mad Dog.
no!
More Mad Dog.
Don't do it. Drink some water.
I gotta join Chase here.
I never brought the Zevias up. Normally I bring up.
Yo, Jake, I might need Stevie. Stevie.
Zevia?
Please.
Chase, some water.
Dude, it tastes like Fruit Loops at first, right?
No, it's great, but it is painful.
Mad Dog taste. Yeah, you know, like after the Fruit Loop taste goes away, it does taste like shit. It just tastes like hot.
It helps
just
if you
tastes like
swallow
pain.
and breathe in really
Yeah.
quickly.
Dude,
Talking about
now
shots, I'm just
the
like,
second dab doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, just like breathe it in and like.
I feel the same now.
'cause your tongue's paralyzed.
Actually, no, it hurts.
You're paralyzed. Your
it
mouth
hurts
is
now.
done.
I'm still burning from that one dab I put. I'm never.
You
I'm
wanna
You
not,
want to do another? You want to do another one?
no.
What is that?
These are
dude.
Zevia root beer.
Shout out
Okay,
Zevia
I'm okay.
sodas. They all are clear sodas, but they have great flavor. And there's no sugar,
There's
no
no
carbs,
sugar, no flavor, no
artificial
additives.
sweeteners, caffeine free.
What?
I'm addicted to Zevia because it's the only
Zevia.
soda that's like acceptable to drink.
Ginger root beer. Shit's
Oh,
good.
stevia leaf extract.
This one's good. The cream soda is fucking
You want to share one of
bomb.
these with me?
Kyle, remember we were talking
Okay.
about wintergreen and root beer? Like the flavor, how I can only.
Jesus
Oh, that he just
Christ,
smoked the fucking Reaper shit.
This guy is getting fucking lit.
You just wait till he puts it in his eye.
God, that Mad Dog, dude. Should I triple dab?
Damn,
No.
This tastes. This helps the tongue so well.
Can you taste the wintergreen in it?
Is it really?
Wow, there's no sugar in this. Wow. No. Wow.
It's really good for having no sugar.
Damn.
Dr. Roxo.
Well, that just kind of completely cleared the spice. I need more spice then. Triple dab, baby.
Dr. Roxo.
Can you hear that?
Everybody, stop.
Can you hear it?
What's up, chicken nugget? Your dogs are so
It's
sweet.
funny that you call him that because I called him very similar.
Dab number 3, baby. Here we go.
Doctor.
That person goes, this guy is probably 25 years old, but since he smokes ghost peppers, he looks 60.
Dude, my face is sweating so hard right now.
You
No.
Who comes up with that idea?
I'm done.
Like, who's like, let's smoke Reaper pepper? Like, the fuck is wrong?
I mean, look at the guy. Look at his face.
I know he looks
You
like
know?
he looks like.
Oh my
No.
god.
That's what good pussy sounds
Oh
like.
no! Why?
Me shaking that bottle.
So when people watch our podcast, is this like us in front of this guy?
that. He's behind you right now.
He just put it in his eye. What a fucking moron.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Oh my god.
I have it set up so the chat on the screen.
Oh, that
is
third one hurts a
scrolling.
lot.
Oh, you're just a chicken nugget.
Oh.
Chicken
Ooh.
Like, damn right.
nugget. It's okay.
That third one hurt a lot, dude.
You're just a chicken nugget.
That first one's killing me still.
I'm kind of
I
pissed
can
that
breathe now, but damn.
I have no sympathy for either of you.
Oh man, my eyes are sweating. I'm not crying. I'm just sweating out of my eyes.
I'm not crying. I'm just sweating on my eyelids.
Yeah, dude.
More Zevia soda. It feels good.
Oh man,
Is there any more Pasqua, whatever that is, left?
God, I can't believe this has no sugar.
You
This
give
is
me
some
the
good shit.
Pasqua wine.
imagine making cocktails with this though. That'd be dang.
This guy is a different guy that just literally puts a Reaper pepper into a bong and lights it. and
What?
smokes it.
He's smoking
What,
peppers?
an actual Reaper pepper?
Yeah,
This guy is
he,
smoking
shows
peppers.
It to the camera,
Why
and
would
then
you-
he just like packs it
Dude,
into
Doc
a
is so
bong.
fascinated by this guy smoking peppers. He's like, God damn it.
Oh, God, this hurts. Ah.
This fucking dude is like crazy. I mean, he takes a full like milky white bong rip of Reaper pepper, dude. It's a lot.
Are you
Oh.
okay?
Yeah,
You did this to yourself, you know.
that's enough dabs, I think, for me. God damn, this hurts. Oh, this is real pain.
Did we kill all the wine off?
This guy heard kids were smoking spice and took it too literally. That's what your friend said.
Shit.
That's so funny.
What? What? This is like really? Come on, dude.
He immediately is like, nope.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do good afterwards.
Oh God, you cleared it. Oh my God, he's like seizing. Oh my God,
Is
dude,
he-
what a
Is he
retard.
alright?
No, he's like shaking. Look at him.
Right? Chase, you're sweating into your eyelids.
I know, dude. I'm sweating out of my eyes right now.
This is making me hurt more.
That's so.
This is making me hurt more. This
amazing.
guy.
Men are such babies.
Oh.
Really? You want to smoke a Reaper pepper and see how you feel?
No, I don't.
But you have no sympathy for someone that does it
Dude,
to
yeah,
themselves.
he
Yeah.
Hey, he
No
took
one
smoking
forces you.
spice to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
Zach.
Doc, here, come here. Doc, come here, buddy.
Come here, chicken nugget.
Only
Uh, I can't hear really. It's hard to hear right now.
He's look at him like drooling. Is he okay?
Oh,
Did you just throw up?
I think his tongue's about to fall
Oh
out.
God.
His tongue's. Oh my god.
One more video.
Can we watch a dolphin video? Dolphin video?
Oh man. I am spinning right now. I'm
Dolphin
The
spinning.
hot
Are you
sauce,
okay?
man. Holy
Yeah, I'm just
shit.
like tripping out right now.
Because of a hot sauce?
Oh, man.
How do you say your name? Zany's lame. Zane is lame. 33 says smoke pictures of my nudes because they extra spicy.
How is that possible that you can smoke a picture? I don't understand.
He
Bro,
wants
these
to- he
comments
wants to, like,
tonight have been great.
Rip up the picture and smoke it.
Oh, man. Dude, that's why we have eyebrows, man.
4K dolphin voice.
Imagine not having
Yes,
eyebrows and all the
thank
sweat from
you.
your ho-ho.
Yes, thank you.
I got you.
If I could swim with the dolphins. That South Park episode where Kyle's dad turns
Third
into
South
a
Park
dolphin.
reference.
I was thinking of the South Park episode where they're like, "Fuck you, whale."
Fuck you, dolphin. It was actually cow and
It
chicken.
was cow and chicken, but they.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cow and chicken.
Oh shit.
Oh man, my favorite episode is the Blockbuster episode where they like mimic The Shining.
That's a good
Where
one.
he's like, Tana and Hooch. I can't find Tana and Hooch.
I was
Casey,
watching
okay?
I feel actually a lot better now.
And Shitty Pot
The
Town.
sweat is
Yeah,
gone.
that's a classic.
Now my nose
Welcome
feels like it's
home.
bleeding, but it's just like straight sinuses, I guess. I don't know. Just cleared my.
Oh, fucking A, dude.
I was watching the one where they did.
Oh,
where
look at
they
these.
had to vote.
Look at those white
between,
bellies.
And a turd sandwich.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to force Stan to vote, and like Puff Daddy's like, "Vote or die." So good.
Vote or die. Oh man.
And then he finally decides, he's like, "I'm gonna vote," and goes with Kyle, and he like goes to sandwich, and Kyle's like, "You're supposed to vote for douche, bro. Like, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
He's
why did
like,
you vote
this
for
is
douche?
exactly why I didn't want to vote.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Eyebrows are overrated. It only expresses Zane is lame's depression. No one needs to see that, so we shave them off.
What was that movie we watched? Megalodon. The Meg.
The Meg.
We saw
That-
it.
That was pretty funny, I thought.
It was
Was it
actually really good.
Was it good?
It was like not boring.
But I didn't like.
I
the
think
whole-
Chase
Jason
that.
Statham.
Is it, yeah, Jason Statham.
Well, no, the like PG-13 death stuff where it's like, it just like goes to black and you know that the guy got eaten
Yeah, it's like, come on, make it rated R and like show some shit, you know,
like fun with it. But I did like how they catch the one, and you're like, oh, they did it, and then the
And it's
bigger
like,
one
"Caw."
shows up, and it's like, it's like it just got extra stupid.
Megalon.
So it's the
Megalotron.
a megalodon is the prehistoric shark, but the movie The Meg is the recent film that came out with Jason Statham.
Oh, look at that baby
summer.
dolphin.
And so that's what we're
Baby
talking
dolphin.
about as we're watching these dolphins.
Did you know that male dolphins will rape other male dolphins to establish dominance?
Absolutely. Have you ever heard of Dr. Lilly, the guy that did like deprivation tanks? You know,
No.
sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
Okay, so the doctor that invented those, reason not just to create sensory deprivation.
Jason Statham.
But he had this idea, and he truly believed this was like a legit doctor. Many papers. He did this. Put a dolphin tank next to his deprivation, and then he would eat acid, and he would go into the tank, and he would talk to the. That's real shit.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he believed that acid was like a talk to.
I mean, I don't know. I think psychedelics are a way to connect with nature on a level that we like can't.
Oh,
comprehend.
do you know
Absolutely.
dolphins rape women on their period? Wow.
But
I've actually heard of that. Yes,
one
I've
of the
heard that.
reasons his studies got
Wouldn't that be
shut
sharks
down-
though? Because sharks like. What?
I think
No, they would eat you, not rape you.
dolphins.
What
are
were you
very
saying? What were you saying, Jake?
Well, no, that one of the reasons Dr. Lilly's study got shut. It's like one of the ways they studied the dolphins was they had a waist high water, so that you like walk in, dolphin would room while you actually did things. The girl that was like in charge of one of the dolphins was like jacking the dolphin off because he was so horny that the only way they could like get things done
Was to jerk him off?
Jerked off the dolphin.
Oh
and
my
then when like,
God.
the general public found out that she was doing that, there was such an uproar that they shut down the whole.
Huh. What happened to the dolphin? I wonder.
That poor
Is,
Got
dolphin.
jerked
would
off
that
somewhere
be,
else.
Like animal cruelty or like I don't know.
Well, that poor
Jerking
dolphin,
off a dolphin?
The dolphin
Pleasuring a
went from,
dolphin is cruelty?
the
I'm
dolphin went
confused.
from, like every day I
You're giving the
by a hot scientist
Yo.
to like now I'm in a fucking
Yeah.
sea world. Like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
This dolphin's like, dude, this alien is fucking jerking me off. This is so cool.
He's like, hey, what's
What's
the most badass animal you could fuck?
like badass. Like I would
answering
want to
that.
fuck it, or like it's the most
No
badass
comment.
animal. Like
I mean, that's like a tiger or something. I don't know.
I'd say a platypus.
platypus.
Platypus. Oh, that's sweet.
A chimp would just like turn around and grab your dick. Like they're
Yeah, I would not. They also smell bad.
The fat bear.
The fat bear.
For sure. For sure.
Oh,
Oh my
shit.
god. The fat bear from earlier. That's great.
I say dolphin. Dolphin for me.
Dolphins. Oh, man.
This is it.
Oh, man.
So he was telepathically communicating with dolphins. That's pretty
By
crazy. man.
when tripping acid.
That's what he claimed, and like, I mean, sensory deprivation tanks have many. The fact that he deep with it is just crazy. Like,
That's like
I've always wanted
amazing.
to try it ever since I heard. Oh, I want to talk to him.
I'd fuck a giraffe, and I would tell no one how I reached the pussy. That's pretty good. It's like, how'd you get there? A ladder? Nah, shut up, dude. I'm not. A gentleman doesn't tell. You know.
You never kiss and tell with a giraffe.
Imagine setting up a 20-foot ladder and then it steps away. Like, no! Like, god damn it, you gotta go back down the ladder. Like, stay, giraffe.
Oh
Stay.
my God.
Oh, man.
They'll never get over the fact that a giraffe's tongue is.
No, is it?
Yeah, they have like 8.5 feet.
Oh, shit.
They can't come out that far. That's just like.
But the
They
length
come
of
out
the
like at
tongue
least like
itself is-
Right.
17 inches. Like, it's like this long
Yeah,
when
they
it comes
definitely
out,
can
dude.
stick it out far and like grab leaves and shit, but they can't stick the whole like 8 foot. But they have an 8-foot tongue.
It's taller than me.
So if an elephant
taller
stepped
than
on your foot,
fucking-
it would break your foot, right?
If an elephant stepped on your foot,
Yeah.
that
it
hurt
would.
really
Yes,
bad.
that would break. They weigh like tons.
It would break your foot.
They weigh thousands of
Okay.
pounds.
Checking.
But then there's like
It would
trained
crush your
elephants
foot.
that like will step on you for like play, like put enough pressure on.
Don't piss them off though.
Like our cat. Our cat will like put her paw down and then like slowly curl her claws.
She does that shit, man.
She's like, "Arr!"
She's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cats are crazy. 'Cause these
I didn't
don't-
use a ladder.
Look at these dolphins. They're like in a tripod. They're just like chilling.
I took it to dinner first.
What?
It's just saying. What do you think I am? Some animal?
Wow.
I don't know if you've seen Joe Rogan's recent stand-up special that just hit Netflix, but he has a whole tag vegan cat. There's a
Come
sad
on.
group of people in the world that genuinely
And
believe
it's like dying. It's like skinny and.
yeah, no,
Oh
for
Is it
real.
really?
You bring up,
God.
like, hashtag
That's
vegan cat. It's all these
sad.
people with like half dead cats that are like, I'm doing
What?
the right
Half
thing.
dead cats? What's a
Yeah,
half
well,
dead cat?
cats are fucking they eat fucking
Yeah,
meat. They eat
have
other
to-
animals.
They have to eat meat to survive. So if you give a cat a vegan diet, it's like
Yeah, that's why I think it's funny when like a bunch of vegans like have cats as pets. I'm like,
But
This
so-
is proof right here, everyone.
Yeah.
Vegans are pieces of shit.
But today,
Ugh.
Joe Rogan released a T-shirt on his website, and it's hashtag
I'm
vegan
complete
cat. It's like
vegan,
a cat
and I
with
have all
X
these
out of
cats.
it. It's
Wow.
so funny.
That's so terrible
But
for
that's
those
a real
cats.
thing.
Are you
Don't-
seeing?
Yeah, it's like
hashtag
this
vegan
showed
cat.
up.
That's a fat ass cat. Obviously not a hashtag vegan cat.
Yeah, but if you find a good one, you're like, oh my god, like.
That looks like Bruno, the
Like
cat
the
that I
fact
follow.
that people do this is so
That's
sad,
terrible.
because like a dog is you can not a cat. Cats have to kill.
I can seduce anything, and you're first, Kyle. Great.
Bruno.
Thanks, Zane. Zane is lame. That's the fattest fucking cat
That's
in the world.
Bruno.
Cat is
I
fucking
Fat
worked
cats.
I worked at a vegan food truck for like a few months. When I was at Buzzmill, they were like, "Hey, we need you in the food truck." Sort of. I was like, "Sure, I'll help out." It was steaks and stuff, and it blew away how many people in, and they just come up to the truck and they're like, "I need like French fries covered in your fake cheese," and like that's their meal.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of my
Healthy.
vegetarian friends eat French fries.
very
only.
healthy.
Yeah, they're like, "Did you know Oreos are vegan?" And you're like, "God damn it!"
That does not mean they're healthy.
Yeah, you're so confused.
Yeah,
Also,
right.
vegan cheesesteaks are shit compared to the.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
I've actually never had a Philly cheesesteak.
Oh my god.
What?
A real one is life.
We're getting a
Where-
divorce.
life changing.
Where can you get one in Austin though? Like,
There's a Philly truck, like a food truck that just does Philly cheesesteaks.
where is it?
But it's so good because like there's to be a proper Philly cheesesteak, you have to do it a specific bread, you need a specific meat, and you have to use. There's only like 2 cheeses. that are
Right.
acceptable. But if you get what's fucked up is one of those cheeses is literally we would
Huh.
get
It's
like
vegan.
7
Cheese Whiz is
pound
vegan?
bags of cheese.
And
Yeah, it's
I had a
crazy.
friend that worked at Taco Bell once, and the beans
Jesus.
come in a bag.
Jason cheese steak ham. Oh, that Mad Dog fucked me up, dude.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
yeah, I feel a lot better now.
Yeah, I
but
feel
that
fine
shit,
now.
like,
I
that's
actually feel
powerful
like
shit.
euphoric, you know.
Yeah, it's like
You got anything spicier? Let's go.
It's called Way South Philly.
Okay, so try it. Oh, hi, pup.
Hey, dog.
There's
It
a
says
chicken
it's
nugget in
somewhere
here.
on Burnett.
Oh, that's too far.
That's north as fuck. No wonder I don't.
Yeah.
The one I worked out was called 1776, but I don't think it's.
One time I went to that yard bar on Burnett just because I like dogs. And went with
I
my
heard that place
friend.
is cool.
It's cool. There's like just dogs running around.
Yeah.
You can like get beer and hang out and watch some dogs.
The map is showing that this on.
Can you snort that closer to the mic? Asking for what? Snort what was he talking about? Snort what? What do you mean?
Hot sauce.
The Mad Dog.
I'm not snorting
Oh,
hot
dog,
sauce.
perfect position.
There's a dog.
Is that rain? Is it raining out? Oh, well, we'll just have to stay later. Keep talking about dolphins and snorting whatever Zane is talking
It's
about.
raining so hard outside.
Yeah.
What?
We brought our
The
umbrella in, didn't we?
No, we left it in the fucking
Did we really? I
car.
thought we
It's
brought it.
raining like crazy
No, I thought I
outside.
saw an
Damn
umbrella
it.
when I
I'm
walked in.
pretty sure we brought the umbrella in.
Check the-
Oh,
the rating.
high of 46, low of 46. Thanks, Texas.
It's definitely 46.
Like yesterday it was 90.
Yeah, no, I got off the bus, the mega bus, and I had to like walk 6 blocks to walk to the bus for me to catch to get home. Dude, I was sweating bullets because like when I left Dallas, it was 65 degrees. And I like heard like Austin was cooling off too. I'm like, oh, perfect. I got here. I'm like carrying 2 bags with me like up a hill. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It was hot.
The big cell missed us. We're just in like the little outskirts. Storm cells are crazy.
Here you go, Zane.
Half of Texas
I'll do this
is
for you.
by this storm cell. Look how big a cloud actually is.
Oh, there you go.
Hashtag cumulonimbus. That's how you say
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
Cumulonimbus.
Some meteorologist.
Stratus clouds over long, great ones.
Some that look like alien scent.
That's sweet.
Like tall grays.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Like the tall grays did this. Like if you didn't know clouds, you'd
What does ASMR mean?
He's talking about
ASMR.
like your.
Do I have some stuff there?
Because you did that into the mic. ASMR is its own channel where people like softly like and their gain is
Oh,
turned up
yeah.
really loudly.
Is this gain?
Yeah, that's ASMR. There's different versions of it. So there's people.
How do you guys
like,
feel about this? Is this fun
that'll,
for you?
like, pour beverage, like like they get.
That sounds relaxing.
Oh, for some people it is. But then there's
Some
also like,
ASMR for you. Yes.
girls that do it and literally.
Oh, it's like carjacking.
They must
It's
be.
like as close as you can get on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like there's one girl in Houston. She wears like really cool outfits, and she has a specific mic
Tastes
just
really
for
good.
ASMR. And literally, she has these like you could call them like digital sugar daddies. You know, people that are just obsessed
Digital
with-
sugar daddies.
Yeah,
Are those
they're-
like the girls in like
Obsessed
Japan
with
that
it.
have the selfie sticks?
Just
and they,
sending
like, eat
money
noodles
through
and,
the
like, have
Venmo
people watch them
machines.
eat noodles.
She does that, but she'll like paint or sing, or sometimes she just talks.
Oh, like Britney Spears paints on camera, where she's like
Basically.
flowing,
What?
like
Basically.
painting, she's,
But
like,
every guy in her chat is just there.
Have you
because
seen
she's
those artists that
hot.
like paint with like their body parts? Like girls will paint with their boobs and guys will paint with their dicks.
oh, like Yves Saint Laurent, like.
What?
My Chatterbait channel? Have you been watching recently? Is that
No.
Oh no, it's Yves Klein. Yves Klein did that. He like hired models to like paint his paintings with their naked bodies with blue paint,
That
and he
sounds
has his
hot.
own color of blue.
What?
Yves Klein. It's his. If you Google Yves Klein, it's like YVES
Ooh, that was a hot cock.
Yves Klein blue, and like
Ooh.
he would hire models to paint. So yeah, it's YVES. Yeah, and like look up like type in models.
Oh yeah, look at that picture there.
Yeah. And like you see the body prints, like type in like Yves Klein models. Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
he would pay these women to make work for him, and they would
This is
paint
dope.
him in his signature blue color, and they would just like imprint their bodies on canvases for him. And he had like these parties where there'd be like a live performance, and these women would just like drag themselves across canvas for him.
What a genius. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I know how to get hot naked girls.
And I can touch him and
Like,
shit.
it's art history right here. Like,
It looks like he's like putting the
go
paint
up,
on her
go
with
up
his
to the
hand.
Right, see that top right photo? Go up, yeah, right. That one. That is like iconic. Like these women would just like be a spectacle, and all these.
Is that like an
people-
orchestra behind them
Oh
performing?
yeah, it's like a fine art. It's like a gallery exhibition opening, and like there's like these naked women just like sprawling themselves across the canvas,
Damn.
making work.
That's sick.
Yeah. So his blue, like Yves Klein blue, is like that color.
Damn. I'm gonna paint all my
Yeah.
walls
So
that
like
color.
if you ever see this color,
That's
he
sick.
invented his own fucking color.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Looks like blue to me. I think it was already there before he.
That is modern art. That's what that is.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Literally inventing a color is pretty cool.
It's blue, He just
Okay, let me explain to you why that's
it's
different.
a shade of blue. He didn't
It is a
invent a
shade of
color.
blue.
Let me explain
He
to you.
just like he just copyrighted like a shade of blue.
That's
No.
some, like, Kanye West
He didn't do
shit.
shit. He didn't copyright anything. He, as an artist, used this color, and so people around him associate
Associate him.
with his work.
I
Okay.
follow a girl
But
on
he didn't-
He
Instagram
just
that
said-
only uses like a certain color spectrum thing,
Right.
like pinks and these like neon greens, and like
And so
when I
it's
see
it's
those
Yeah,
like
work-
branding.
pattern
It's like
Pantone
branding.
color.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's branding.
That's
Like
Right.
he did
But
not.
he didn't
say
really
shit.
create
He was
the
like,
color.
"Oh, I'm gonna like file a copyright with the United States of America."
But he
No,
didn't
do
create the
that.
color. He didn't create it.
But
It was
I'm
already there.
saying-
There's blue already existed.
What
He
I'm
patented on the Patton,
A Pantone.
whatever. Pantone. Oh, there's an in there. I didn't see that.
I don't know. I don't know how
I
true
didn't see that
that
in
is.
there.
I should Google it because I don't know. Just from like my art history.
I think Zach
knowledge
did.
How
from,
true
like,
that blue already existed. It
Like,
does.
I
Zach,
just
is
know,
this
like,
a
Eve's
good
Fine
source
Blue is, like-
here? Is this like a true thing?
It's a true thing.
Please Google it because I don't know.
He didn't patent it. Okay.
He just mixed some shit together.
But I'm not saying that he like called up the United States Copyright Office and was like,
This is my blue." Like the
No, I'm not
Tiffany blue or whatever.
That's something Kanye West would
Tiffany
do.
Blue is not even Tiffany Blue. That's not copyrighted either. That's not Tiffany Blue.
Yeah, but that's Tiffany
But
blue.
as a culture, when we see that blue, that is
This is insane,
Tiffany Blue.
Kristin Liu Wong, this is the girl I was thinking of. She uses these like neon pink and blues, and like every single thing
Yeah.
is this one color
It's like
spectrum.
visually.
And like I've
Yeah.
always wanted one of her
Whoa.
pieces of artwork. They're very sexual,
That
but
looks
also
nuts.
the color spectrum is.
A lot of Japanese art is like, especially Japanese print, is like very like pornographic and sexual. Like that's like
Oh, yeah.
historically that's how
For
it
sure.
is. Like that's even like ancient Japanese prints were like very very suggestive and very sexual.
Mark Rothko, Lucio, those people.
I'm not familiar with Lucio Fontana, but Mark Rothko is like legend status. Like
Well, I mean,
and
whatever, just saying.
I think that color is accessible to everyone. And like Mark Rocco is all about color and like color, then why not?
Lucio. Search up Lucio Fontana though. The guy that
So
did
you've never
cuts
heard of
in the
Mark
canvases.
Rothko? Look up the Rothko Chapel in Houston. It's fucking legit.
Oh shit! Look at those colors.
Whoa.
This guy
Yes.
just makes
He makes vaginas.
He makes vaginas.
Canvas
and
vaginas.
And like slices the canvas
Colorful
open.
vaginas.
I remember learning about him in art history.
I used to
Oh,
live
nice.
for
Nice,
West-
that's
nice.
amazing.
That's cool.
So the Rothko Chapel is kind of a whole nother conversation, but it's
I
an
mean, that does
amazing
look like a
space.
vagina there.
I mean,
Oh, this is the guy you were telling me that like people meditate in front of his shit.
yeah, you literally can like have a psychedelic experience looking
See,
at.
I feel like
So
I could
color
make that.
Color theory can be a psychedelic experience because literally, like colors that are contrasting vibrate against each other to where your eyes like can't comprehend
Hell yeah.
the difference between the colors. For example, purple and orange are contrasting colors. So if you hold a purple and an orange square next to each other, they literally vibrate, and it like drives your
Whoa,
mind
that's pretty
crazy,
cool, though.
and you can't understand like
That's
what's
dope.
happening, and your mind jolts around, and like there's no comprehension of like the narrative description of what's going on because
It's
that's
only
literally
$120 on Amazon.
right. Like,
It's a print. It's a print.
but what's happening here is like green and orange or
Oh, it's a
blue and
canvas
orange,
print
like,
though. Should I get you one of those? Would you be down? Fine.
No.
You don't like
Please
those?
Don't ever buy me a fucking reproduction or Mark Rothko off of
Why
Amazon.
not?
Because it's like
That's
he's
We
cool.
can't
dead.
afford. We can't
He's
afford a fucking original.
Dead. I don't want an original. I don't.
Yeah,
really
that's the
like
thing, like, when
his
they
work
die,
that
the price
much,
goes up
honestly.
so
But you were
much.
just like saying how awesome it is. though.
Because he's a fucking historical figure in the art world. Like he's important. You should know. So whoever thinks this is just a college art class, like
It
I feel
basically
sorry
is,
for you.
and get yourself some knowledge.
I feel
Yeah,
sorry
get, hey,
for
get
you.
educated as
Google-
fuck.
Google that
Yes,
shit,
I feel
Zane.
sorry for
Get
you.
educational as
Thank
fuck.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Roscoe's
agree
important
with
his
you.
work
Like, his
is.
work's kind of fucking boring, but in like 1950 whatever, 1954, 1960, whenever he was making his work, this was like no one was just painting fields of color on a canvas. Like no one was doing that.
Lil Pump is the modern day Rothko.
Lil Pump is such a
Oh
blast.
no, what?
True visionary.
Oh man,
Right.
Lil Pump's a genius. He's a SoundCloud rapper that's now a billionaire because he went mainstream.
Well, that's the thing. Like even with music, like it's like who is taking the time that they're in and like either juxtaposing against that and criticizing it in a productive way, or are they shifting it and changing it and making it more important, or are they like moving forward and like pushing it forward?
Right.
So.
Oh, it's interesting you say that. You could definitely make that
That's not a real
argument,
person.
like from a old, like the people that are into like the old rap,
Right.
or like like the
Like
classic stuff.
Snoop Dogg and Tupac.
Right,
It's
and there are people that only listen to that and like hate on the modern stuff. But you could make that argument that people like Lil Pump are actually progressing.
Can you pull up the Kiari Pamu person?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I want to see some meat suits, dude. I know Zane wants to see meat suits. I think Kyary, according to Zuri here, Pamyu. Oh, this chick. She's got like crazy. Her music is insane too. All right, y'all.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Peace out. Educational AF.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
The social media one more time so I can end it with that.
Shout out to Pocket Som
Yeah.
over here.
Pocket Som, baby. POCKETSOM. It's a bunch of pictures of motherfucking wine, and that's it. Shout out, shout out to K draws the line _.
Yeah, don't forget the underscore at the end because you won't find me.
She makes badass paintings of photorealistic
Sometimes
architectural
while drinking
works.
wine, you know?
Yeah.
It's quite the combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both things.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Woohoo!
It's been real.
Yeah.